Any attempt to restrict drinking and driving here is viewed by some as downright undemocratic.
It's kind of getting common is when a fella can't put in a hard day's work, put in 11, 12 hours a day, and then get in your truck and at least drink 1 or 2 beers.
They're making it laws where you can't drink when you want to. You have to wear a seatbelt when you're driving. Pretty soon we're going to be a communist country.
Any
Yeah.
I wonder where they're at.
We're in here.
I wonder
where are they at now?
I wonder what region.
They might have moved to Russia.
What do you mean I can't drink and drive? You fucking communist?
Hey, it is bullshit because sometimes you are thirsty when you're driving.
Is there not freedom?
If you're an alcoholic, that drink soda. Man, I don't know. That might kill you just
Drink
as fast.
some water.
Yeah, drink some water. Definitely. Matter of fact, let me get this shit on
Hey,
deck.
look.
Sit in Politic, baby.
That'd be
Sit in
nice.
Politic. We are not sponsored by Avion. Fuck them. But at the same time, Zephyr Hills, fuck them as well. But that's what we're drinking on.
Hey,
Sit in Politic, baby. Make sure you subscribe, show some love. We're in the building. Very exciting day. You already know what time it is. Gates Open Media in the building. Go follow them. Show some love. Gates Open. Tell them, man. This Gates Open call. We're in here. There's something for the people.
Gates open, y'all already know, man. The gates are back open.
Yeah, it's serious.
back
Man.
open.
We had to shut down for a bit.
It's serious. This man comes alive when the camera comes on.
Yeah, man.
Yo, he comes alive when the camera comes on. Let's
My
go.
wife dropped me off at the crib. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. He did get dropped off here for
Thank you,
for a
ma'am.
field trip. Yeah, it's field trip.
Fucking God damn.
Yeah, I got on her nerves enough.
Yeah,
She said, you know what? Hang out with your friends.
this is and right now I am chaperoning him. He's in good hands. He's in good hands. Like State Farm or whatever it is. No, that's the other one.
Neighbor,
State Farm is there. Oh,
Jingles.
nationwide.
Nationwide.
You're in
Nationwide is
in
good hands. Nationwide is good hands. But Gates Open, make sure you go check him out. Gates Open, do not get it misunderstood. Go follow him on all social platforms. I think it's More Than Muscles on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
More Than Muscles on Instagram, and then or More Than Muscles Fitness. It's something like that. Yeah. Go look for my guy's face.
Okay.
Fuck it. Put some
I'm
work
down.
in. You know what I mean? Connect.
I'm down.
Show him that you really care. And then at the same time, go check him out on his YouTube. Lots of content over there. At some point, we look forward to getting some more fire lives coming at their neck, going crazy. So, but we're in here today. So yeah, send in politicking. Paul B. Balcom B. Paul. Go find him on X. Crazy arguments,
Did you say
coming in.
A lot of
You said Balco, right?
Balcom.
LeBron.
a lot of times, a lot of those times, by the way, I see arguments with people that he knows. Yes, those are the meanest ones.
Listen. Sometimes because there's a love there, so there's an understanding. We listen. We can get past the wall.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Now
Skip
it's
the
true
bullshit.
emotions. Okay. No, listen.
Skip the
A
bullshit.
lot of times we do get too emotional on social media.
It's an emotional place.
Okay.
It's like the road.
It's like the road.
You want me to
Which
show you up?
Exactly. You don't want to look stupid on there.
Which public service announcement.
Yeah.
Fucking pay attention to what you're doing when you're driving. Okay.
There it is.
We say this a lot. I feel
Oh,
like
hey.
we say this a lot. I feel like.
Well, actually, so damn, I didn't. I like to start out. I want to get into the stories that we got to get into. There's a lot of good stuff. We're going to talk about the women's basketball. We're going to talk about Shannon Sharpe being a paid shill from LeBron James. Disgusting.
Who told you that first?
China,
Who told you
This is
that
not
first?
a
He did.
fact,
He did.
sir.
Thank you.
He did.
It's all
Thank you.
Yeah, and then a Chinese
Yeah, forgot about
travel
that.
advisory for Chinese for people of Chinese descent. They're like, yo, chill out. This is from China. They're like, you just be expected to be in some unexpected situations
What?
if you're in America. Well, we'll get into it.
In
We'll get
America?
into it. Stick around, huh?
In America?
In America, like if you go visit America as a Chinese citizen, just be expected to be in some like
Some of them flights Americans will be on.
some of those
Also.
flights.
Whoa.
What are we talking about?
Where
Flights,
Oh,
brother?
are you going with
Talking
this?
you
about
know,
coming
it was
over
early.
No, he's just saying, hey, if you're visiting, we'll get into it.
Okay.
But I did want
My
to tell you, so you
bad.
said be careful on the road. I wanted to share a little thing. I thought there's an interesting exchange that I had this week that I was probably too high for, and that's why I took more than what I needed to from it. But I wanted to share this with you guys. I want to get you guys' opinion because it did have to do with the road. So I was on the road and I was driving behind this guy for quite a while. He did not use his turn signal. We'll say, so first time he didn't use his turn signal, we were turning into like the mall area. You guys know what I'm talking about, but this is crossing a busy road. So that had me a little infuriated. I was gripping wood grain, as Pip C might say, but not in like a good way. I was pissed. And then so I'm behind him still. We both have to pull into this area. He makes another turn into this plaza area, no turn signal, and I'm like, okay, now he really did it.
Whew.
The first time I'm like, should I honk the horn? I'm a horn honker. I will get on that bitch. So it's like, yeah. So it's like, I decided not to. I decided to take the higher path, and I was like, you know what? I don't need to have any, altercations there or anything like that. It's gonna be cool. So the second time though, I'm like, damn, he really is like, it's like in the
yeah.
Well, and it's like he just either doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, or like what
he has no courtesy for those around him.
No awareness of the fucking
an asshole.
Turn signal.
Just a moving asshole.
Yeah, definitely a moving asshole. So we end up parking and we get out of the car, and I'm like, okay, do I want to say something to him at this point? Do I want to inform him like, hey, you have a thing to like signal that you're gonna turn, asshole? Well, I decided not to for whatever reason. Once again, I was walking a peaceful path that day.
Like, you got
I was high. I was actually
brother.
I was actually going to get some more weed at the moment. So I was like,
don't let us ruin your day.
I was walking a peaceful path for sure. The path of a pacifist at that time of Buddha. And
mall still open. The mall's still open.
Mall's still open. They're about to turn that bitch into like condos.
Yeah, it's still there right now.
They was doing that last year, but
I love that. Good question. But let's try to make sure that's on the actual story. You feel what I'm saying? But no. So yeah, I end up pulling in. So I don't say anything to the guy. We end up actually going into the same place. I don't even really realize that we don't have any interactions. But as I'm leaving, I hold the door open for the guy. I'm not thinking about it, just because I would do that for anybody. And we end up, he says thank you, which are obviously nothing. The only thing that pisses me off more than people not using their turn signals, motherfuckers that don't say thank you when you hold the door open for them. Like that's just supposed to happen.
Yeah, like it's my job.
It's crazy. So either way, so he said thank you. We ended up talking about Easter, happy Easter. It was like a pleasant interaction. So what made me think about this, I was thinking that with the exact same person, the exact same two people involved in that interaction, it could have went the exact opposite way. And just based off like me making a different decision, and like, I mean, he could have like made a better decision, like use his fucking turn signal, but whatever. But my point being is that those two people, how many times are there scenarios like that where there's like several different ways that something could end up playing out? And in that case, I learned a lesson from it where it's like I actually had a pleasant conversation with the person that if I would have told them like, hey, what the fuck happened with this turn signal? I might have left there, been like, that guy is a piece of shit. So one thing it also makes me think of too is maybe like not overvaluing first impressions of people. You know what I mean? And really writing them off right away, based on whatever you see. I think it's good for you as a person. You as a person, I think it's probably good to be like, I want to make the best first impression possible, because you can't control how other people take that. Correct. So the whole saying of like the best impression or as a first impression or whatever, that I agree with that still. But I think from actual practice, like that guy showed obviously that he's capable of not being like. Also, when I was holding the door open for him, this was an interesting thing because it had to do with like being thoughtful, courteous. He was like rushing. He's like, oh, let me hurry up, like some people that's obviously not even a thing. So like he's like, oh, let me hurry up, get my bag and shit like that. So I'm just like, there's things where I'm like, I came to actually appreciate the person rather than like just like I said, literally write them off and then also take away. I took away like kind of like some happiness and joy from the interaction rather than. If the opposite situation, even if I cussed him out and really gave him the what's for, you feel what I'm saying? Yeah. Right. I still would have taken away hate or like just anger from the situation. At the very, even if not hate, anger. When in the car, I'm still carrying that interaction with me. When I get home, I might be carrying that interaction with me. Instead, I was carrying like a little bit of like a joy, happiness. I was happy with my own restraint because definitely, like I said, I'll lay on that horn like a motherfucker. So it's like I wanted to do that. That was my first instinct.
Did it on the way here.
You're not even driving that far. It's wild.
No, I'm saying from Cape.
He got in the driveway. My wife came outside. What are you doing? You
By the way, Jade Spades, what's up? What's going on? Stick around because we are definitely going to get into that Chinese travel advisory. I'd love to hear your opinion on that.
I haven't heard about that yet.
Yeah, as well as we're going to talk about the food aid that Israel accidentally shot.
I commend you. Great job.
Okay.
Now, see, I love taking the high road because I'm always just don't be the stain in someone's day. And I've never really cared. Like first impressions, obviously, like I'm a big, obviously, like walk away from it and have some shit to say to Lauren, and we joke around. But I'm very like, I'm gonna give you so much patience and understanding that we're just people, right? But for some reason, when I get behind the wheel, it goes completely away. And everybody's a fucking asshole to me. Why? Like for example, okay, we pull up to a red light. Why are you 2 car lengths back? Pull up. I understand you don't want to get on someone's ass, but pull up there. You're blocking people from being able to get to that left-hand turn lane. Yeah, you're blocking people. You're slowing it down. Okay.
And I still got to try to squeeze past you.
Right.
So I got to put both our cars over.
So the light turns green. The light turns green. Go.
You
don't have to slam it, but go. There shouldn't be a 3, 4, 5 second delay.
But don't be the dickhead that also like once the light turns green.
Give it time. And then like, why is there a 5 car length gap when everyone's turning left? So what are we doing? Are we waiting for them to clear the intersection before we turn left on a green light? Stop blocking intersections. Wait your turn. Wait, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that we're all in this game and we're all here. Wait your fucking turn, man.
Sometimes when you cross over that intersection, you don't know you're gonna stick out.
Well, you have to wait. That's where the patience. You have to have patience. But it's and then when you're driving and there's a pull in, an entry or an exit way, you are not allowed to block that at a red light. You have to leave those open. People have to be able to get in and out. It's like I'm sorry. Again, these are just the rules of the road that we're all supposed to follow.
Do you remember the I'm not like in detail, but do you remember the drug and alcohol test that you had to take to get your license here?
Yes.
So, well, it's just because you mentioned something that actually has to do with that, with like, why are you so pissed off when you're on the road and stuff like that? I actually say because you are in like a heightened state of awareness. So you like, kind of are on edge anyways. I don't know if you remember them saying, but they're like, never drive angry.
Well, that's impossible because driving makes me angry. Yeah. Well, it's like driving makes me so.
I gotta stop every 5 minutes for a breather.
And then I try to remember.
All happy. Hey, babe. Bye, babe.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah, and then
hi kids,
dude. If you talk while you drive, and like I talk to like my coworkers, and I talk to Lauren, and it's funny. Like everybody I talk to that they drive, there's a moment when we're on the phone where they're screaming. They're screaming at the road, and I'm like, damn, yep, we all do it. I can't feel so bad, but it's all the time. Not using your blinkers. It's just constant dickery every step of the way.
I get to screaming though. I'll be honest.
I'm an emotional reactor and then a very compassionate understander.
No, but I'm more likely. It's highly likely that I'll degrade the other drivers while I'm driving. Obviously, I'm definitely degrading them and using I'm definitely cussing them out.
And they're probably the nicest person in the world. They just look. Like we all text and drive. If you suck at it, stop it.
I blame it on the car. Whatever car they're driving. I don't blame it on the person driving the car. I always blame it on the car. Man, look at that car.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's highly illogical.
Yeah. But you're taking that pure hatred for the individual out of somewhere else. Yeah.
An inanimate object.
I feel that a lot.
That's being controlled, by the way. So it's totally on the person.
It's hard, bro. It's just like every day is like you just deal with. And I keep saying, I'm like every day I'm dealing with assholes. Again, now, in retrospect, am I the asshole? Because I'm the one that doesn't have a tinted window and you just see me behind the wheel and it's like, damn. Yeah.
That motherfucker's throwing a tantrum.
Yo, what is wrong with that guy?
Don't see him. No, they made a mistake. I know he's talking about me.
Yeah,
I know he's talking about.
There's been a few times on the road where I've had people acknowledge like when they fucked up, and that's always like appreciated.
Yeah,
my bad. I almost ran you off the road. I appreciate that. But when they just do that, then they fucking just drive off. So, I've had that happen more. That usually happens.
Yeah. They don't want to see you.
They don't even want to look me in the eyes.
Traffic coward. Together, and then they just like.
They're like, I can't see shit. I'm fucking Ray Charles over here.
Happy day, dude. We're one of those backed up left lanes, right? Yeah. So you see the line go, and you're like, fuck. And so then the straight goes. So now everyone's filling into the red lights, and then you have this guy, and oh man, an expensive car, who he speeds past everyone, the entire line behind, to just cut in front, and it's like, so yeah, I rolled down the passenger window and I just stared, and I waited, and then we looked over. I'm like, asshole. And then he looked back and was like messing with his watch. I'm like, oh. And then again, bad mood, my bad, wrong for me.
But what a shameful experience it must be to be a person like that.
You know what?
This probably happened to him all day.
But why is he? But listen, stop being the dick.
Learn from it.
I'm sorry. You know what? Listen, sometimes parents have to spank their kid. Okay, they have to discipline the child, and that guy needs discipline. Okay, he needs somebody.
But don't you think as an adult you're trying to bully him, and you said there was no benefit of bullying last week?
How do you?
You know what? We're
benefit and shame and humiliation.
You caught me there. Okay,
this man's a fucking hypocrite.
Okay,
you literally.
Fair enough. But you know what? Again, it was in a moment of a lot of anger. I was very mad about working late. Okay.
No, I get that. Yeah.
And the thing, sometimes things happen.
Well, my question is,
again, I'll be better, America.
How do you get side by side with him? Because then he skipped.
Because I'm in the left, because there's two left turning lanes, like we filled into two. So I'm in the left one in the second line, and then he cut the other HVAC fan to my right. And got second to the right. Yeah, man. Fucking why are you cutting us, man? Dude, that's nothing. One last thing is people, for some reason, if you're in like a work vehicle, dude, people think that it's like pull out time.
Yeah, you're going to save people's lives.
Like we got pull out front, and it's like I get it. If I hit you, it's a lawsuit, and you're taking things.
Yeah, I'll look at it different. I'll look at it as you're gonna go slow.
Well, we ain't. Okay, we're trying to get to our destination. Okay,
they looking at it like a lawsuit. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Well, I guess again, that's the. I'm usually not so pessimistic, but yeah, I guess with other people, my patience
would have fooled me.
People have made me.
Would have definitely fooled me.
I blame everybody else. It's not my problem. Okay, it's not my fault.
No. Hey, well, so here before we get too far into this, I want to make sure I say Vontae Davis.
Oh man,
yeah,
moment of silence.
Yeah, he just passed away.
He passed away.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
they found him in his grandmother's room. Grandmother's house.
During the moment of silence,
yeah. Okay, while we're googling, moment of silence. Okay,
right,
thank you.
All right, we're back. We're back. It's a podcast, Monte. You got to respect. We can't have that long of a moment of silence.
Yeah.
How long you played football?
7.
I'll tell you here in a second. Let's see.
Remember, he's the one that retired at halftime of a game.
Oh.
Just he walked in and said, you know what, this is a young boy sport. I'm out.
He said it's cold as fuck in this state. Well, he already played.
He was an Indy.
Yeah. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you can say 9. He played one game.
Yeah, one game at Buffalo.
Yeah.
So 8 games. I mean, 9 years. 9 years.
9 years. 9 years. So 9 years in the NFL. Most of that with the Indianapolis Colts.
I was sad when Miami traded him.
Yeah, no, him and Sean Smith, man, that was a serious.
They were both up and coming, and we got rid of both of them. And then Sean Smith played well in Kansas City. He played well in Indy. It was like, what?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Was it Buffalo? They were playing against Buffalo?
No, he was playing for Buffalo.
Yeah, he was in Buffalo. And he's just like, fuck all this. I mean, they do play outside. That might have been a big game changer. He's like, my knees hurt right now. I'm aching. I'm feeling. I mean, you would feel it more.
Okay, you know what? Who did he play that game? And what receiver made him be like, hey, you know what?
Fuck that. Fuck
but no, man, he's we gotta remember he got like everyone remembers his hard knocks when Miami like let him know that he was being traded and like he was like crying and he had to call it. He's like I want to call my grandma. The GM was like, okay, well there's time for that. And he's like, nah, I want to call my grandma. And like you know that he clearly had some personal, depression or something that was going on. Like,
I think his grandma actually his
grandma. Yeah, he was at his grandma's house. So who knows? That's very sad, man.
Yeah, I don't think they have a cause of death yet. They said there's no foul play suspected, anyways. But
played in the Super Bowl, didn't he? Or did he?
For the Colts, maybe.
No, I don't think so. No, because their last Super Bowl was with Peyton Manning. Against the Bears.
Yeah,
he wasn't there at that time.
No, he was Miami that time.
Yeah, no. But anyway, I'm trying to find if they have a cause of death yet. But yeah, definitely sad. Prayers to him, and yeah, like I said, it was a situation here where it's saying that his grandmother found him.
And family, his grandmother
in Florida,
father, whoever else.
Yeah, he's 35, I think. They said. So yeah, crazy. Definitely really appreciated just getting to watch him play football and all that. But let's go ahead. We're gonna move on. We want to pick up the vibes. Definitely rest in peace to Vontae and his family.
And people need to take mental health seriously and what these players and a lot of people go through.
Oh yeah, for sure. So I want to ask you guys, speaking of family and all that, how was your guys' Easter? How do you feel about Easter? Is there any kind of Easter conspiracies? I'll take them. Easter traditions that you want to call out? But yeah, how was your Easter in general? I was just wondering.
Easter was good. Hell Saturday, which I call it, was actually like a hellish Saturday. Yeah, because Good Friday.
Here in the mic, brother.
Good Friday. Okay. And that's when he died.
Yeah.
Right. So they say. And then Saturday, nothing happened. That day probably was hell. Okay. Sunday,
it's a bad day.
He rose. Okay. So Saturday was not a great day. Friday, we watched the Godzilla vs. Kong. Excellent. Right. IMAX. Fantastic. And then Sunday was cool. Went swimming at parents' house. Awesome. Went to in-laws' house. Played categories. Ran that shit.
Did you guys fucking do an egg hunt?
Yes, we did egg hunt. Oh, dude. So I forgot. So okay. So
forgot egg hunt was thing. Oh,
man. We go week to week, right? With the son, and past 3 years, Easter's fallen on his mother's week. So, and it's not really like a big one. Easter's really for us.
Not for you, yeah.
So it's like, no, we don't have to like egg hunt. So what happened was my sister was doing one at my parents' house. So when Lauren asked me, she was like, hey, do we need to grab candy and eggs? I was like, I mean, if you want to. I said, but he is doing an egg hunt. So then we get home and we're like at home Friday night. We just get back from seeing Godzilla in Sarasota. So we got back and then Parker goes, do you think the Easter Bunny's going to keep the eggs inside or outside? And I was like,
I knew I could have got him.
Dropping heads. You're like, man, you're too old to be thinking about a goddamn Easter Bunny.
How old is he now?
He's 10. So I like, and he's been
too old. Was that?
He's been asking. So it's like,
good,
and so I'm at this point, I don't know if he's like hanging on for like the free shit.
Oh, of course. and
like my heart, or if he's like still, because like he's like, and he's a smart kid, but we try to keep that magic alive, right? Sure, but at Walmart,
he's manipulating.
You have people who were fucking like hoarding candy, bro.
Yeah,
I believe
candy hoarders.
Yeah, it's sick.
It's like stop.
Like employees.
No, just people.
Oh, okay.
Fucking there's X amount left, and they're sitting there trying to keep their big bodies in front and fucking. And it's like I gotta hit their hand out of the way, like give me one.
Like when a hurricane come and they run out of water.
Yeah.
And then people, hey, won't you sell this? I gotta sell that individual.
Brother, get that mic just because I can barely hear you. I'm be honest.
They like, well, can I buy this? I'm like, yeah, you can buy that for $40-something.
Yeah.
That ain't about a pound.
Oh yeah. During the hurricane, you guys don't know price hikes happen. Yeah, that happens.
No, it's meant to be sold individually.
Oh, listen to him go. He sounds like a fucking racetrack or some shit. Yeah, this is the talking points. This man's giving you gas station talking points on the. Come on, man, we keep it real here. That was bullshit. But yeah, for sure. Definitely the miscommunication there, just so we could be a little informative here, was that when people would come in and buy it, they would want like a pack at like a pack of water at a pack of water's cost, but racetrack or the store or whatever is intended to selling these as individuals. So just because it's a hurricane,
specific price.
Exactly. So they're not gonna take a fucking haircut on that because you're thirsty.
That's the categories. I think the game's called Code Names.
Oh, okay. Codenames. Oh, yeah.
It just clicked in my head.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, I'm happy that you enjoyed it. You guys got some games in.
What'd you
like
do?
That. Oh, egg hunt. We did the whole thing. We actually still have to color eggs. We failed on that. We didn't color eggs.
We did that 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah, we gotta do that fucking tonight. Hopefully.
I was at my mother-in-law house.
Oh hell yeah!
Always good times there.
Oh, having the family right. Yeah. We don't have too much family, so we just made it. We made it special between us and all that.
Awesome.
Well, I mean, that was it. Just me, my family, my wife, kids, and my mother-in-law.
Okay, that's not much, but still, you got a big family.
And then my brother-in-law, he came and his girl.
Yeah.
So,
there you go. It's
very nice.
Hey, did everybody going to get bigger every time I ask them a question?
Did we all eat ham? Ham was on the menu, or?
Yeah. Ham was on.
Nah, we had something else. I don't even remember, but I know it's delicious.
You don't remember it was that delicious.
No, I forgot that we did fucking our egg coloring at 2:00 in the morning on Saturday or Sunday morning.
Serious business. What's that about? Why do we color eggs?
I don't know.
I don't know, but we had to. And then Parker was like, and we did it so late because like he was like having a headache. So then he skipped dinner. We let him nap. Woke him up. Said, hey man, like, do you want dinner now? He ate a little bit. Was like, oh, I'm still not feeling good. So I let him sleep a little more. We watched a movie, and then we were like, oh shit, yeah, we really gotta get this done. So I woke him up one more time. I was like, do you want to color eggs? He's like, is it okay if I just say no? And I'm like,
oh shit.
Bro. Yeah, well, but she already did all the shit like 4 hours, like got everything ready like 5-6 hours beforehand.
Ah, gotcha.
So it was like, so now like, and we have it outside, like on the table outside, and I'm just like, whoa.
And I noticed he said she got things ready.
She got things ready.
I was cooking dinner.
No, respect.
Oh, now you cook.
Hey, I'm glad she was.
No, you know I cook.
By the way, one explanation for this custom of coloring eggs is that eggs were formerly a forbidden food during Lent. So people would paint and decorate them to mark the end of the period of penance and fasting. Then eat them on Easter as celebration.
Didn't know that.
That's an interesting.
No wonder they fucking died early. Easter, they're painting eggs and eating them. Fucking crazy. Easter egg hunts and egg rolling are two popular egg-related traditions. I don't even know what egg rolling is. What is that? I mean, I'm assuming you're just rolling eggs and shit. Let's come on. All right. Well, that was I was just curious. But I'm glad to hear y'all had a nice little Easter and stuff like that.
No fights.
No fight. Oh, no fights with the family. Yeah, that's big. Yeah, that's big.
Oh, that's very big. It's not even normal.
Well, yeah, like why weren't we fighting? I guess we should say. Speaking of which, if we're going to talk about fights, let's get into it. You know, we don't gotta bury the lead here. We had a humongous women's basketball game just yesterday. Actually, Iowa versus LSU. So. Paul's telling me that's the rematch from the championship game last year.
Yeah.
And
let's fucking find out.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, still, by the way, though, to be clear, that was still one of the most iconic moments I think we've had in, I guess, modern women's basketball with the taunting back and forth, the reaction online. Make sure you're talking about in the mic, brother.
Nothing's happening in the WNBA, but
almost ever in college basketball. College women's basketball is not a very popular sport either. So this really did put it on a different map. It kind of it gave them personality. You know what I mean? It kind of made you buy into characters in a way. And it just so happens to be both these ladies have huge talent to back it up. So they work themselves right back into a position where they're playing for heavy stakes in a Final Four game. So this time, obviously, Cailin Clark, if you didn't see, and the Iowa Hawkeyes, they came out on top against LSU. And
I didn't know.
Okay, well, I'm glad to inform you, brother. Here, and yeah, so
Cailin Clark balled out.
Yeah, she went crazy.
Crazy. Kind of just came out of nowhere with it.
Yeah, well, she did ball her first year. She scored like 25 points her first year. But the thing is, to your point earlier, people don't really give a fuck about.
Yeah.
So something like this had to happen for us to really buy in. She turned around this year and then she scored the most points all time in college basketball.
Just college basketball, period, not men or women. Yeah, she's
her first year. Yeah, her first year, she had like 25 points.
She's unbelievable, bro, and she's pulling up from the logo.
She's going crazy.
Wet.
Like Steph Curry out there.
Bro. She's doing full court passes for assists. Bro, she is legitimately that great of a basketball player. It's incredible.
87-94 was the
college and women's college basketball. 94-87.
The male Steph Curry
came a long way.
They had to have a female to match it. You know, make their game, and their game needs some excitement.
You know, Disney writes March Madness.
Why are we doing that?
Yeah.
Disney writes March Madness, so they had to do the fucking DEI bullshit, and obviously fucking have a woman Steph Curry recast his ass. Yeah, she did go crazy though. 41 points, 12 assists.
She's dirty.
7 rebounds.
She's disgusting.
That's dumb.
12 assists. Yeah.
Bro, she's all around.
She about to be must-watch TV.
Bro, she is. That's the thing.
And so, I'm gonna start watching.
So, do you remember the Big Three, Ice Cube's basketball league? He came out and offered her $5 million to play in it.
I know they offered her something.
It's 10 games, $5 million. Now, to put that in perspective to the WNBA, their salary caps are like $1.7 million. You're talking about her making more money than the entire team times 2-3.
Did she turn it down?
She's still playing, so she says she's not making any decision on that until she's done playing. Till her shit's done.
He said, "Yeah, I'm coming."
I don't think she want to do that personally,
bro. But why not? The WNBA ain't going to turn you away because you're playing Big Three. Again, she is bringing eyes. I think that salary caps will go up just because eyes are drawn. Basketball fans are over. A lot of basketball fans now don't care about the gender. We only care about good basketball. So if it's good basketball, they're going to watch it. And women's sports, just like right here, like my Uncle Teddy, what he brought around in Charlotte County for girls basketball. Now that is like bigger than Pop Warner football. The girls basketball league. They go national tournaments. They have different branches now. And you're talking about this area has girls playing all around the country now, and girls going to play college basketball, and they're better than guys.
Isn't that kind of anecdotal though? Like we're talking about, like we have a good team here. So I mean, that's not necessarily.
What do you mean?
Well, because we have a good team here of female basketball or whatever. I think that's why I want you to explain. If maybe I'm not misunderstanding. It doesn't mean that female basketball necessarily is like at the level of male basketball, because our females here are better than our men here.
So I get that, but what I'm pointing out is that here in a smallish, again, like 100,000 or less town, 100,000 people or less, we have a girls youth basketball program that is now at the same level of what boys AAU has always been, right? So and the Miami and the Tampa and the Jacksonville's and Orlando's, you're looking at the same thing. Girls basketball is now no longer just looked at as girls just out there playing, trying to be like the boys. No, these girls are being skillfully trained. They're not. Bro, watch it, and then the shots.
I think it mostly is though. I think it mostly is that. I think why this stands out is because these are instances really only with Cailin. We're not really saying this with Angel Reese, because the type of position she plays is too physical to even imagine her playing with men.
But Angel Reese also has 16 points, 20 rebounds.
She had 7. Do you think that she would do that against men?
I don't think she'll have 20 rebounds, but I think she's going to go in there and get some boards. Bro. LSU just had a 6'8" player, and Angel Reese is, I think, like 6'6". Like they have size, like and they're athletic. They're athletic too. And then it's not just
Cailin Clark. We had this with Brittany Griner, and she said no.
Well, again,
she said no, thank you.
Again, it's not, and it's not
back in the day when she was coming out of college. That was kind of I think she was one of the first women I remember, and correct me if I'm wrong, where it was like she maybe could possibly play with men. Oh yeah, she's balling. She's back in the WNBA and shit.
Like again, or if we're looking at, would they be an all-star player in the NBA? No, but could they do just as much as what the last guy on the roster is doing? I think it's up to see what the hell they could do.
Yeah, but doesn't that Clark, speak to the disparity in talent? Because you're saying, this is what I'm pushing back on. You're representing it as if there's it's close, and I think it's not.
I'm not saying talent. I'm saying go ahead. Say what you're saying.
I think it'll be different because
you're in there, brother.
If some female made it to the WNBA team, I mean the NBA team or something like that, last person off the bench, or whatever, they're gonna super guard her. Like she ain't gonna be able to.
Yeah. Or maybe it'd be like
loose from anything.
Maybe it'd be like when you played. Did you ever play a girl when you played football? I don't know if you did. I played.
I had a girl on my team, LA.
It'd be.
I had some people on my team.
Sometimes people would have a hard time with that.
Like, I had a girl on my team. I think she kicker or something. I really don't remember.
LA played linebacker and running back up for both, but she was raw. Continue. I'm sorry.
That's a wild young lady, but
but it's not necessarily that the talent's the same. It's that the quality of basketball that you're watching is not bad basketball. You're looking at two girls teams going 94 to 87. Like that's a lot of scoring. Yeah. And it's not just that one girl went off. It's that, hey, no, the whole team can play. Yeah. South Carolina, bro, all 5 of them can ball.
But you put them on the team, or you put them against some guys. They're going balls out, trying not to let them score. I'm not saying it's not going to happen. I'm not saying it might be an embarrassment on the guys' behalf or whatever the case may be. But you put some girls, some females out there against some guys. Mm-hmm. The guys are trying to show out.
Okay, so are we talking just guys, or we're talking about NBA versus WNBA, right?
Yeah,
I get that.
Same level.
But I'm not even talking about them playing against each other. I'm talking about just what I'm saying is that the WNBA salary cap right now, being as low as it is going to go up just because the quality of basketball that we're getting into the WNBA from these college girls is a better brand of basketball than what we've seen in years past. So more eyes are on it. Social media has expanded it.
Hypothetically, maybe. I don't know. I mean, you're talking about is you're projecting, and it's hypothetical. So I mean, maybe that would happen. But like I'm speaking from the evidence that we have right now. I don't think it's the same quality of basketball. I don't think they're nearly as athletic. I don't think you're saying that. But I'm just saying, like, I don't think in any way it's scratching the surface of what like the NBA is doing. And I mean, college basketball is a little bit closer for sure, but this game itself is an anomaly. Like how excited. That's why it's so important, because it's an anomaly. People don't get this excited. This is the final fucking four. Right. This is like the first game that I've heard like everybody get on the same page with. So it's like, other than that, it's very sparse coverage, because you know why? March Madness with the guys are happening, and fucking Zach Edey's over here fucking averaging the double-double.
So two things I want to say. Please. One, can we look up the viewership of the girls' March Madness? Okay. And two, both things can be true, that the NBA is always going to be more popular than the WNBA, and that the WNBA is going to gain in popularity. It doesn't have to be apples to apples.
But I'm also pushing back specifically on your quality stance. I think it's not
bad quality basketball.
But to say it's bad quality is not to say it's in the same fucking spectrum as the NBA.
But you're still watching elite good basketball. You're watching good spacing. You're watching good plays. You're watching girls actually.
How many people, especially normal people who might not have played basketball, how many people understand that good spacing?
I think more and more, especially with more and more basketball podcasts, basketball clips on social media. Again, social media is expanding a lot of, honestly, knowledge and understanding in a lot of things for people. So that's where, again, I think it's going to gain. Now, I'm saying that to say that maybe she doesn't have to take this offer from the big three. I think if she goes to the big three, she's going to have trouble playing defense, clearly. But the girl can shoot, and I don't give a fuck who you are. It's hard to stop somebody who can shoot from anywhere. You get a pick and roll, you come off the pick, and you're able just to drop it. It's over. You get the right spacing. You come off a pick, and then you get the dish, and then you can catch and shoot the way she can.
I don't think
she's going to be able to do it. And again, it's going to bring eyes. So it's a good thing for Ice Cube. It's a good thing for her. I would take the $5 million. You run into 1 week where you are playing both, right? Where the games were kind of have an issue.
Yeah, for her, take it. But I don't see it being easy, because those picks you're taught to I don't know how to say it, but bring yourself in front of the man who's picking you, and wrap your feet around them. So like that, bam. So then they can't cut you off, so to speak. So I think you'll see a lot more effort from the men who are trying to stop her.
Of course, but there's still fouls. So you can only go so far.
That wouldn't be a foul though.
Again, how hard are we going to what do you mean by they're going to go harder? They're going to play harder than they play as hard as they can already against men. So,
well, yeah, they're going to get to their spot faster, better, and stuff.
Yeah, like again, I'm not saying she's going to go in and drop 30 points, but again, she can go in there and play, earn her money, and then that's going to bring the WNBA to say, hey, we need to up our salary cap. We need to get more sponsorships. We need to get more TV deals. And again, I think all that's growing.
All that is true.
Again.
So, by the way, so far what I'm finding is it's really talking about the Iowa LSU game, because that broke records. So it's like,
record.
Yeah, it said they had 12.3 million
holy shit
viewers tuning in to watch Iowa versus LSU. Probably more than that, because I don't know if that's including like illegal viewers and shit. So I'm sure it was going crazy.
But
but my point
the whole tournament wasn't that high. The whole tournament was over a few million though. But it was good viewership, because again, I wonder. But again, there's 4 or 5 good girl basketball teams, and the rest are kind of mediocre. But that's where that's what I'm saying. It's getting better.
I think it is better, but it's like I just don't think it's anywhere near an NBA level skill. But the thing is, that's where we're pushing back. Even quality, I think, like as far as like we were just talking about quality of the game, I think like in the they're moving so much fucking slower that it's like it looks like I mean, it's just the game itself, it's not even being played at the same level that we're seeing the men play it at. So that's where I disagree. I think Cailin Clark, and there are a few ladies that do look like they could be competitive. I'm sure like in a one-on-one game maybe they could be competitive.
I forget her name from USC, but she's a baller.
But like part of like we can't compare her to anybody, because there's not really anybody that has played at this level as a female. So it's like we're comparing her not in this way, and so we're comparing her to men. When a female plays good, we compare her to like some man that played in the NBA.
And then you want to see a full team of it.
And then also like I think we all kind of are curious about. I like even with this situation, I am curious to see how she would do. I'm not completely writing her off. I think if there is somebody that could do it, she's a great candidate to do so. But I think if there's an anomaly, there's like literally one person that's able to do that. It doesn't speak to there being this gap that's been bridged.
Yeah.
I think we still have a long way to go. I think there was a reason why there was a lot of frustration with some of the other players on LSU, because when they came face up with that talent, like a lot of people, they can't fucking stop it because it's on a different
the game
level.
plan was kind of bad though.
But I mean, nobody really stops her. That's the thing. It's like she averages like 27 points a game.
No, but you have Angela Reese in a 6'8" like center. Like you need to go ahead and just say, hey, listen, man, like we're not gonna let her drop 40. We're not gonna let her drop 30. We're gonna have to sit
high
here
level.
Like we're gonna have to sit here and just double team her. Let somebody else on the team beat us on the perimeter.
Yeah,
and live with that game.
Somebody else did have like 20-something points. I don't remember who it was.
Yeah, there was one. They did have another girl go off, but again, like
I mean,
Cailin.
I don't see.
Yeah, it's hard to stop her.
Female team beating NCAA team,
men's team.
Yeah. I just.
I don't know. I mean, that's interesting.
At this point, I definitely don't.
If you put them against the like worst college team, male college basketball team, and the best female college basketball team, but I think even if you're making those kind of like distinctions, then that's kind of like
that
kind of makes the point. That makes the point of the argument, I think.
But again, like okay, tennis.
By the way, K Jiggaman, I just want to say, comment last night was high level basketball.
Yeah, it was.
He's agreeing with you.
Tennis. We don't think that the women are better than the men, but there are women that could beat men. But the women tennis is still high level. Golf is still high level. UFC and boxing, you still have high level skill, quality. But to where, and that's what I'm saying.
But generally, it's not high level. That's why even like UFC, like we had Ronda Rousey. The game left her behind. She was the best possible fucking.
Because the game got better because more people got involved, and then now it's more training. So these people have to grow. And that's what I'm saying.
But even then, you have ladies fighting for fucking championships that are like 13 and 11.
Yes, that's true. Like, but again, because that's but that's more of the amount of selection, and again, it's getting better. So that's what I'm saying with basketball. These girls in high school right now have been playing basketball since they were 4 or 5 years old. They have been doing the same skills training, going to the same camps as the boys. So they are being better. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So now within 5, 6, 7 years, you're looking at those girls are going to be college to the WNBA, which means that the quality of basketball by the quantity of players is just going to be better. So that's what I'm saying. More eyes.
Motherfuckers used to laugh at women's basketball.
Yeah, and that's it's taken seriously right now. And it's going to be
those 5, 6, 7, 8 years you talked about. We've already gone through that time frame.
Yeah,
and I just, if you got a man's team, that can ball, a female team that can ball, I think it's just no question.
Females get
washed but would you watch the girls' game?
I mean, yeah.
Okay, and that's all I'm asking for because that's how they get paid.
Yeah, I mean, I'll watch it now.
Yeah, I'm not asking for Cailin Clark to get drafted by the Indiana Fever and then go and play the Indiana Pacers and keep it within 15. I'm just asking that the Indiana Pacer fans are now going to go fill up the arena for the Fever because Cailin Clark's sitting there playing basketball, which means that's going to increase the amount of revenue, which should increase the salary.
Maybe, but hold on. No, let's because I need to push back on that because you have one Cailin Clark, brother. Like it's like
no, but you don't.
That's the thing. Well, no,
that's not true.
Okay, so then
there are like four. There are 4 really.
Okay, so 4.
But I'm saying at her level, there are about 3 or 4 girls in college basketball right now that are that good.
But they going against a lot of time they play down low.
Yeah,
and they're going against guys 7 foot.
No, you got to look up the guard for USC USC girls basketball. Mm-hmm. Okay, I forget her name, and I don't want to say the wrong
name.
Yep. Nope.
Yeah. I think, but we're talking about the lady that has scored the most points, and
So okay, but hold on, no, that's not true.
Okay,
LeBron James and Kevin Durant, are they at the same level as far as
at the same level?
As far as saying elite
Juju
basketball
Watkins.
players? Juju, yes, she is unbelievable.
Right.
So
as good as
I think that
her team lost to the Connecticut Huskies, but
who has one of the best players in basketball,
bro? But I'm saying,
but again,
one
LeBron
player has scored more points than anybody in fucking college basketball history. So not everybody can be on the same level. Like some people are
okay. Is anybody on LeBron's level? Anybody on LeBron's level? When you talk about just skill, really, that's not true. Come on, that's being disingenuous. Well, whatever the fucking word is. Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard.
When we talk about GOAT conversations, LeBron's in that conversation. A lot of these guys you're talking about, Kevin Durant's not in that conversation. It's a different tier. Level. It doesn't have to be the top tier to still be respected. You're like, don't confuddle what I'm saying. It's like you can still be really great and close to LeBron's level, maybe even be able to beat him. But no, his overall career, his skill level. Let's go ahead. Make it what it is. Let's go. I'll listen.
What I'm saying is that Cailin Clark, yes, is better than them. Okay. But when you're talking about just bringing in the eyes, bringing in that level of basketball to where they are going to be dominant, great basketball players. They are dominant, great basketball players. Yes, there are other girls on that level because you can't say Cailin Clark is here, everybody else is here. That's not true. That's not true at all.
I mean, there's some people in the WNBA that maybe can move in, but I mean, a lot of these ladies are retired that are the best NBA. The most recognizable WNBA faces, a lot of them are retired. That's a fact.
I mean, I really don't.
Thank you. Why does he not know? Other than the obvious.
What I'm saying, okay,
but I'm pretty sure.
What does the retired ones have to do with the
they're
newcomers?
Not contributing. That's why.
But they don't matter. We're talking about the newcomers. I'm talking about the future of it, not the fucking past of it.
I'm telling you,
future of it.
I'm telling you that not all these people are going.
Watch.
Okay, let's watch. Let's watch. Like to say that there's going to be growth in the company doesn't mean shit to me, Paul. Like that doesn't mean any. Like we're talking about exponential growth. If it's gonna compete with the NBA on any level,
where are we talking about competing? Who brought up competing with the NBA?
That's what we were talking about at the beginning with women's college basketball competing with men's college basketball. That's the initial conversation.
The initial conversation was
they're going to continue to grow that. Go ahead.
The initial conversation was about the big three offering her $5 million versus the WNBA not having a salary cap over $2 fucking million per team, and that her being in there
because people don't watch it
and her. Right, but these new wave of girls are going to bring more attention. So that's not saying that. Cailin Clark's going to make $28 million in the WNBA, like LeBron James is going to make, or $30 million or $40 million. It's
not even a money thing.
But that's what I was talking about.
People are not going to watch.
Again,
even close.
But when
their interest isn't there.
When you're looking at the best college basketball, one of the most watched college basketball games was a women's basketball game. Why? If they're not going to watch it, they don't care about it. It's not just that it's March Madness; it's that the draw, the matchup.
No, it was because you had two players involved that taunted each other, so there's like this personal like rivalry aspect. It's completely anomaly. Like you're building this entire argument based off a complete anomaly situation where you have like the person that has scored the most points in college basketball history. This is the person you're making your argument based off. She had a confrontation with somebody who went on to win the national championship the year before. Like this is just everything happened the right way. This is not how we feel about women's college basketball. Keep it real. Like I said, how many games? This is the fucking Final Four before we're talking about it. How many games have you been watching? You haven't been telling me, bro. We got to talk about the Sweet 16. You haven't been telling me, let's get into this Elite 8.
We don't really talk college basketball, but again, Alabama's been balling. You don't think I want to talk about again? Alabama's in the Final Four. What are we talking about? Alabama's been balling all tournament.
I've talked about I've talked about March Madness. We haven't talked about this. That's the point. Here, I want to get this comment. Are y'all talking legacy or skill? Because that's two different convos. I agree with that. But I mean, I don't know. Like, how does that affect the argument, though? I don't know.
Because legacy is going to grow because we're talking about just the comparing the legacy of the girl of what's going to happen with the female basketball players, the growth of just the eyes. I don't know where like we can't agree that with social media growing the game alone,
business would grow. That's every business. That's their goal. They'll grow.
Okay,
I'm saying exponential growth. They need that in order to compete.
But where do you think that people just don't? Because you don't watch female basketball.
Bro,
do you watch basketball?
What's wild? You know what's crazy is that this lady, she scored the most points. She's going to the WNBA. She has the big three offering her more money. That is obviously a more profitable fucking league. Do you watch basketball? Is my question. Do you watch basketball? Do you know what the fuck you're talking about?
But that's the obvious. That's the conversation I'm saying. That with her that the big three is bigger than the WNBA right now. But she is the big piece right now that's going to bring more eyes to the WNBA
because she's an anomaly. Because other people that are her gender typically do not play the game at her skill level.
Right, but that is changing. Okay. I don't understand where that's being missed is that she's not the only good female basketball player. She's not the only great skill player.
Changing, but she's an anomaly.
Oh my God.
That's the thing. It's changing. So it's sure it's changing. I just said how we laughed at female college basketball 10 years ago. So yeah, it's changing. That's to be expected. I don't know if you're like missing this or something like that, but the word exponential, when I say that part is important.
You're throwing this thing in to have the argument though. Like no, I never said it was going to be the NBA.
You compared it. You said it was on the same level of men's college basketball at the beginning of the conversation. Paul, what the fuck are you talking about?
Bro, have you been watching sports shows? Because they have been talking about women's college basketball just as much as men's.
Okay.
So yes, the conversation.
When? ESPN? No, when did they start talking about it as much as men?
This
all the time, you think?
This year. No, this
bullshit. Year. Paul's full of shit. They've talked about it as much as men's college basketball since this game, which is the whole point. No, get your fucking head out of the anomaly.
That's bullshit.
I do watch, obviously, I watch sports talk. You're just asking stupid ass questions now, like to try to like call into question some kind of, like, I guess my point of view. Why the fuck are we having a conversation if you don't think that I know what the fuck I'm talking about?
You know,
we have different points of view. Well, I'm checking you because what the fuck you ask me stupid ass questions? Do I watch sports TV? Of course. Do I watch basketball? Of course. What the fuck do you mean?
Yes. So that's where I'm confused. I'm really fucking confused.
Oh my God.
So we don't ever talk in hyperbole. We never just fucking just.
Sometimes, yeah, you ask stupid questions. But I mean, look,
that's fine. I'm sorry if I offended you by it.
You didn't offend me. I'm just pointing out how stupid of a point it was. Go ahead.
But because you're acting as if this hasn't been a conversation and it's not going to grow. It's not just one player. Yes, this one player is the biggest thing that's going to draw the eyes. But the skill level of the all-around game has gotten better, and that's going to help continue the growth. Again, this was never compared to the NBA. College basketball isn't nearly as big as the NBA.
I said college basketball. I said college basketball even.
But men's college basketball isn't big. It's only, everyone always jokes that it's only watched during March Madness. That's it. And that's the same thing with women's basketball, right? So they're on the same level when it comes to that.
It's not the same as female basketball. That's the point. What the fuck?
What do you mean? Disagree. You just said how people start watching March Madness, right? For women's basketball.
No, I said for men's basketball. They don't watch females basketball almost at all. Like 300,000 people will turn it on until there's a situation that is an anomaly, like Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese has this like cultural dynamic about it. Most of it doesn't even have to do with fucking basketball. Watch people talk about it. Most of it doesn't even have to do with basketball. Most of what people are talking about are like the dynamics between the situation. So it's like that's what captured America's attention with this. I commend them for it. I think what they did is really important and they delivered. Fucking Cailin Clark scored 41 points. She went crazy. But like I said, she is an anomaly in skill in every way you can imagine. Like motherfuckers are not on even this. And I do think that female college basketball, to your point, is better than where it was. I've conceded that. I'm not saying that's not the case. I'm not saying that it's not going to grow. Like, once again, almost every business in fucking America will grow year over year. They'll get some more viewership. Hopefully we do that, by the way.
Baseball has it?
I mean, I honestly don't know. But I mean, they definitely, I know like over the past 10 years, they've definitely plummeted. I don't know where they're at now as far as growing. But yeah, I mean, that's a fair point. Some sports can definitely die. I mean, that's what I was going to say when you said like, oh, people only watch basketball around March Madness. I'm like, well, do people ever turn on fucking cricket ever under any circumstance? Of course not.
In America, no.
Well, okay, and that's fair. So I mean, my point being is like the fact that we turn it on during. They say the same thing about the NBA, that people don't watch it regular season; they only watch the playoffs. So it's like the fact that people are tuning in when the stakes are on the line and they want to see where it goes matters. I completely disagree with your point. They don't do that with women's college basketball. There's a reason that they broke every fucking record with this game because once again, a lot of it didn't even have to do with they're both great basketball players. Although they were, I think they're talented.
Though.
Of course it does. People that don't care about basketball cared about this because of cultural dynamics. That's why. Like, get on fucking X. Like, what the fuck do you mean?
But my conversation originally started with basketball. People who watch basketball, people who care about basketballers, notice that there's an improvement in the game.
You said that,
right? And so that's
everybody here. Said that.
So you agree with my original point?
I agreed with that every time.
Again,
we had a bigger conversation.
Our disagreement is that you don't think it's going to be exceptional growth, which you're just throwing out a vague. What's the growth supposed to be? What
if it's going to catch up with men's college basketball at the very least? And if the WNBA, which you're making this fucking weird concession is to compete with the NBA. That is who the WNBA competes with, bud.
But you're not going to.
Let me finish, Paul. When you were saying, oh, the NBA has always been way bigger than college basketball. Well, what the fuck about professional women's basketball, which is fucking nothing ball? Nobody gives a fuck about it. You're talking, like, honestly, nobody gives a fuck about it. Who won the MVP last year? You may know. I don't know. You watch
honestly,
it. You don't fucking watch it, Paul. You don't watch it.
I know who won the fucking MVP.
You don't fucking watch it. You're bullshit.
I forget the girl's name.
You don't remember who won
New
MVP?
York?
Okay.
She played for New York.
New York what?
Oh my god.
What's New York's team?
No, that's fine.
What's New York's team?
I can't remember right now.
Okay.
Liberty.
You fucking
Liberty.
watch it all the fucking
Is it
time.
Liberty? I want to say it was
This
green
motherfucker
with the
he doesn't
fucking
remember shit right now.
green.
And he remembered it. Like, what the fuck, Paul? You don't watch
Bro,
it.
hold on. No, that's not bullshit. How many times do I forget shit on here?
You really call
How many
my
times
shit
do I
in person.
forget?
You literally
Hold time out. How much shit do I
MVP in the
I
league,
forget
bro.
names all the time. I literally just brought it up last week. Fuck, man, I've been forgetting all these names. And football, I couldn't remember who played receiver for the Falcons.
You forgot.
Thank you. But I don't watch football either.
Falcons. I didn't ask you who the fucking point guard was for a team that you didn't fucking know because you don't watch the fucking league. I asked you who the MVP.
I don't act like
I asked you who the most valuable player of the fucking league is that you don't watch.
I never said. I never. First of all, the words that I watched the WNBA never came out of my mouth.
Okay. You don't watch it. Okay.
I never. No, I don't. I obviously
you watch it less than me.
Like we do social media shit, but yeah, if there's games on, I watch a couple games. I don't follow that much.
I'm from Indianapolis. I watch the. I mean, it's just like you don't watch this shit.
Yeah, we don't have a Miami team, do we? But shit. But the point is, again, you're looking at.
Ladies, I got you.
Again, you're saying that they don't. Again, the conversation is beyond today. The conversation is what is going to happen. So if, bro, you just said a 12 million viewership for one game. And again, you said it's Cailin Clark. She's going to the WNBA. So what are these people going to do?
She's not going to play Angel Reese every fucking week.
No, but she's still playing.
You want to see how much viewership the game before that did? Maybe that would be interesting. Yeah,
let's go.
Let's see how much.
That was my first question was
Be clear with your questions. Let's do it.
What?
Yeah, what the fuck did I stutter? Yeah, be clear with your questions.
I asked you about viewership, and then you said how
you asked me for general viewership. I told you I can't get that.
Right. So be more clear about my question. I was clear. I asked for
That's not what you asked then. You didn't ask me for Iowa's game before this.
No, I was asking for just the overall average viewership of the tournament. But that's fine. If you want to go game by game,
every time I get specific, is it going to be bullshit?
No, if you want to go game by game, go game by game.
All right, let's go. Well, no, I mean, I think that's relevant because I said, I'm saying that this is a outlier. So if you're thinking it's not, then it has more to do with just Cailin Clark. I'm even saying that. It was a beautiful game yesterday. I'm not really not trying to shit on it, but it's like I think for us to conflate the two, it's just dishonest.
What's being conflated?
Hold on, I want to make sure I type this right. All right, Iowa. Who they played before LSU?
They just beat.
What was it?
God damn.
Didn't watch that game either?
Yes, I did. Stop.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, bro. You didn't watch it. I'm just blown away. I'm literally blown away. I thought you would know one of these. So I got it. Do you want me to give you time? Maybe you'll.
Bro.
Okay.
All right, bro. All right.
Yeah. Hey, man. Look, we're having a great time.
That's cool, bro. I forget that somebody who smokes drinks and all that can't forget shit. Right? My fucking God, bro. Like we don't forget things on here, then we have to look it up. But that's
forget everything.
Shit.
Do you remember anybody they played other than LSU? I'm looking at the whole list.
Did you look up who LSU beat in the national championship last year?
Are you going to answer the question? I'm waiting for.
Do what?
Do you remember anybody they played other than LSU?
Bro, honestly,
just forgot all the teams, all the colleges.
Bro,
look, he smokes and drinks, but sometimes
the only thing I think of is
forget every college,
bro. Bro,
oh Paul, I fuck with you, bro. I'm giving you a hard time. We're having a good time. Don't take it personal, but I am giving you a hard time because you did try me on some bullshit talking about do you watch basketball? It's fucking ridiculous.
It's bro. Stop.
By the way, just to remind you of the games you didn't watch. Iowa beat Colorado. Oh, that rings a bell. You remember the score, Paul? Just 89-68. They smoked them. Colorado didn't have the talent on the other side.
No, Colorado was straight. Again, Cailin Clark is great.
That's true.
Again,
that's true. I'll say that.
But again,
that's fair.
To act like that, all these great girls basketball players are just going to just disappear because Cailin Clark isn't there.
West Virginia.
They did play West Virginia.
Yeah. Do you remember the Holy Cross game? I'm going to have to pull the regular season before he catch a game.
I actually do remember the Holy Cross.
Yeah, they fucked them up bad.
I can tell you, Alabama played. We played Grand Canyon, and then.
Are you talking about Alabama?
Yeah, see, I'm spacing after Grand Canyon.
I'll give you a
North
pass.
Carolina.
I'll give you a pass for remembering the men's because that's your team. So that's fair. I'll give you a
But
pass for remembering those.
Honestly, bro, I forget, bro. Like that's what I'm saying. Like there's so much I'm forgetting.
Paul, but you forgot everything to do with this, and it's because you don't watch. You don't watch
when you put someone on the spot, they just forget things, bro. Your mind goes blah, and that's true. And come on, don't act like that's not true.
Who won NFL MVP last year?
Was it Mahomes?
Lamar Jackson.
Shit.
Lamar Jackson.
See what I mean?
He lied to try to get.
Bro, I swear to God.
I like that he had a guess though. That almost makes my point. Still, he had at least somebody he felt confident enough to throw forward. I bet NBA
because I don't remember her name. What's the fucking girl? I don't remember the girl's name.
Who
Sabrina. Look.
Who can you answer the question?
Well, NBA?
Yeah, I'm curious.
Oh, that's always Joker right now. Okay, Nicola,
yeah.
of course.
It's because it's only him. That does make it a little unfair.
Again, the conversation wasn't again, but that proves my point.
Yeah. Prove your point, please.
Let's get the NBA has always been larger.
Yeah.
I never said that's not the case. I never said that.
I never said that.
I flat out when we're bringing out the competition, I'm saying that you'll never be able to compete.
Yeah,
but the women's sports won't be able to compete on just scale to scale.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at growth, again, you're saying there's not going to be exponential.
Yeah,
I think that yes, there's going to be a few million more viewers to the WNBA, just strictly off of Cailin Clark and other great basketball players coming in. I think that the quality of basketball
and dying for that boy
and girls basketball is better.
Yeah, well, I mean, we disagree, but we had a good conversation about it. I want to, because, like I said, I got a time limit over here for Ken. I want to make sure he gets to talk about some other topics. And this actually has to do with this. Let me see if I got it. Fuck. If you still have some shit to get off your chest, you can definitely keep going, Paul. I gotta find this video I'm looking for. Oh, okay, no, you wrap that up. Okay, cool. Did you have anything, by the way, Ken, before we move on? From the basketball game, at least. I don't know if I fucking have this video. That's gonna piss me off if I don't. Well, so I'm gonna just kind of I'll intro us, and then if I can find it, then I'll.
Is the WNBA still in debt?
Oh, hell yeah.
At one point,
that's a great question.
Like going back to late 90s or something. Oh, my bad. They owe so much money. I forgot. I remember I looked it up.
That's typical. I mean, but that's because it's such a big thing to start a sports league. You know what I mean? Like UFC had that where they were in debt. So it's like I couldn't even imagine all that goes into starting that shit up. Like without the infrastructure of everything that college sports has to lean on. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you have the football teams and stuff like that. Because I think I want to say I heard somebody say before that. Almost every college sport operates at a deficit, and basically football makes up for that. And stuff like that.
Men's basketball brings in some.
Yeah,
but it's really football.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But again, and again, that's the argument. That's really it. Is that I think that there's going to be enough growth to where salary cap just goes up in WNBA. It has to, or you're not going to. I mean, or Cailin Clark, good players are going to take contracts outside WNBA because they can get more money.
Sure.
So it's so you're going to have to do something. So I think, and again, with social media, things grow.
So a thing going on where people might go to other leagues.
Oh man, yeah, overseas, and stuff like that. Like Brittany Griner was kind of saying, I don't know if she said she got paid more, but I know part of it was just that she wasn't getting paid enough by the WNBA. So I don't know if she was supplementing that with more money or if it was just less. But
she went overseas to play.
Yeah, remember she got arrested. That we were talking about that for the pod. Yeah, that's why she was there, was to play basketball. So yeah, I can't see.
LSU beat
last year
102-85.
Okay, gotcha. Perfect.
Beat their ass.
Remember that one?
Fuck out of them.
Remember that one, brother? I wish that one was on camera. Wish that was on camera. Here, I got this, by the way. I want to play this video for you so we can move on past basketball. We got a bunch of other shit to get into, and we're pressed on time. So
I've been through so much. I've seen so much. I've been attacked so many times. Death threats. I've been sexualized. I've been threatened. I've been so many things, and I've stood strong every single time. And I just try to stand strong for my teammates because I don't want them to see me down and not be there for them. So I just want to always just know I'm still a human. All this has happened since I won the national championship, and I said the other day I haven't had peace since then. And it sucks, but I still wouldn't change. I wouldn't change anything, and I would still sit here and say I'm unapologetically me. I'm going to always leave that mark and be who I am and stand on that. And hopefully the little girls that look up to me, and hopefully I give them some type of inspiration that, hopefully it's not this hard and all the things that come at you, but keep being who you are. Keep waking up every day. Keep being motivated, staying who you are, staying 10 toes, don't back down, and just be confident.
That's Angel Reese. It's the lady that was on LSU, best player over there. So that was Angel Reese, guys. Best player from LSU. This was after this press conference afterwards. So there's a lot of discussion on this online that I saw, all the way from extreme empathy and people seeing that resonating, and then other people kind of, I don't know, I guess I saw people that were not taking it super sincere, because obviously last year when they played, there's a little bit more of at least like I said, the online tilt was a little bit more of a villain mentality. So when you're on top, you're basically like, fuck you, get up out of here, we're the shit. And then you lose, and then you're on the podium here and you're crying and asking for sympathy and saying you've been sexualized and shit like that. So I want to get you guys.
Well, I think she became sexualized before that game last year, because wasn't she hanging with Drake and stuff like that? Or something?
I don't remember about that. I remember I do think she was like a. I mean, but this really wouldn't be sexualized in my opinion. I think she was in the ESPN Body Edition, I think.
Yeah.
I vaguely remember that, but either way, I forget
who.
I feel like that,
but I know she's done like a bikini shoot.
Yeah. I wouldn't say
I mean, everyone again, man. This conversation. I always have empathy for, but at the same time, it's kind of everyone gets sexualized. Bro, Chris Hemsworth is sexualized. Bro,
I was like, I'm sexualized every day.
bro, Tom Brady. Wasn't Tom Brady the hottest dude? All this Travis Kelce, all the Jason Kelce wins Sexiest Man of the Year. So men are sexualized. Women is the same thing. Again, you do the sports. It's supposed to be celebrated at some point. It should be celebrated, but at the same time, there is the weirdos who cross the fucking line.
I will say, it seems like
yo, what is this?
Because we're just gonna.
Poster girl's dress? This should look like an American Girl doll dress. Yo, put it to your body.
That's what
that's what she posted. So just she's upset about being sexualized.
You can't. So see, she did it. She did that herself. But again, people take it too far, and I get that.
Well, no, I mean, she definitely is crying. She's being a fucking crybaby. Honestly, I didn't like anything about what she's saying, because it is the thing. It's like you just lost to the person that I wouldn't say. I think it is taunting. I like taunting personally. Like I said, I think it builds shit like this. We as the viewers like this. Why we like WWE, which everybody knows is fucking fake, and we still watch it. We're like there's shit talk and motherfuckers, So I mean, so there's definitely something special with that. Somebody that'll cross that line of sportsmanship a little bit and blur those lines. So I think in this moment, that is Iowa's moment. This is kind of in my opinion, a silly thing. Now I understand you're just so emotional, you have to break down on the podium or whatever. Yeah. But it's when you're saying I hope none of you have to go through this. I will be honest, as of somebody that is a fucking normal adult, I'm like, bro, give me your fucking problem. No disrespect. And I'm sure there's more that comes with it, but I'm like, it's a privilege to be playing on a Elite 8 or Final 4 level, to be about to be a professional fucking athlete, and you want to be sad about your position. It's okay. I have empathy for one being sad at that moment. You just lost. I get that. That was a conversation. I get it. But her saying I haven't been happy since last year, since I won the national championship. Bitch, we're looking at you crazy right now. Give me a national championship once in my life. I'm sorry, I'm about to break down. I'm about to break down.
You're right.
Yeah.
No, you're right. And then you can't be the person talking all this shit for all this time and then flat out fucking cry about, people treat me like a villain and listen, you've played the heel. When you showboated to someone's face, that's you playing the heel, you did that, and then it's not work. I don't hate her. No, I don't think you hate her either. No, but on the court, like she said, when on the court, I don't got no friends. Yeah, I agree. But with that mentality, you are also
you're the bad guy.
You're the asshole.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. So what I wish is if she would have been like, hey, we did what we did. I'm upset that we lost. And best believe I'll be back on my best game, whatever. Yeah. And then take that energy to the WNBA. And again, bring that, because now all that hype she built around who Angel Reese was, it kind of dropped a little bit. Yeah. Now you're going to keep your true fans, but all those people who kind of hey man, I respect the way that she does this and plays the bad guy because everyone wants that around in sports. you kind of lost that.
And her edge, she's still just great at basketball, but I think like little bit of her persona was like a Charles Oakley, like enforcer persona. Right. So it's like when you're sitting here, and even if like she wanted to get on here and say, "Hey, I had a rough year," like those kind of things, I get. But you're literally on a soapbox up here, like,
right?
Like crying about being famous, which presumably is what you want because you have a TikTok where you wear this shit. It's like, come on, like, are you wearing that? Are you wearing that not for attention on TikTok?
Right, and exposing to be sexualized. Right.
Hold on. So when you use the
this should look like an American Girl doll dress.
That's not, so you're not trying to like take advantage of a trend so more people can see you?
Right, exactly.
Like, give me a break. Voice? The background voice where the guy's talking, it's not her, so she's using somebody else's voiceover
to bring more eyes,
just so more people can see her. Exactly. So she's piggybacking off of that. But yeah, it seems just disingenuous. Like, what the fuck is that? What is this? Like, it's a really sore loser. This is a different version of a sore loser.
But again, she is a young person who's in a highly emotional state. So again, I'm gonna allow. I mean, you gotta take what it is. Yeah, we're gonna criticize it. We're gonna say our opinion and be like, hey, we think this, that. Again, just fucking come out. Don't even mention it again. Just stop with the victim shit all the time. Again, the young girls looking up to you, look at you as a strong woman. Sure. Right. And that's not to say that you can't have a weak moment. We all do. Yeah. Right. So it's just like
to that extent, it's like a lack of self-awareness. It's like that is like in my opinion, it's a little bit of like a me kind of attitude where it's like, yo, everybody around you just lost tonight. Right. Some people are not going to go on and become a professional fucking basketball player either. You feel what I'm saying? No, this is some of these ladies' last time they'll ever play on a fucking, and guess what? Nobody's gonna be looking for them either. You feel what I'm saying? Like if you post a TikTok, if you put something on Twitter, people give a fuck that you're doing whatever you're doing.
Bro, all that's gonna happen is 6 years from now, some of them are gonna post a comment on Twitter on Instagram, and an LSU women's basketball fan is going to see like, oh my God, I like that. I do that with some Alabama players that are done. You know, I'm like, oh my God.
Oh, some of them got fucking YouTube channels.
Yeah,
I've seen a few YouTube channels.
Makai Brown.
Yeah, I think they had a YouTube. Didn't she have a YouTube channel last year or something?
They might have, because they definitely have TikTok. And I've seen several videos of like.
I think it was on like.
But should be fine, bro.
Yeah, it should be straight.
No matter what.
But that's why we're looking at her like, come on, you're tripping, because you're gonna be so fine.
Yeah, she's straight.
Yeah, if like we're like when you say, I hope you guys. That's really where she lost. Honestly, I wasn't loving it, but where she really lost, she was like, I hope you guys don't ever have to go through anything like this. I'm like, you just had a great fucking day. You lost a basketball game. But you got to play.
Bro,
you know what I mean?
What's her follower account on Instagram? Do you know?
Oh, she's probably going crazy.
I could bring it.
Share us. Share us, Angel Reese.
I just saying like I know like again, there's not, bro, the highest NIL earners that list came out. She's on there. She's on there. Caitlin Clark's on there.
She made.
I forget. I can.
Can't let's know about her pockets.
But
let's see. Let's figure it out.
There's one of the top is the Bronny James number 1, which of course is his.
How's that make you feel?
Yeah,
Nepo baby balling out.
2, I forget. Damn, who is 2? I remember, but there's this LSU gymnast, this female gymnast who she's like number 3 or so NIL, making money. All the fucking like athletic apparel brands and makeup brands sponsor her.
In the when Dion and all them guys was going to school.
Yeah, no, they were just getting paid.
This is Dion. This says Dion has the most. I don't know if this. Shadir has the most. I don't know if this is accurate. Archie Manning at 5. Yeah, 4.7.
No, I think. Here, let me.
He went in the draft.
It says March 10th.
I was.
Dion
no, it's next year. By the way, so Angel Reese, she's 1.8 million from her NIL deals.
So there's one called Market Watch. Yeah.
Back in the day, you couldn't even work at Burger King and play football or whatever, basketball.
What the fuck is
that? That's why I don't know. Like with the big 3 thing, I wonder how much leeway they're gonna give people like a female basketball specifically playing in that.
If you type it in that, maybe top NIL.
I mean, you professional at that point, so it shouldn't matter.
Professional at that point, so it shouldn't matter.
Yeah.
All right.
It's supposed to be a college.
Carson Beck at 1.5.
Waste of fucking money.
Jalen Milroe.
Nice.
Roll Tide, baby.
Probably a lot of that kicking in after Saban left. It's like, yeah, go ahead and give me that money after you disrespected me.
Saban retired. Yep.
Yeah, he retired.
Angel Reese, 1.8.
1.8 million. She's 8th on the list. Quinn Ewers. Oh wow, so there's gonna be 2 Texas quarterbacks on here. That's crazy. Travis Hunter, 2.4. Archie Manning.
Yep.
And Caitlin Clark.
There she. 3.6 for a gymnast.
Wow. Olivia Dunn is the only college athlete in the top 10 of NIL earnings who doesn't play basketball or football. The senior LSU gymnast, is the top female NIL earner in the nation. You know, it'd be interesting because one thing I will say, like you have Caitlin Clark and you have Angel Reese here, and I don't think you have any male basketball players on the top 10. But like I said, both of them are kind of an anomaly because they're connected. So we don't see any. Well, I'm assuming that there's none that are above Cailin.
I'll accept the anomaly again. I take an offense to that only because like it's only an anomaly at this point. Drew Brees was an anomaly too, right?
So actually, you're right. Whoever said Bronny.
Yep, Bronny right there, 4.9.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
He in college yet?
Yeah, he's a freshman at Cal.
Yeah, this fucking kid.
USC.
His dad's a fucking billionaire. Just fucking. Give him out $5 million a year. That's nothing.
Bro, he's just big names. Shit. Big names.
So he can bring his dad for sure. And that's enough. That is enough.
Where you coach at, Dion?
Colorado.
Yeah, he's still at Colorado.
Yeah, he is. He's turning that thing around, baby. All right. So I did want to talk about March Madness, but we're really kind of short on time, so I'm gonna make it really quick. I just really wanted to applaud March Madness. I feel like it's been honestly one of the best March Madnesses that I've ever seen. To be honest, it's been crazy games. The players, because one of the things that I love is like the random player that comes out of nowhere because of March Madness.
Yes,
there's so much of that with like DJ Burns, for example.
Dude, what a dog!
Yeah, so it's like it's. For me, NFL. This has been the first year in a couple years where it really has got, even though my fucking Gators lost round and fucked my bracket all up.
Bro, brackets got fucked. SEC let us the fuck down. We were supposed to be the best conference.
Make sure you're talking to Mike. I don't think
NIT.
I think
they're NIT and they got bounced early.
Yeah. But yeah, I've just been really impressed with it. I'm excited to see, like, also Purdue's been really exciting because
Josh Edey.
Well, Zach Edey. Zach Edey, and like this run, it reminds me of, and this might be hyperbole, so let me know. And I don't think that the hype is there for it, but just the ball that he's playing, to be honest, it reminds me of the Anthony Davis Kentucky run a little bit. It's been so dominant. So he's bigger. He's definitely bigger and not quite as athletic. But I mean, just the work, he's been able to actually do way more work on the offensive end.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, just as far as like how dominant he's looked out there, I'm excited to see him in the league after. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, no, I was gonna say not just him. UConn has a center. I forget his name. It's Clinian, some shit. I think, but he's another big that's balling.
I think
he could score from just score.
Yeah, they might end up playing in the.
Well,
finals.
hold on.
Yeah,
UConn has to beat Bama. Okay. Sure. Now listen. Me and my dad, we cried first time in Alabama school history. We reached the Final Four. Last time we got close was Sweet 16, 2004. And I mean, I was 11. No, he was Auburn. And we, our best player got hurt at that time, and we lost. And then the team last year with Brandon Miller. Just was inconsistent. This team here, we were hot and cold, bro. We are the number 1 scoring team in the country, 90 points a game. We are a shoot the fuck out of the 3 and you shoot it until you make it. You don't stop shooting. We don't stop shooting. And I love that philosophy because you just take good shots. Take your open shots. We do this all day. It's going to come down. And then if we're not taking threes and we're getting to the rim and either getting fouled or getting an easy bucket. But we are fast paced. And we play teams out, okay? And we've done it throughout this tournament, which has been really good. Now, the scariest thing that I've ever seen, and I was saving it for this. Have you know when like high school basketball teams, like a Charlotte High, who's pretty good for us, plays like a top team in the country, and like early in the game, it's like 22-17 Charlotte. Everyone's kind of hyped, and then that basketball team that's top in the country goes on a 30-0 run. Okay. Well, that just fucking happened in the Elite 8, okay, by UConn against Illinois, who is the number 2 offense in the country with like 88 points. Yeah. So they can just shut you, though. Dude, they didn't score a point for an hour. A full hour goes by, and you haven't scored a fucking point.
What was the score at that point?
Well,
9,000 to nothing.
it was like I think 77 to 52, something like that. I forget.
Men's basketball.
But Bama, we're the only one that's
77 to 52.
Ooh, I got that one. Ooh, good one. Ooh.
Dogged them out,
man.
It's funny because the team actually, it's interesting we're talking about this because they haven't had a team score over. They haven't had a team score in the 60s.
No, they haven't. Now again, Alabama, we've been scoring consistently over 80. Okay,
to give you an idea of the whole tournament, 52, 58, 52, 52.
Okay,
two 52-point games.
No, not yet. Now, can we look at Alabama? What we've scored throughout the tournament? We've hit over 100 once. Our point guard, Mark Sears, is the top scorer in the tournament right now with 97 points. Him and Edie are the only two with consecutive 25-point games.
Oh, yeah.
All right. 97 points just the tournament.
So you guys, 109, 72, 89, and 89.
Yeah.
So you've only scored under 87 one time.
Yeah. So I mean, again, that's how we play. Now again, UConn though, that defense is something the fuck else. Now,
be a great game.
Now we are a perimeter team. So if we're hot, again, we are losing to Clemson. Though no, we had a run. We went on in the second half, hit 10 out of 15 threes. Mm-hmm. So if you come in and play like that, which that's been our MO for the season, get 90 points a game, we average, we have a chance. But again, UConn might be the best college basketball team of all time. So I don't know. So give me my dad to say all that. Me and my dad were like, listen, this is the greatest moment for us as basketball. They've lost 3 games, I think, this year. But it's like we if we lose to UConn, we're not sad. This has been a great season, great tournament. Hopefully it works out. Nate Oates is a fantastic coach. Was coaching high school basketball like 10, 15 years ago, within that range.
Crazy. Yeah.
Like, and now he's been to 3 consecutive Sweet 16s.
Damn. Yeah.
So, hey. But that one, but then, yeah, I think that Purdue's going to beat, I think so. Who are they playing? NC State, which that DJ Burns is apparently NFL look at.
I saw it, left tackle.
Bro. Yeah, I mean, he looks like Zach Rudolph out there.
I saw some people saying he's like New Zebo, but here, I don't want to, because we could keep talking about this. I want to talk about it, to be honest, but I just want to be mindful of some of the stuff that I want to get Kent's opinion on. I'm sure it's going to be a quick one because we pretty much agreed on this for the last several weeks, but I definitely want to mention it. Let me take fucking Alabama college basketball.
Roll Tide, baby. Hey, Grant Nelson. Hey, Pringle.
Israel. So,
North Carolina, baby.
And we beat North Carolina. What's up with it, baby?
There you go. Okay, so celebrate this, but we're about to get into
so it's 1 and 50.
So Israel, it came out today that they did strike do an airstrike on a food aid, and let me go ahead and actually pull this up real quick. But I mean, like I said, we're not going to spend too much time on it because I'm sure we're going to be in agreement. It's fucked up, right?
Everybody's on the
same page. Everybody's on the same page. Super fucked up.
I don't think so.
Yeah, they're approaching a famine and and they already have had starvation deaths. Literally, they've had. I think no. Well, I mean Gaza. Yeah.
Oh, Gaza.
Yeah, Palestine, bro. They're
Israeli strikes on aid prompts condemnation and an apology from Netanyahu.
I ain't even know that.
Yeah, so
I'm so sorry for this accident. It won't happen again, I promise.
Our bad. Oh, but we keep doing it.
Yep.
Yeah. So let's see here. So here's what we know. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said Israel deeply regrets the strikes that killed 7 aid workers with World Central Kitchen in Gaza. What we know about the Israeli strike, that 7 aid workers died. Protest turns into riot outside of Netanyahu's Jerusalem home. Israeli military takes responsibility for the strike that killed 7 aid workers. The 7 aid workers who were killed were known for their passion and for helping others. In UN meeting, U.S., Britain, and France do not join condemnation of Israeli strike on diplomatic compound. So that's something. That's interesting. Well, fears, which I mean, there's been several calls for ceasefire that the United States hasn't supported, but I mean,
I thought that we did support the last. Like I thought we put out a thing about I
don't think we officially did.
I thought Schumer came out and called for a ceasefire.
Schumer did, and then also I saw Joe Biden speak on it, but I think
it was
literally
formal.
It was like an informal endorsement. I think more what it is they're trying to put some pressure on Netanyahu, say this is our opinion. They're stating it publicly. One because you got to toe
that line, bro, of allyship, right?
Well, and Joe Biden's in a particularly tough position because his party is actually, this is an issue that I think the Democratic Party is actually really split on. I think there's a lot of Democrat. Well, I think a lot of Democrats just like grassroots people who are Democrats. I think most of them probably do want to see this stop. But I think politicians, and there could be a lot of reasons for that. But yeah, I mean, honestly, as far as our politicians go, it's been almost a complete support for Israel. Yes. There's been a few, like AOC has been vocal about support for Palestine and stuff. But yeah, so Joe Biden's in a sticky situation where it's not like such a clear political move to go either way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's crazy to me. Like imagine somebody blowing up your car, killing like a couple cousins, and then just being like, yo, dude, my bad. Right? Like my bad. Or fine, you know what? We won't do that. Imagine your friend blowing up somebody's car and killing somebody, and just on you, hey, listen, hey, this was an accident. Yeah. And then outside of that, they've already done 18 different fucked up things. Like this is a boy who cried wolf.
Here, by the way, to be clear, this is the thing, because this is not. I think your second analogy kind of cleaned it up a little bit, because these are not Palestinians. These are people that are AIDS. So they're not even like a part of this conflict at all. This is just like a random person that you end up, that's just literally trying
people
to do
helping.
People just trying to do
good. So, and then like some of these tell Netanyahu, how do you say his Netanyahu? Yeah. I always want to say the TH, but he like that the boy who cried wolf is a thing. Okay. You've already done enough shit. So at this point, like, I don't believe you. This whole it was an accident, and then right afterwards, right after this came out, Al Jazeera, they're the one not like the one media outlet out of there that's reporting negatively is now being shut down. You're now banning that shit. That is dictator. That is the fucking that is shit that where it's like NATO, UN, whoever the fuck has to needs to come in, put some sanctions on Israel, say, hey, listen, until shit changes, until a change of leadership happens and we stop this shit, we have to put sanctions on you. This is getting out of control. There's no way you can believe him at this point. Yeah. Like, am I out of my mind on this? like what the fuck are we, like, what else do you have to see?
It's been going on for how long?
8 months.
Yeah, since October. By the way, I wanted to say Jay Huncho. So Jay hopped on here. He said, bang, bang, boogie.
Bang, bang, boogie.
Go ahead, give
bang, bang, boogie.
Yes, sir. Man,
got to be more careful.
It's like I got the button. I was like, and then he said, great to see you back on the podcast. Yes, sir. Definitely great to have him in here. It's been a vibe just having you here, brother.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You made me argue with fucking Paul today. You really made me hate him.
Bro, that might be our first. That was our first argument.
No, we've had some good arguments.
Like a year and a half, 2 years.
For me, that's not even a legit argument. I don't get emotional about that. Paul, I know you get a little tight about some stuff. Like for me, I really wasn't tight. It's just like I said, I thought part of the conversation that it would be part of the fun debate to call you out on calling me out on some bullshit saying I don't watch basketball.
Oh, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you don't watch women's. We don't watch women's basketball.
Honcho?
Yeah. He said,
I hit you up a couple times, cuz.
Oh,
I hit you up, by the way, a couple times.
Damn.
He came with me, by the way, to that thing.
In the back.
Yeah.
He was there with me. He was the only person that I knew that was there. So he was
there.
there.
Some people worked.
Well, yeah. But I'm just saying, like, he was one of the people. I didn't even know. He didn't even know. I'd never told him that I told Paul, and he just didn't show up. And so, by the way, guys.
Yeah, well, I definitely.
now he's here. Now you got to answer for him. You got your assholes. Yeah. You got your assholes when that happened. Deuce, get in the chat. I saw you, brother.
Where you at?
I saw you in the chat. Where were you, bro? You couldn't hop on the fucking hop in the Audi and head our way.
Yo,
it's not Audi, it's a Volkswagen. Still,
hey, it's a little cousin.
That's right. He's right.
It's his little cousin.
Yeah.
But again, like
the same people make it as wild.
So like I don't know, man. Like again, we've talked about this before. Famine is a form of genocide. Okay, and we've been when we've talked about this where it's like, okay, Hamas did something very bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the argument can be had and the conversation evolves and expands around all the shit that led up to that. Okay. But we won't go there. We can only go from now. I think the point has been fucking made. It's been more than made at this point. And especially with Iran, because then they just hit something out of Iran's blaming them for something, right?
I think actually, so I know the U.S. denied responsibility. I'm trying to remember that story because I did read quite a bit about that. But
it's like you're only creating more extremists.
Iran, you are right. There was an issue in Iran. Yeah, well, actually, I think something got hit in Syria.
Oh, Syria. Okay. Yeah. So, but it's like the extremists is just going to grow against you.
Sure.
And again, you're not doing any good. So sure, you want to eliminate Hamas.
I want to ask you this question because we talked about this in last week. We kind of got into the parallels with Ukraine and Israel. And we made some distinctions there. So I just want to ask you this again, kind of like this being an ally of ours, and you see that we didn't support condemnation. At what point do you think it's appropriate to go against an ally's wishes in that way, whether it be not supporting them, like, because obviously that would be taken very seriously from Israel if we stopped supporting them. They're one of our biggest receivers of foreign aid. So if we just stopped doing that because we didn't agree with what they said, that could be an issue. So when do you think those kind of
personally
things are on the table?
Personally, I'm somebody that it takes a lot for me to stop fucking with you.
Yeah.
I think that
even if you kill a bunch of civilians,
no, it's not that.
No, like, Paul's a ride or die.
But it's like there's a personal way where it's like, hey, like the moment you start doing fucked up shit, like I gotta like cut the ties. But then then there's the political way where it's like, hey, listen, like we have to understand that politics does have to be dirty. Like there is no way around it. As much as we want the good, with shit like this, you have to sit there and go, okay, I believe you. Okay, I believe you. Okay, I believe you. And then once it turns to like this, it's then like, hey, listen, like there is no more. At this point, like where
but at what point do actual actions? Because I understand what you're saying. You're like, you be the reason in the room, like, you know, try to find a exit ramp, if you will. But like, we're still kind of
at this point, I would have pulled my support.
Okay.
Like if I was president, I'm pulling my support. But again, you have to do it. I don't know the actual legal ways that you can do that. Yeah. Again, because we do have to follow treaties. We do have to follow what's in place. So you would approach the UN, approach the NATO. Again, that's where our ignorance is going to come into this because we don't know, and then see what my avenues are. But at this point, like, dude, like, Ken, do you Gates, do you know how much, do you remember much about what's been going on as far as like how much Israel has?
No, not really, because I think that around the time when I had first found out was around the time I had my
right
stroke.
Yeah, sorry about that. But like you had where they bombed the hospital.
Yeah, I didn't know any of that.
Yeah, you had which they said was where Hamas was hiding out, and that they were stockading everything there, and it wasn't really a hospital. That was just a facade. And then you have where civilians what we're getting reported multiple times a week are just getting bombs struck on them, getting shot in the street.
Yo, Ian, what's up, my man? Yo, Ian, what's happening, man? I appreciate you for hopping in the comments on Instagram. Make sure I'm coming through crispy and clear, man. I like to be sure. By the way, Kent is in the building, so Kent, you know Ian. Say shout out to Ian, man. Come on.
What up, Carl?
Got to be more careful. Bang, bang, boogie.
You up one day,
I think I got you. I don't know, but yeah, no. Kent's in here podding with us for the first time in a minute, so it's been a cool little vibe for sure. But yeah, here, let's move on because I want to try to get some more stuff in here with Kent right before he heads out. Well, one thing, this just seems appropriate as we segue. No, that's Paul's queen right there, man. Let's get out of there, but we can't talk about this kind of shit without bringing up Benghazi. Hello. Let's go ahead and get into
which some people did vote down the funding for more security.
Okay, there we go. Shannon paid. Okay, so let's get into that. So recently there's been a little bit of we'll say narrative, a little bit of a storyline going crazy around sports TV. Obviously you have Shannon Sharpe on there. He's a staunch reporter of LeBron James. And this kind of dynamic is common. It just creates nice, fiery conversation between people on podcasts where you have somebody who's a staunch reporter of this guy. This guy's not staunch reporter of this guy. So that's
like that.
That's been the dynamic that we've seen on sports talk or TV shows for a minute. And specifically with LeBron is obviously a very common story. So that's always been on Shannon Sharpe's plate. He's defending LeBron regardless, goat man, creating narratives, all that. I think most of the time we kind of write it off as like, well, this is just what sports TV is. But recently there's been some allegations that it's not genuine support. It's paid for support by LeBron James. So first I wanted to actually ask you guys, one, how do you feel about that? It does feel it does feel icky to have people in the media on your payroll, but I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily against any kind of rules or anything. What was that? Oh no, you were talking about that a long time ago. Well, pretty much anything negative about LeBron,
you have been on.
You pioneered.
The moment it comes out, he's like,
Perfect,
"Hey,
brother.
did you know?"
But I
Thank you, Ian.
With that I forgot who it was, but that's where I got it from.
That LeBron was paying people and stuff.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? You think that's completely fraudulent? Shouldn't be allowed, or
I mean, I think
it is what
true.
it is.
I've always thought.
Oh, you just believe it's facts.
Yeah. I always thought.
Do you think it's okay? I think it's true.
Yeah, I think it's a fact.
Yeah, I actually think.
I mean, he can pay whoever he want to pay if they want.
You don't think that's
like Wendy?
You don't think it's like breaking some kind of I don't know. I mean, ethics there? Because the person's talking for you, so you're creating some kind of incentive that theoretically controls their opinion and how they're going to speak about you. Yeah, I'm interested either.
Why?
Really? No, I don't.
What's the angle?
I don't like it.
You don't like it.
Don't get me twisted.
So what's the angle though? Why would LeBron need to pay people to talk positively about him?
Because some people
talk negative,
such as myself, talk negative.
Okay, but then some people, such as myself, don't, and I'm not paid.
Worship him.
Like I think that he's the best of all time. I think that yes, the obvious things that you can talk about positively are there. The argument's there. The narrative's there. You don't have to be paid for it.
Yeah, but people, like, for example, definitely championship LeBron, like when he lost the first one to the Heat, and this is really when I became a supporter of LeBron, to be honest, seeing how I felt like he was kind of covered
negatively, very unfairly. But decision, he was coveted until the decision.
Yeah,
which AI Allen Iverson has been reported, has been shown that he like told LeBron like, hey, they're gonna love you until they don't, and when they don't, they don't. And that decision, which raised millions for Boys and Girls Club, which that was kind of like half the point. And then, yes, the other part was this egotistical, I'm the king, I'm making this decision. But again, everybody was waiting on that one decision.
I honestly didn't like him before that.
I believe that.
Well, why? Because Sports Illustrated put him on the cover of a magazine as a high school student, and you said, "Fuck this guy."
Just a pompous dickhead.
You're like, this kid does not deserve this.
Yeah, it's this king stuff coming out of
I feel you. Rubbed you the wrong way.
I like Carmelo Anthony better. I thought he was a better player.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
It's okay. I hate Tebow, so I feel bad about that. You know,
I was a Carmelo guy. That's why I'm saying I did not like LeBron until like second year with the Heat or so. I'm a Pacers fan, so I didn't fuck with them. And I was a Carmelo guy. But I mean, if you just look back on the bodies of work, it's just not even fucking close. Like, it's not even a conversation. The only reason they should be talked about in the same sentence is that they got drafted the same year.
Yeah. I mean, you are right.
They were friends. Friends.
That's true. But when I just thinking about when things was going down, I just had more respect for Carmelo.
No, I feel you. I mean, I personally, I didn't. He forced his way out of Denver, fucking folded in New York. Yeah, I didn't really have. I mean, but didn't hate Melo. Just like as far as like compared to LeBron, I think those careers are completely different. I really don't even think he should be compared to Dwayne Wade. Really, I think like Dwayne Wade is. Yeah, I think Dwayne Wade's on another tier than Melo. Yeah, so Melo's talent for sure, and like I said, I was a Melo fan. His offensive game was really interesting. His whole aesthetic around him too, the cornrows and shit. There was something, the headband. There's just something that was exciting about Melo. I liked Melo, but yeah, not fucking with Braun.
But all the antics,
but all the points,
all the antics. Everyone has antics though. Like people hate Patrick Mahomes. Right, and the people love Patrick Mahomes. I don't think people are paying anyone to do it. I think in every sport, in every field, you're gonna have the best there, and you're gonna have people who respect it and people who don't. I mean, it just is what it is. Again, it's what it is. And there's some bias there. I mean, shit. I was I respected D Rose more than a lot, but the moment you said best in the league, I was like, whoa, wait a second. And it's like, but in reality. Yeah. He was, but that notion meant that my guy can't be right.
Well, and go ahead.
No, just the last words were, and I just think that we get defensive when we talk about these things. Like they're MJ fans, or it's like, how dare you ever think someone is better than my MJ? But if someone says Steph, you're like, oh, okay, because you know MJ's better than Steph.
Yeah, but sometimes it's just like, so with that, it's just like I said, if somebody were to seriously come to me, and I know you do, so I mean that's why it's fucking ridiculous. But seriously, come to me and like argue Melo over LeBron. I think like I said, that has to be based in some kind of like bias that you're coming into that with.
Do you watch basketball?
That's almost not even an opinion. That's really not an opinion. I feel that strongly about that. Most times I'm with you. It's like people have their own opinions. You can see, I could see how you could see it that way, even if I disagree. But yeah, that one he lapped him as far as a career goes.
Bro, that's
literally
like,
got him a job.
Bro, that's like being a Cowboy fan and saying that Aikman is the best quarterback of all time. It's kind of it's kind of like, okay.
Yeah, come on, stop.
All right, then. Yeah, let's go. All right.
I know I know you miss those days.
Yeah.
You for different reasons than me.
Yeah. Dude, it's just like when people, man, there's an argument that Westbrook is the best shooting guard. And it's like, okay.
All right.
He's our best point guard. Like, he's a fantastic player and athlete.
There is an argument, a really annoying argument.
Yeah,
piss people off.
Yeah, let's just no. Okay. But LeBron, as far as like paying, again, I think Wendy, I think he's someone who capitalized off of LeBron. I think that he's somebody who covered him in high school, was one of the he's a guy on ESPN.
Can I just oh fuck.
No, say what you
okay, yeah, because I forgot this and I wanted to bring it up because I wanted to piggyback off your point. I think one thing that's interesting with this situation is the incentive to like be a pro LeBron guy is already there. LeBron doesn't have to pay somebody for it because he's already going to get talked about. The sports TV dynamic is already that one person's going to support him and one person's not going to support him. So it's almost like he just doesn't have to pay people. I can see how maybe he would, but it's almost like to pay one of the guys that are on one of these shows really makes no sense. Maybe to pay like JJ Redick, who's going to go on a bunch of different shows and, is going to be like an expert on panels. But it's like Shannon Sharpe is going to sit across from a guy every single day and he has to have a different opinion. We don't do that here. We like that's why sometimes we sit down and we agree a lot. We're like, okay, well, we agreed a lot today. But it's like, that these shows, there's a little bit more production in that way is going into it where it's like Skip's already our anti LeBron guy. We want to hear somebody. We already
so much.
Yeah, we want somebody that's going to play off of him. And Stephen A. Smith already fills that void on ESPN that he's the LeBron can't be better than MJ in my opinion guy. So we need somebody that's going to sit across from him that's going to be willing to make that argument. So you don't even have to pay him to get him to make that argument. I do think it, like I said, it could be more plausible in different cases, but this is like the most useless case I could imagine would be paying one of these guys.
I
just want to read what Shannon said. Found this clip. Here's Joy. This is actually. Oh, actually, I think no, I'm not gonna be able to play it from here because I actually don't have it. It's from where Joy Taylor says she basically says like, oh, he's paid from LeBron.
Oh, boy.
Which I mean, honestly, I
say something in jest.
Yeah, I think it was a joke, but people are kind of taking it.
But it's like Wendy is from ESPN.
Yes.
Okay. Forget his
Windhorst, I think.
Yeah, Windhorst, but they call him Wendy. He's a heavy, bigger guy that covers basketball.
Yeah. Fat motherfucker on ESPN. Fucking sits like this all the time. Come on,
Yeah, Mike. Yeah, no, he.
Mike, brother.
Yeah. He's from Cleveland. He covered LeBron in high school and then followed his career throughout Cleveland. Yeah. And he basically was like LeBron's trusted source. So that's how he got it, which, yes, that's going to happen. I can see where JJ Redick obviously has his bias because he's friends with LeBron.
They have a podcast
but again, JJ Redick, his IQ and his intellect is there. That's obvious.
Yeah.
And again, even a guy like Skip, who has built an empire off of hating on LeBron and being like the weekly storyline stop he does Dallas and LeBron. No. He loves Dallas. My bad. Yeah.
But they talk about it. Every
week, talk about it all the time. But LeBron, he is even now having to slip in his little, he'll say it once or twice where it's like, oh yeah, LeBron is, so great. LeBron. Yeah. He actually impressed me here. Paul Pierce had to come out and say, yeah, I think LeBron is XYZ.
Why do you think they had to come out and say
because there's no denying it when the guy just went 9 for 10 for 3, missed 3 shots all game, and drops 40 points to win the game.
Everybody get lucky. A clock right twice a day.
Hey, listen, that man has. Hey, listen, when you're going to agree with this, okay? Early on in his career, he struggled with jump shots. Right? Yes. Thank you. I figured we agree on that.
That's true.
Now he's a 41% 3-point shooter.
Yeah, I've actually seen that today.
That's unbelievable. Yeah. That's
kind of like Jason Kidd.
Yes.
He started out struggling from 3.
Yeah. Yes, but so LeBron has said, you know what? I need to pick longevity. I can't always drive and bang up. So I'm going to improve my jump shot and become one of the best jump shooters in the NBA. And then it still be dangerous enough on the drive to be unstoppable. Now you talk about what he's done with the ISO. Now remember, Jordan played, you couldn't double team. Now there's double teams, but teams don't blitz LeBron. Teams play off because you know damn well if you take a guy off a guy, LeBron doesn't have to look. He just automatically somehow fucking knows and makes the right pass every single time because he knows the script. But he knows he makes the right play every time.
That too.
He is the all-time points leader. He's the only player to have over like 30,000 points, over 10,000 rebounds, 10,000 assists. He has
40,000.
Yes. But he's on the one with 30, 10, and 10. He has 40, 11, 11. That man is the best all-around basketball player of all time. If you want to say Michael Jordan is the best competitor or winner, say what you want. Bill Russell won more. But I accept that. Dan Marino will always be my all-time quarterback, but I know it's not true. Okay, I know Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady are better. But my heart says one thing. And we have to say we got to let go of the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, that guy won no championships.
Hey, leave it alone.
Just saying, we gotta be honest. Here, so I want to get a couple of these with Kent just because I think his reaction will be pretty funny. I know you're gonna be sliding here in a sec. Oh, already? Yeah. Dang. Well, all right. Well, let's just give me this one so I can gross you out before you leave. You give her a funny story in the car.
Eating raw chicken every day till I get a tummy ache. We're gonna try a couple new sauces in this one. First one will be plain ranch. It's a bit windy. Plain ranch. Honestly, I don't.
I go search for it,
bro. His algorithm is something, bro.
Fucked up.
How you even find
bro? Every week, every week there's some shit.
She came early. I don't even know why she's here. Kobe still have 5 minutes. I don't know.
I really think it's good,
bro.
Buffalo ranch.
You shouldn't have to debate about
this one's more liquidy.
Why? Was it salmonella? That's a real thing.
Have you guys ever eaten anything raw?
I have to be cooked, bro.
Egg.
I'm just saying. Oh, it's hard going down.
I'm gonna go.
I want it to be bad. I'll actually eat this. I'm pretty sure it's the liquid left over of my body. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Look, he's downloading the egg. Egg just facing it. I don't know.
Day 7.
All right, let's watch it again, right, boys?
Eating raw chicken every day till I get a tummy ache.
I remember growing up with dad cooking like hamburger meat and just taking like the raw meat on the side and fucking eating it. And it's like, bro, you're fucking nasty, dude. Dude, and then my father-in-law does it too. And it's like, you all have fucking issues, man.
I'm not trying to rush it just because. So what I've been doing the last few weeks, because I've just been enjoying this a lot, is I do a creep of the week. Okay, so we pick our favorite creep of the week. That's number 1. Okay, so
let's don't understand.
Understand what? You eat cat food. You trying to feed it to my kids. They got a different digestive system than we do. They eat.
You know, maybe if you
they live their own hair. That's why they huck up hairballs.
Oh, that's not the
argument. Understand that this is a part of me too.
But you're eating cat food. You got to admit that's a little over the top.
Look, not Jerry.
I am a cat, okay? You know what? If you would take time, like I said, to be.
That's why he was ahead of her time.
You know, this lady here.
Do that in high school, or they was doing that in high school when my kids graduated. They was putting kitty litter in the bathroom.
Okay. Well, okay. What? All right.
Did you just get a Joe Rogan story mixed up with your kids? No. Okay. All right. If that's
hey, listen. I'm going to say this lady here is turning me conservative. Okay. Because I will never. I'm against allowing your kids to be happy.
Trump's about to get my.
What is this lady?
To understand me that this is what you married.
That was not what I married.
Okay, this is
you
me.
Was not acting like that when I said I do.
This is me. Okay, I didn't do it then. Okay, that was my mistake. Okay, but what are you gonna do? Just stop now? Come on, I'm trying to make this work. Okay, you are making this very difficult.
Look at the guy in the background.
You just don't understand.
Bro, like, is it dry food or wet food? Because that's even
like, that is a great point. But I just got one more video. Like, remember, creep of the week. Remember who creeps you out the most. And I just want to ask you real quick because we're short on time. If this happened with your partner, after the fact. After you got with them, you're married in their case. Do you learn to live? You unmarried. You get unmarried. I'm married. Something went wrong with them. So
yeah, I mean, if you're doing that,
it's a divorce.
We're not good. We're not on good terms.
This man was telling me before he cut on the pod, there is no woman better than my wife. Ride or die. Well, I hope somebody has to. He's like, eat cat food. I'm out.
Cat food. Everything that I've ever thought about choosing a question.
It's tough. Nah, it's fair. Here, let me play this because, like I said, you got somebody outside. I want to hold you. This is the last.
If you have to be the villain in someone's story, then be the villain of their worst nightmares. Never quit, never stop, never hunger, never thirst, and just keep going.
Hey, listen, any woman that works out at that gym needs to fucking bring a friend. Okay? You do not go alone. You do not leave when he's leaving. You fucking stay you stay in a lighted area. That dude is waiting to murder someone. Why is he wearing eyeliner at the gym?
I feel like we're gonna agree on this. That's why. So the first guy was just a different level of creep than everybody else, right? Or was there anything else?
That first guy with the
raw chicken.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's part of this.
Yeah, he's part of that. Yeah, I knew when I had that.
He's like doable.
Yeah, like, he doesn't creep me out. He's just a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
I don't know. He creeped me out, man. That's like real close to eating fucking human beings, in my opinion. That's sick shit. Like,
okay, that's fair.
You're pretty flexible.
What kind of person will like bend their mind to do that? That's fair enough.
Oh, he'd be quick to it.
But that guy's flat out telling you, like, I want to be your nightmare.
Yeah, by the way, we're at our time that we're gonna keep on rocking for just a little bit. We got a couple more videos, and me and Paul's gonna kick it. Yeah. But we're about to have Ken up out of here. This right, I have this already ready, so I got to show you this. I swear to God.
I don't regret the past because it may be who I am. The concept of a simple plan, settle down and have a fam. Not as easy as it seems when old partners kill your dreams. Then you're stuck feeling empty, like what the fuck is wrong with me? But when I try to leave all the toxicity, you blocked the door, then back me in a corner, maybe for smaller than I am. And then I found my strength enough to fight my way. I could go over, could go under, took them down melee. I'm the bad guy who can't do good. A villain who's misunderstood. He brought out the worst in me, and all I wanted was to be free. I don't regret the past because it made me stronger. Now I no longer need to harbor all this pain and suffering. I won't forget again. I know exactly who I am. Now I'm redeeming and receiving all my shattered dreams.
Hey, see,
hey, that was
So I like to ask, over or under 50% that she listened to Eminem.
Oh, over.
Almost, basically, anybody that puts freestyles on Instagram
is an Eminem fan. Okay.
Eminem fan.
Listen, she looks like she could be my cousin, and that's a problem.
In the comments, this might not be as funny to you, Ken, but in the comments, I saw somebody say that she looks like a created player in the.
Yes,
those are tattoos. Yes. They said she looks like a created WWE superstar.
Those are real tats, or is that like one of those sleeves, like one of those t-shirts?
I think they're real, bro.
Oh, fuck.
I think those are genuine. God bless her. She actually does this a lot. You guys will see her again. Her shit comes up on my feed all the time, and it's
her last name might be Balcom, but we don't know yet.
Oh, she definitely is like you in the comments for sure. She's in the comments. I don't care what anybody has to say. I love this. This is my expression.
Is she from Alabama?
Yeah, I don't know. She might have been part of the gang, brother. So Gates Open Media, thank you for coming in here today. Like I said, we're gonna keep on rocking. So stay tuned for Sit Politics. But Gates Open Media, he came in here. He blessed us today with his presence. We were vibing. It was amazing. Thank you for doing that. You're obviously always welcome back. Make sure you grab the mic and tell people, bang, bang, boogie, we're out of here. Go find me, Gates Open Media.
Bang, bang, boogie. Yeah, baby, that's what's up.
You're on the screen right now, Gates Open.
Definitely appreciate y'all. Any prayers sent my way, I appreciate it. Definitely need them. Thank you, Big Dog. You know what I'm saying? Coming to visit your boy and all that good stuff. James.
Yeah. It could be Big Baby. That's what I'm saying. I'm sure that was like, you haven't said that for a minute. So it's like, but James, definitely.
Man,
I'm here for it.
I've been in a hard spot lately. So any prayers go out my way, I definitely appreciate it. Look forward to getting back on there soon. And I'll be over here as much as I can, trying to put it down for everybody.
For sure.
Yeah.
Go back to Gates Open Media, baby.
It was great having you on here. I'm just gonna have to text you and be like, "Hey, man, game's on right now." I will do that. I'll do that.
Saturday night, Final Four.
Yeah, I'll definitely do that. And then just obviously watch your step, brother. Yeah, no, it's and also you got headphones still on. Yeah, no, it's all good. I know how it goes. I've got up from this bitch many times with headphones on. You weren't here, but one time it was I think it's Paul and Kevin. I knocked over my PlayStation 5 over there.
Oh my god. Which was actually a silver lining because I cleaned it. You got to clean it.
What was that? PlayStation 5, man. That's that new
built to last. That's Sony right there.
Yeah. That shit it wasn't even affected. I'll be honest. Yeah, that shit was not affected. It should turn right back on, and I got to clean it. I didn't even know that's how you cleaned it. The sides come off super easy. It's beautiful. Yeah, gates open, man. The gates are open, brother. Hey, next Tuesday, 6 p.m. If you want, we'll be doing this. If not, like I said, we can make something happen for another day or whatever. Okay, all good, all good. We can set something up or whatever. It's all good. You're good. We'll get you back in here. Huh?
I like the shoes. Yes, sir.
So straight to go to your left is the door. Here,
it might be double lock.
Yeah, here. Let me go ahead and pop out. Paul, talk about.
Hey guys,
talk about shit.
Hey, so today was a day. I had to work. Had a remodel to do. So ran some flex. I fixed. Oh, I did a fan motor today. Replaced the capacitor, then did the remodel. Alabama basketball. I mean, we could talk about that. Alabama basketball is balling right now. We might beat UConn. Who knows? Miami Heat. Miami Heat's always a sleeper. We're the only team to make it to the last few finals. Over and over again. But nobody gives us any credit. Tua is the best quarterback of all time. We know that to be a fact. Don't ever argue that. Let's see what else is on our mind today. Florida, the abortion ban. I don't know if we're covered that, but yeah, that's happening. 6-week ban was put in play. We're going to vote on that. They might do the IVF, follow the IVF thing that everyone else is following. That's we'll see how that goes. It was nice to see Kent today. Gates coming out. He needs all the prayers he can get. Like he said, very happy that he's back and healthy and doing this well. If any of us have ever experienced someone having that kind of medical emergency, being a stroke, and we know how the type of repercussions that can come from it. So it's very nice to see him up, active, everything going the way it is, and just being in good spirits. So if you have been there for him, thank you. We appreciate it. If not, just keep on going. Go support his channel, Gates Open Media, and bring up the viewership. He could always use it. So, and he does talk about a lot of interesting stuff. Pretty conspiracy driven, but who isn't at this point in time? Let's see, good TV shows to watch. I don't know if you guys watched Deal or No Deal, but they brought Deal or No Deal back. The Island, that's a pretty interesting show right there. We covered a few topics right now. I don't know.
Did you? I text you. I don't remember your answer. The 3 body problem. Did you watch that?
The 3 body problem. What's that?
It's a movie that came out.
Oh, I didn't.
Close thing says pro holding down the fort. Amen. One of the few people I could count on actually hold it down when I walk out. So I appreciate it. A lot of people are like, hey, talk to each other, and they're like,
I can just put me in the room and talk to myself.
Yeah, that's perfect. No, a lot of practice.
Some psycho.
But yeah, that was awesome to have Ken in here today.
Oh man, I love it.
Yeah, I'll have to have him come back again. Yeah. The 3, you must not have watched. It's on Netflix. 3 Body Problem. Man, it's great. You should watch it.
What's it about? Tell me about it.
It's super complex. So
I'll
just say, so there's aliens. Ooh, that's what I'm trying to think, because that's kind of a spoiler.
Like scary looking,
you don't see the aliens.
like bug looking aliens.
You don't see them.
We don't see them.
You just see them. They take on another form, and there's a scene where they're like
skinwalkers.
They ask, they're like, "Show me what you really look like." And they're like, "You wouldn't like it." So no. Like, what the fuck does that mean? Which is actually a great tactic for a filmmaker or a series maker or whatever, because then
to give more time,
and also our imagination plays with that. So and
then check X or shit, because people are like, I wonder if it's going to look like this. And then you get all these ideas that you can just legally steal from.
Well, it's a book, so they probably already have a little bit of like what they need to go. But no, that's actually a great point, because just like Game of Thrones, a lot of what made people go crazy about that was the online speculation, the clues, and people, and then also book readers that would go online and like give you some sneak previews. But yeah, so this is about aliens make contact with Earth. That's a little bit of a spoiler, but it's like episode 1 spoiler. And they're coming to Earth, and there's a long time. There's 400-year timetable. I don't think that's really much of a spoiler. You don't know right away, but it doesn't. I mean, that is
so throughout the season. There's a 400-year window, or
you don't
just...
see it all. You just know. So the aliens communicate, and they tell the people, they're like, "Hey, we're coming. It'll take us. We're 4 light years away, so it'll take us 400 years to get there." But it ends up being
who was in charge of relaying that message? Huh? Imagine that one got forgotten.
Yeah,
over 400 years.
Yeah. Well, it ends up being like there's a lady that is communicating. It's interesting because it actually initially deals with like communist China, like Mao era. Okay. So you see like some like basically they're banning the teachings of Albert Einstein, and this is based it. So the series is tightly connected to physics. The 3 body problem literally is a physics question, like a physics paradox or whatever.
Okay.
Talking about like the gravitational pull of 3 different things and getting caught up in one another's field and shit like that. So it's kind of heady. It's a little, gets deep and shit, which I like. There's some subtext there. And I really actually, so the first 4 episodes were kind of rough and I had a hard time with it. Kept falling asleep and shit. But the back half of the season, there's 8 episodes. The last 4 episodes were awesome, in my opinion. Really a ton of payoff. Some storylines that I think really came together. There's a little bit of a love story, which I'm not like huge on, but they did it great. I thought it was really touching. And yeah, I would say definitely I would recommend check it out. I'd love to talk about it with you.
Yeah, I'd love to check it out.
On Saturday, I was supposed to do.
Did you finish Quiet on Set?
Oh fuck no! I started watching this because I was supposed to do this on Saturday. So I watched like 4 episodes of this on Saturday. Has all of Quiet on the Set came out?
I thought, or did they have more than the 4 episodes?
More
oh shit! Have you seen like the Skinwalker Ranch stuff on that they've had on Netflix?
No, but I've seen that it's there, but I haven't watched it.
Oh, that's all.
I know a little bit about Skinwalker Ranch. I don't know if it's about that specifically or if it's kind of like
it's just pretty cool because there's like some like weird metal that's in like the mountain and also like throughout the ranch, and it kind of is like electromagnetic. There's obviously been like claims of UFO sightings and alien sightings, and this alien that's like a shapeshifter that goes all the way back to like there's Oots, and then what's the other, I forget the other native tribe that was out there at that time, that they have a lot of like depictions of and stories of. So but it's basically just aliens who they shapeshift and they are wolves. They're different types of things. Wow. And now there's TikTok. You can go on TikTok and see like people like, oh, this is a skinwalker, and there are some like interesting things. But that whole thing was kind of like eerie, but you kind of reminded me of it with like the aliens are they're not going to show themselves.
Yeah, but it's not necessarily quite like that. But I
think
they
act as people and shit.
No, I think that's a possibility, to be honest. The thing is, nobody has told you that they're an alien that's on the planet. But I think what you're talking about is a possibility. There's a possibility aliens are already there.
Well, I mean, who knows if aliens aren't like looking like this? Like, I mean, apparently there's this planet that who knows? This could. I tried to look it up on Google. I only found one article. But 7 trillion miles away or some shit. There's some planet they found with lights
on it. I heard
and it's that. Like, okay, which again, that's the argument is always like, what is an alien? So I mean, it's interesting. I always like to see people's artistic take. The alien movie I will not watch is what's that fucking Ryan Reynolds one? Quiet Place.
That's not Ryan Reynolds. That's I think his name's like John Krantz.
John Krasinski and his wife. Yeah, Emily Blunt. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, his is dude, that movie looks fucking terrifying.
Oh, it's pretty wild. I've seen that. I haven't seen
the third one's coming out.
I've only seen the first one. It was pretty good. God. Yeah, I mean, with this one, so it's interesting because the aliens are not on Earth yet, as far as you know.
400 years, yeah.
400 years, they're heading this way because their planet's kind of fucked, so they're heading this way, and they're honestly like, we're coming to basically take this shit.
So the anticipation's wild.
But you know, it's interesting. This is kind of spoiling a little bit, but I think this was one of the things that made the show most interesting because it made it really unique. The aliens end up communicating with the people, and they say like, essentially, they're very like they can't lie. Essentially, that's what they tell you. They say we can't lie, and they actually stop fucking with some of their followers that like worship them like gods. They call them like my lord and shit. One of them reads them a story of the Little Red Riding Hood, of the wolf and shit, and the aliens like, why doesn't the wolf just eat her? Basically, like, why doesn't it just do the easiest thing? It could eat her easily. Why is it lying? And
that's alarming.
Yeah, it's like, why does it lie about its eyes? Why does it lie about that? And she's like, do you do this? And he's like, well, I guess. And then he tells her, like, he's like, the alien's like, so is the story Little Red? No, she says, where are they? And he's like, oh, this isn't real. This didn't happen. This is a story. And she's like, okay, so our stories lies, all lies? And he's like, well, I guess it is. And at that point, she's like, I won't talk to you because we're afraid of you. Because they're like, we don't even understand the concept of lying.
Oh, the alien.
The alien.
That's so interesting. So
and they were protecting this group. They were like a cult.
So while they're on their way, they're having communication.
They are having communication through like these boxes, and also they can see everything that's happening because they explain how they have these basically like cameras that are the size of like particles or whatever
that can move.
Ahead. They sent them way ahead, so they're like, literally, we can see everything that you guys are doing. We're everywhere. They move so fast that we can be on one side of the earth and be on the other side within seconds.
I love stuff.
So it's interesting because also when the people on Earth are planning. They're planning with the knowledge because they tell them they're like, we know that
all this could be a lie.
They're like, sure. Well, if they can in fact lie, but they're going with the premise right now that
they can't lie. Yeah.
So yeah, maybe that's bullshit from the very beginning.
Chess.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. But so yeah, they're doing everything that they're doing with knowledge that they can see what they're doing. So it's very interesting.
That is very interesting.
When they're making plans in rooms with one another, they know that there's more than likely, especially what the main characters are doing, because they're like doing shit to counteract
now. And this whole movie, series, is taking place throughout the 400 years, or just in one time period that's at the end of the 400.
I think it will eventually, but the first season was just like modern day, and then like 50 years, it shows shit from 50 years ago when they first made contact with aliens, or however long it was.
Right. So I guess that's my question, is like, the people that we're seeing prepare today, are they preparing for aliens to come within?
Spoiler alert. Well, so we're spoiling.
Never. There's no way to not spoil it.
This isn't that big of a deal, because
because I'm trying to get the setting.
Yeah, like so there's one guy that is like in charge of everything for like the scientists, the American scientists or whatever. So he actually, it's interesting because they address that, and he says that he's going to be frozen and he'll be like basically unthawed or whatever for 1 week every year for the next 400 years, because he's like, there has to be a consistent oversight of this project.
I like
so on
that.
And so forth. Yeah.
Okay. So he's Jesus now.
Everybody really hates him because he is just, it's interesting because it really challenges your like, who are the good guys type shit. Like, this is a human, you're on side human, but it's like some of the shit that he does, because they are counteracting an imminent threat. So they're like, hey, anything is
that you don't know the size of, you don't know the body, the exoskeleton, you don't know anything about. And then are they going to be the same beings 400 years from now that you're speaking to, or do they have do they die?
I think they can freeze as well, but and like go into like some cryogenic kind of thing. But so I think that one of the things that was the most interesting things in the series to me, because I hadn't seen this kind of addressed before, was the aliens get in contact. I don't remember who they're talking to, but essentially they kind of break down the development of like the human race. They're like, hey, it took you 4,000 years to develop this, then it took you 1,000 years to develop this, then it took you 500 years to do this, then it took you 50 years. Then like, but the difference between like the industrial age and the information age is like small, like 40 years.
Well, that goes into real life, which is like, how did we just make this jump so fast without?
Sure, but so this is, I think, unless there's maybe like, hey, there's an alien connection to that, but I think what they're saying is just like the exponential kind of like really quick growth that we're having with technology. And they say this explicitly. They say because technology is starting to progress so quickly, by the time they get to Earth in 400 years, we'll actually be more advanced than they are now.
Because they can't advance while they're
not
flying.
Oh, yeah, they're not advancing.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that was an interesting kind of issue, because then it makes it where at first you're really thinking like there's no way that they can defend themselves against these aliens that are space traveling, literally have computers that are the size of fucking neurons and shit.
Little do they know that we will destroy the planet with.
Well, exactly. But they're I don't know if they're taking that into consideration, but they do literally say, they are the ones that say like, you guys will surpass us and you'll easily destroy our fleet when we get there.
Ooh, that's again, you have to listen, you have to believe. So I like that. So again,
definitely check it out. It was great.
So you believe in aliens?
I do. I think more than likely.
Yeah. do you think that this thing? It seems honestly pretty seemingly realistic as far as like a sci-fi show. Do you agree with that?
So,
or is it like more sci-fi than?
So for the first, it was interesting because, like I said, I didn't like the first 4 episodes. So after the first 4 episodes,
stuck on through the first.
Well, I was going to review it, so I was like,
okay.
At first, I was like, oh, I'm going to shit on this. This is boring. Da 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 da. Because I felt like at first the show was more science than fiction. If I guess I was going to say, it got way too like wrapped up in all the science behind it and like making sure that the shit was plausible in some way.
Too many sci-fi like critics.
It's like, dude, I really just want to like see this cool shit. Like this, and I mean, the explanations are cool, and it makes like the certain like ideas that they introduce even more like tangible and interesting. So I like that.
So it's a necessity, but it's like,
but also it's a new show, so it's like I don't want to judge it off the first 4. They're trying to get you to even remember the characters' fucking names. You know what I mean? So it's like, so yeah, I understand. You know, that's just gonna inherently be a slower burn. In the China shit is kind of cool. Like seeing the old China shit. Just seeing old China on TV is kind of interesting. You know, we don't see a ton of that in American television. So seeing that depicted, I mean, and it's at the very beginning. It's so fucking brutal, bro. When you see this lady's dad is teaching people against the wishes of the Chinese government, the theory of relativity. So he gets like basically like put in like a guillotine. It's not a guillotine, but the equivalent of something like that.
Yeah.
And he's like, they're like, denounce the teachings of Albert Einstein. It's fake. It's not whatever. And also denounce that there's any possibility for a God, because China is also famously not religious, an atheist state. So this is kind of where this is stemming from. And he, as a scientist, he's like, as a scientist, I can't say emphatically that there isn't a God, so I can't say that. And then also he's like, the theory of relativity is the shit. I love that. And they have his wife there, and who's also a scientist. Fucking cold-blooded, make her denounce those things on stage in front of him, fucking humiliate, just break his heart and humiliate him. And then, you know, they go through with whatever, you know, it gets wild. But yeah,
damn it, she does it, huh? She betrays.
I'm
her
pretty sure she does, if I remember right. Yeah, she's like, I'm not gonna die.
Have to at that point.
She might, honestly, they might take her away. I don't remember a happy ending for her.
Who's going to keep you alive, huh?
I definitely don't remember a happy ending for her. They do end up keeping her daughter and his daughter rather, and her daughter, and that's one of the main characters that you actually follow. Okay. She's the one that actually makes contact with aliens because she hates humans so much because what they did to her family. She's like, we can't even run this shit. She's like, even if aliens come, it'll be better than what the fuck we have going on right now. Yeah. So she makes that decision. It's interesting because how they do it is they point the radio signal at the sun to amplify it, and that's how they get it to amplify. And they literally tell her, like, don't do that, do what's normal. They're already sending messages out, but she ends up figuring out, if I aim it at the sun, it'll amplify the signal and it'll get to where it needs to go. And they're like, don't do that shit. She tries to explain.
Who's saying that? The aliens or the government?
No, Chinese people. Yeah. And they're even like, she has a superior that she tells this idea to, and he like steals the idea and goes to the higher ups, and they're like, do not fucking do that. Like basically like destroy, just shits on them.
Wow.
And says like, basically, I know why this stupid bitch would have this dumbass idea.
But why are you?
Her father was a traitor, but yeah, why the fuck are you bringing this shit to my attention? All that. So great show. Definitely gave you a lot of the like outline for the characters and stuff, but definitely really interesting. That you are start, and I won't give you too much, but it ends up getting to a point where there's these things called the wall facers, and these are humans that they're gonna deem wall facers, and they basically what their job is, and so the aliens can't get the communication. They pick 3 people that are like highly qualified, and those people can tell people to do anything they want. Nobody can question it. Nobody can ask them why. They don't have to tell anybody their reasoning, and all this is so they have it all in their mind. And I guess the idea is that these 3 people, and they can't even talk to each other about their plans. So I guess the hope is that they're all going to think similarly and come together with some, great idea at the end.
Again, China or mankind?
No, this is like the United Nations at this point. Yeah, this is modern day. We're responding to the alien threat and shit. But yeah, great shit. Definitely check it out. I would love to. I love to review it watch. Yeah, your lady might like it. I don't know. I'm not sure if she's into stuff like that. Yeah, definitely. It was a good show for us. It was a little maybe heady for my woman, where she was kind of like, but also I think it was because it's something you have to pay attention to. So she's like, she missed certain things, and she was like, I like it, but there's some of this shit I don't understand how we fucking got here.
Have you seen The Good Place with Kristen Bell?
Haven't. No.
Yeah.
Christian Bale. No.
No. Kristen Bell.
Kristen Bell. No.
The girl.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. No. The lady from. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't know. It was just.
Is that new?
I don't think it's new. I think it's been around a little bit, but basically she just like dies, goes to the good place, which is heaven, and then you find out that like the guy Michael that's running is just like an architect that just like built the city. She's not supposed to be there. She's actually not a good person, and their name's right, but her identity's wrong. So now she's trying to like stay in, and like Michael, like he won't show you like what he really looks like. Like when you say like you don't want to see, that's literally like verbatim what he says. They're like, what do you really look like? He's like, you don't want to know. Yeah. And then like this goes, but like it's just one of those shows that's kind of like makes you think where it's like, okay, is she like really like, is she going to get sent out, or is it like he's testing her to like make her like see if she's worth staying because maybe she's a good person deep down, but reality like she's just not. They like do flashbacks of like all like the shitty things she kind of has done in her life.
Is it a TV show?
Yeah, it's a TV show. It's like a little sitcom. It's all right. Like we just started watching, but you kind of just like it's like a lighthearted version of that, I guess.
Yeah.
In a sort of way, but yeah, no, it was just I was just wondering, like that's like kind of like one of the because we watched. I said this before. We watched so many of like the Survivor. Like right now, we got Survivor, Amazing Race, The Deal or No Deal. That's on right now, and it's like
it's hard to get to like narratives.
Then it's like because that's Tuesday, Wednesday, which we got this, and then Wednesday, Thursday, and then it's like all right, then some to Friday, and then there's always some like trash thing that we'll watch, and she gets her fucking Teen Mom reunion party thing is on right now.
How are those ladies doing?
Yep. So
pretty great.
No, it's honestly, I like. I'm not gonna lie, I gotta do like the. So when you take away the Farrah chick, I actually have some like posts from years ago about one with a B. I forget her name, but like take her away. Like some of these, there's like attention seekers, and like you get down to like these real, like this group are like the real parents who really care. It's interesting. The girl Mackenzie who's gotten in trouble for like saying like racist things and things about like just this insensitive things about black people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
She actually just showed up with a Jamaican boyfriend, which that's kind of like, oh, you left the dude that was like real country. And I was like, oh, here's like another world. And then it's cool. But one of the guys from the challenge, he's on there, and it's like he got the one girl pregnant and then got
is it Corey?
Yeah. No, it's just one of those. And then his girlfriend, like on like he's never married, and like they have other kids.
I think I saw
so it's just like all this drama, and it's again, I'm always down for some drama.
Well, I think
I'm always like, so what's going on? But it is trash.
I think, I mean,
it's so bad.
You're honest about that, and I think that it's like I was talking about with the 3 Body Problem. That's something you have to really lock in for. Like if it's a reality show, you could step away for 30 minutes, do whatever you need to do in the kitchen or something, come back, and like you really haven't missed too much. You know, it's still the same people on TV. Not much has changed. They didn't all of a sudden figure out that fucking aliens exist or some shit. Like, 3 Body Problem. Like,
your entire cliffhanger's ruined.
3 Body Problem. Literally, you come back and you're like, hold on. So what the fuck? They were bleaking the stars? That happens, bro.
Man, you go on TikTok and like episodes obviously continue on TikTok because you got the people on the episodes who are now like on TikTok a podcast who are now like, oh yeah, we're talking about this episode. So yeah, I mean, again, I like all that. I like the challenge that's gonna come back, all that stuff. Master Chef, Hell's Kitchen. But it's tough. I do like the narrative TV shows, but I got to get over the fact that Netflix does have good stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
and like
mostly bullshit.
There's a lot of bad.
Yeah,
so it's a lot. I'm just like, oh fuck. I have X amount of time. So for this show, it seems like legit.
Well, somebody told me that the book was really good, so then that's what made me check out the show. And then, like I said, I was genuinely impressed with it by the time I finished it. So just have some patience with it. 3 Body Problem. Maybe after you watch it, we'll get into it. I already had, like I said, on Saturday, I was supposed to do a review on it. So I am going to do a full review on it at some point. Hopefully I'll have somebody to talk to so we can either have different opinions or just point out.
Are you a big horror and thriller fan?
I wouldn't say so. No. I like stuff like the show that you're gonna watch. Those are probably like what I get most hyped for, or comedies. Like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Whenever that comes out, I'm on that shit the night it comes out.
They still have new episodes.
They do, yeah. They have a season coming out.
Oh, they're diddling kids. No, I fucking love.
There's somebody there. That's a show I'll always tune in for. Like night it drops. But like House of Dragons and shit, like shows like that, those are what I get most hyped. Breaking Bad. So just I guess dramas it'd be a drama technically, but I don't know exactly what those would be. They're fantasy. That's why I like fantasy shit.
Yeah,
Breaking Bad's not fantasy, but still, yeah.
I guess it's always like because like I was going to ask you if you like the TikTok videos of like the ghosts, people like filming like ghost things, and then like some of them like I got caught into one where it's like 6 parts. Man, I'm invested in this Appalachian Mountains one. Man, this guy at his work, and then it comes out like yeah, man, he's a film student, so like he's been like, and it's like he did a great job. Like bro, like caught me in big time, bro. But it's like
with TikTok, I don't. I used to watch some ghost shows with my dad because he would watch those.
Oh, the ghost hunters,
yeah, ghost hunter shit. But as far as scary shows, I'm not like against them. I'll watch them if like something good comes out that I'm interested with. I'll watch like Evil Dead. I really liked. Like that's just it has to have an interesting story. You know what I mean? Like interesting lore behind it, or like why ever we're here has to intrigue me. The Terrifier, I watched that. That was like a slasher with a clown. I don't know if you.
I've not seen that, but
okay,
to bring
it's fucked up. It's like super fucked up.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I guess I like real. Like I like if it's realistic, but then I don't. Like I don't want to get to like the Omens, like Omen movie, or like the one toy. Like what's the one little boy and like
Chucky?
In the mansion where it was like you're babysitting a doll.
Oh, you're talking about the boy in the movie. Yeah. I thought you were asking.
Yeah.
About the boy.
No,
Okay,
the Chucky. When I was 4, that movie was out, and I remember I had a My Pal doll, which was like a life-size little kid doll that had red hair, freckles, and the overalls.
Is that what it was based off of?
I
wonder.
It seems like it. And like I again, little kid, swore that thing winked at me, bro. I couldn't sleep forever.
Holy
but
shit,
I was going to ask you this because we've talked about movies and like them changing characters and direction to kind of fit
whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a Mad Max fan.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see the new saga coming out?
I did. Furiosa.
Yes. What do you think?
I like that.
You do? Okay.
Yeah, I love it. I
thought about you when I saw the preview.
Yeah,
I was like,
I wonder if I liked it or not. Yeah, I love that. I think they did that the right way. They introduced Furiosa, and even if they didn't introduce her in a Mad Max film, then that's fine. I would have more of an issue if they like Mad Max movie. Okay, Mad Max is a woman now. Like, that's
okay.
Be like, what the fuck?
So has she been known before this, or is this like
not that I know of? I don't think
a new character.
I don't think Mad Max has. I think Mad Max is like its source material is the movie. I think.
No, that's what's his name?
Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson was the original. Then they came out with one a few years ago, right?
Yeah.
Like the 2 they came out with back to back.
I don't think so. I think it's just the one, and then the other one's coming out. Wasteland is the one that's coming out. The one that came out before is Fury Road.
Okay, yeah. And then this one, dude, Chris Hemsworth.
He looks awesome.
Dude, he looks awesome, dude. Dude, whatever accent he's doing, dude. Like, so okay, we're
I think Australian. I think he's trying to do a little Australian accent.
Dude, I don't know.
Which, by the way, is
I don't know if it's Australian.
Well, by the way, which is extra. He's Australian.
He's Australian.
So it would be extra dope if he did do that because Mel Gibson is Australian.
Yes.
So the original one actually is.
That
Australian.
is true.
I actually think.
Dude, he was.
Let me see here.
Dude, so we're watching Kong of Zilla vs Kong, which I'm telling you, best fight scenes I've ever seen in a movie. Like
I saw some clips from.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. I think his name's George Miller.
And then the storylines, honestly, like the dialogue, they didn't spend too much time here, or like skip over shit. Like it was perfect. But anyways, I saw the preview and I'm like, is that Chris Hemsworth? And I said, no, that it almost looks like someone who's trying to be Chris Hemsworth. And then you hear him talking, it's like, oh yeah, that's definitely not him.
Yeah.
And then there's like one laugh he did in the preview where I was like, okay, that's Chris Hemsworth.
So George Miller, who did the movie, the original, and did the remake, and is doing this one.
Okay,
is 79, so he's been around for a long time.
Holy shit,
he's from Australia. So I mean, that is really cool. See, I mean, I'm really kind of even for it in that way. It's because Australia doesn't have a ton of like
representation,
action
movies,
franchises that came from there. Like this is a through and through
Crocodile Dundee.
So even if
that might be American, anyways.
Even if the main character isn't Australian, I think it's cool. Like he seems like he's going to be the main bad guy, and hopefully he does lean into that Australian thing because of that.
What do they have? Mad Max and then surfing. Wasn't that one surfing movie, like a surfing action? That's not Blue Wave. Breakpoint. Yeah, is that it?
Point Break, rather. I'm sorry.
Point Break. Is that one Australian? The original?
I
thought maybe that was.
I don't think so. That's Patrick Swayze and
but maybe not. I don't know. That's all.
Keanu Reeves.
True. I'm an idiot.
Well, I mean, but it could be. I mean, I'm not They did do the remake. I forgot they did a remake of Point Break.
Yeah,
I did not watch that dog shit.
Fuck no.
But maybe it was good. But yeah, so this is cool. And I love the casting of Chris Hemsworth. I think that's gonna be really cool. He's gonna ham it up. Like it is, and that's a show. That's a movie where just the universe, you can have a lot of fun. It's over the top. Like the characters are just, they look fucking insane out of their mind. You watch Fury Road? Did you watch that?
No, again, I've
okay.
No, I regrettably, it's like with Dune, I have this weird disconnect with post-apocalyptic times.
Really?
I have this weird issue with why is it always a desert? Why is everything covered in sand? Like what happened to vegetation? What happened there? Is it just atomic? Again, like Book of Eli had a story behind it. Like the world went crazy. They had the atomic bombs.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. The one with the road with Viggo Mortensen was a book.
Yeah, that's wild.
That dude, that's one of the saddest movies. The way he had to. Oh my god, I could never kill my kid, but he had to.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Also, I think just last week you said if you turn to a zombie, you definitely no problem.
boy, zombies different, but yeah, like
the situation's right.
I don't know the story. I remember watching the Mad Max one with Mel Gibson as a kid.
Okay.
So I don't know. I've always been weird about remakes, but I know that I'm in the wrong here.
And I don't know if it might be considered a remake, but it's like more of like it's completely different story. They're not redoing the same story. It's the same character, but this is completely new characters that he's fighting with. And then this is another thing. So I see what you're saying, but I like when there's that lore as well, but there is also something kind of interesting in reality as a regular person. If shit just went shit like that, like that, you probably won't be privy to like all the reasons as to like what led to it. Especially if you're like in Australia, for example, you're in the middle of the fucking ocean.
Oh yeah, they are in Australia, so there's the desert there.
There's the outback.
Okay.
And then also, just like I said, just to consider like from a normal person's perspective, you might not know the ins and outs of like how we got to this point. And then even on top of that, Mad Max is actually like decently far into the future away from shit. So it's like now imagine like you're a generation, 2 generations removed from whatever happened that put you in that position.
Yeah.
So it almost, I feel you because I do like that, but at the same time, I also like the feeling of like I'm dropped in this place with these characters
and I'm figuring it out.
We really don't know what the fuck is going on. We have our own struggle, like in Mad Max, it's Morton Joe that's coming to get all of his. Oh, you didn't see. Okay, you didn't see that. But either way, I'll give you the real quick. So there's this dude. He runs this area that has water. So water is obviously very valuable. And he controls it. And he has a bunch of women that he just impregnates, basically, because that's what you do when you're a fucking warlord or whatever. So the story of Mad Max Fury Road is Charlize Theron's character. That's who plays it, right? I think I'm pretty sure Charlize Theron.
Yes.
So it's her character smuggling them out, and like trying to get them to safety.
And then she's his daughter,
dude. No, and I think that by
twist,
maybe in the next movie, maybe that is what it is. But almost the entire movie is done like in this giant fucking caravan car chase scene. It really is incredible. And that's the thing. Yeah. So like I don't know, man. Again, I'm in the wrong here. I should give it it's I think you'll like it.
I'm always like the raw tough movies. I'm always kind of like how much is overdone. But again, that's me being stupid, and I get that.
But this is also not even just like tough, it's aware. You know
right.
what I mean? It's it's self-aware.
Yeah. I need to watch it. I love like Book of Eli. I thought that was a wonderful, like honestly, so well written. Everything through finding out. Spoiler alert, it's an old movie, but find out he's blind, which you kind of can start to like when it clicks. You're like, oh my god, how did I not put?
I forgot you didn't even know that.
This together, and then the fact that it's like, yes, this is the whole like basis of like the religion, where it's like this guy is only wanting the book because he knows he can control the world if he gets his hands on this book. Now, again, what he presumes to be the world, and then you have Denzel, who's obviously protecting that through God being spoken to, and then gets it to the sanctity, it being safe. Yeah. And then you see every book of religion is kind of in the same spot. And it's like, just all the way they tied it together. I liked it. So that's where it's like, yeah, I would like Mad Max.
Yeah,
I gotta, and then Dune.
If I had to pick
watch
between the two, I would take Mad Max over
Dune.
No, over Book of Eli.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Even though it doesn't have to be either or, but I'm just saying, I think you would like it because it is of that quality. there is less clarity as far as like why the world is the way it is. But that's almost like really not important because you're so wrapped up in what the struggle is, which is literally you're a part of this group that's trying to smuggle these people out.
Yeah.
And then the world's so cool. You have like these what they're called sick boys. And because they're made through like fucking incest and shit like that, they're fucked up. And this is like his henchmen or whatever you want to call it. They actually have
him writing on the thing.
They actually have to capture people. So that's how Mad Max comes into play. He's what's called a blood bag for one of them.
Mel Gibson doesn't speak in his, right? Is that the one where like he dropped like he has like only a couple lines?
He doesn't talk a lot, but I think he speaks. But yeah I don't think he didn't talk a lot. No. Yeah. So I mean, same thing with this movie. Honestly, Tom Hardy doesn't talk much. It is a lot of like him just kicking ass and like
Tom Hardy. I fucking love Tom Hardy.
He's great in it. Yeah. And Charlize Theron's great. That's why I think they did that right. You know, they introduced that character. If you want him to be a part of the Mad Max universe, this female character, you introduced him in a Mad Max film. She was a badass in the film. She was super fucking cool. And so now people organically want to see more of this character. So now now she has her own movie and it's not this force-fed like bullshit. Like we already know, we already believe she's actually a fucking badass. I don't like that it's an origin story. I will say that, but I think it's gonna be cool.
Well, they're saying it's gonna be a new saga. So there should be what 2-3 films, 3 probably.
Yeah, maybe. I'm just saying I don't love prequels just because I don't love to like that. I already know that person's gonna get through the film.
I get that. But I like the story building.
Me too.
So, if you know there's gonna be more than like I get like again Fellowship. I understood like this is going to be like. I was a kid, but like explain to people like that's going to be more boring. Like you have to set up a story. So I get that. Like Jurassic when they did the new Jurassic World series.
I think Hobbit would be a better example, right?
Oh yeah, Hobbit. Yeah.
So it's like you already knew Bilbo was going to live.
Yeah, you already know all this, and it's like but
which I like that too.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I like it. But I think that's just a negative for me.
I do
still like it. Yeah, I do still like it. Like I went back and I think I might have talked to you about this. I watched The Hobbit recently with my daughter, and I was like, dude, I was way too hard on these movies. These movies are fucking badass.
They're really good.
Yeah, when they first came out, I was like, I love Lord of the Rings, and I was like, this is not Lord of the Rings.
You can't compare the two.
I think you almost can. Now rewatching it and rewatching Lord of the Rings, which I would watch anyways. Those movies were really, really fucking good, man. Really good.
Fantastic. The Hobbits were good. The Hobbit almost felt like the book were being rushed a little bit. You get the book people where the White Orc in the book, the White Orc is referenced, and it is referenced as a foe, but it's not followed. Like he's not like how he was in the movies. But obviously, Hollywood has to Hollywood. You have to give this person.
Yeah.
I thought that they did a great job in like giving homage to everything. Just The Hobbit, where I was disappointed in The Hobbit, being someone who loves IMAX, and Peter Jackson fucking killed it with Lord of the Rings, the trilogy, with how they did the orcs and just the trees, everything, all the special effects, killed it in King Kong. And then comes out telling us he's using groundbreaking technology. He's going to change the game completely. And then you come out in our dwarfs and everything looked fucking worse than ever. Like it was like I didn't care for how much CGI, the makeup was looking worse. It just looked more fake and fairy tale than Lord of the Rings did, which maybe that's what they went for. But that was my biggest, like, I was just like, I
think that's fair. Like some of the there's definitely like, for example, when Legolas is like jumping around on the barrels. And when the orcs invade that elf town, like that looks so fake.
It looks so fake. Which his part in the fucking Return of the King came out 2008?
Yeah.
Maybe even before that where he went up the elephant and then killed everyone, then came all down and slid down. That looked better than the Hobbit did. Than that scene. So that barrel scene reminded me of like how the ghost looked. And like when you play it back and Return of the King, you're like, ooh, those ghosts look bad. But but it's like
of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. Or whenever he's swinging, it should look like a fucking cutscene for a video game.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, but movies came a long way. Definitely. But
he was doing a lot back then, to your point. So I mean, he was making a lot with little, and but yeah, either way, the Hobbit that's badass. Definitely check out Mad Max. Though. Shit is cool. I'm excited for Fury.
Three Body is what it's called.
3-body problem.
Yep.
Yeah, 3-body problem. Thank you. You've actually helped me learn that. I was calling it 3-person problem for so fucking long, dude. Or I was like 3-person, 3 people problem.
Did you watch that Stalker? What is it? Fuck. Stalker something killer. Fuck.
No, I didn't watch it.
You got it. That's one that it's a hour 30-minute documentary about we kind of covered it, just a love triangle that has a lot of twists and turns that comes through like stalking and like phone, social media stalking. Someone's house gets burned down throughout the process. It is insane. But this the twists and turns in it all. It's really cool. So like just one of those things on Netflix.
Yeah.
But Killer Stalker or something. Just stupid me, not be able to remember the name of something. But
we also, by the way, I'm gonna check out Ronin. You have Hulu?
Yeah.
That Ronin shit. Have you started watching or Shogun?
I'm not started that yet.
Gotta get into that. It probably is gonna be my next one though. I'm pretty psyched for it.
I'm just waiting for Bear to come back, man.
I'd never started watching.
Dude, it's a good show.
I hear that. I hear it a lot.
Dude, you need to watch Bear. I'm not even joking.
You need to watch fucking. I'm talking about aliens and shit. You're talking about I need to watch a fucking movie.
I
need to watch a show about fucking running a restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I got enough fucking trauma from work. People just
baby.
cutting. They're just cussing each other off. I'm sure, and
it's a lot of things.
Cussing each other out, fucking each other.
Chicago,
out. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's fair enough. Oh, so he did Chicago again.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
It's like that's the only thing Lip kind of does.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's not in his name. Something.
Is he from Chicago? I wonder. Yeah.
It's one of them.
Yeah, I know he played in that wrestling movie recently.
Dude, that was a good movie.
Oh, you watched
it? Iron
Claw.
Claw.
Dude. Yeah, I gotta watch it. You know a little bit about the story.
Well,
I think I told you. I
and then there's like 3 other siblings that they don't have in the movie because of time constraints and like needing to tell a story that's cohesive.
Damn.
Like there's a lot that they miss that
for a sequel, baby.
that you hear about. It's like whoa.
Yeah.
Zac Efron, man, that he's
killed
rough.
it.
What?
He killed it.
Oh, yeah, he did good.
Yeah, great. This guy, by the way, is from New York. So
he likes to play Chicago.
Yeah,
no
Chicago ties. But it's interesting either way. All right, so
he just looks pissed off.
This is the last. This is the last thing we'll go ahead and get into, and we don't have to spend too much time on it. But I want to get your opinion on it for sure because I do think it's interesting. And it's this Chinese travel advisory, and I'm going to go ahead and pull that up for us so we can reread it because I read it earlier, and this was just like I said, the Chinese government saying if you're a Chinese citizen and you're visiting America, expect that you could be in some unexpected situations, and that's almost verbatim. It's something along those lines. And yeah, I'm just curious.
Chinese propaganda.
I'm curious what I wonder if this is a situation where it's. So this is the conspiracy theory that's scary. Is like, does this mean that the Chinese government knows that them or some of their allies are about to do something that's going to put
preemptive?
Yeah, that's going to put America and make America a little bit more dangerous again. Or is this a situation where they just see the bullshit going on in America and they're like, hey guys, warning our citizens, there's a lot of crime going on in America.
I don't know. I mean, are people still on the whole like COVID thing with like I don't know where like there's any hate. Again, this would be my ignorance. We don't have a big Chinese population here. I mean, Venice has a bigger one than in like Florida, but we don't have it here. I've never seen anyone like do anything to like again, this is gonna sound fucked up, but like a Chinese restaurant, like they're popping. So yeah. I don't know. I don't know where it all come from.
Let me tell you something. This is kind of interesting. I didn't expect to see this. So there's actually a China travel advisory for Americans. So we have one too.
Oh, don't go there.
Yeah. So, and I knew that we did this, but I didn't know we had this with China right now. So this says reconsider travel to mainland China due to the arbitrary enforcement of local laws, including in relation to exit bans and the risk of wrongful detention. Exercise increased caution when traveling to the Hong Kong SAR due to the arbitrary enforcement of local laws. Reconsider travel to the Macau SAR due to limited ability to provide emergency consular services. Exercise increased caution when traveling to Macau due to the arbitrary enforcement of local laws.
Very interesting.
Level 3. Oh, it's interesting because they also have levels on each of these.
Yeah.
So like a level 3 reconsider for mainland China, a level 2 for Hong Kong, and a level 3 for Macau.
So level 2 just exercise like more caution.
I think that one did have less on it. Like, yeah, so this just says arbitrary enforcement of local laws for Hong Kong, but the other ones have that and then they have something else. So Macau has the limited ability to provide emergency services, and then the mainland China, it has the arbitrary enforcement of laws, and then it also says including the relation to exit bans and the risk of wrongful detention.
Which an exit ban. So they're saying that like they're going to ban an American
People
from leaving. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't find that too crazy. I honestly think if the vote goes a certain way that we're going to get that here, that we're going to get an exit. You can't leave, can't come in, can't leave. Everything's shut down completely. But it just, I don't know. It's always sketchy, obviously. Why? That's Russia. But again, in my opinion, there's countries that you can travel to and just be you. And then there's countries you travel to where I think it's pretty wild that people do, like Dubai, Cairo. Obviously Egypt for the country, but city specific. When you're looking at, anywhere really in the Middle East, when people you can't kiss, hold hands, do certain things in public that we do in America, and you're going with your wife to Dubai or Abu Dhabi, and then it's like, my cousin did it, and it's like her and her husband wanted to take a picture and kiss, and they did, and then someone came up. I think honestly this was Cairo. Yeah, no, this was Dubai, and they were like, "Hey, don't do that. Like, you can't do that." But they felt more uncomfortable in Cairo, and they had more like people like making sure they were okay there than they did Dubai. So it's kind of, but it's like, yeah, if you're someone who likes to drink, you got countries you go to, you can't. Russia, why would you go?
Yeah.
I mean, you see American journalists, American tourists get imprisoned. China, you expect this kind of, I guess, the same thing. So it's like, why?
Being mindful of cultural differences wherever you travel and being mindful that they're there. I think that sometimes because of, empathy, being very empathetic and wanting to understand just people. I mean, me and you get into this all the time where it's like, people are people and stuff like that. You do have to understand that there is a difference and we are people, and those things are still true, but with the education that they receive is different as a Chinese education. And I mean that from just a state programming standpoint. Yeah, it's different. So when you expect, and the same thing goes here, there's things that you could do in India, for example. Shit in the street. So the things you can do in India.
You can do that here in some places.
There's some places if nobody catches you, but come on, you're gonna get your ass kicked by just regular people are gonna kick your ass if they see that. It's just not acceptable behavior from us. But there's other shit that vice versa. Like you said, we go to fucking Dubai and we hold hands, and it's fucking too much.
Yeah, that's public display. So it's like, how many people really are why would you? I guess there's interesting things to see in China, right?
Yeah.
So
it's one of the oldest civilizations.
But it's like, I mean, I don't know. Anywhere where they're kind of an adversary of the United States, I would assume that like you wouldn't want to go.
Yeah.
I mean, just like, again, you have people here that when they see somebody who's not from here, they get like their alarms are heightened or whatever, the caution's up. So it's like, they're gonna do the same. I don't know, just kind of keep it in safe countries and move on.
Let me read a little bit of this summary, and then I want to get into the current one that China has put on America, and then we'll wrap this guy up. So the summary here is this has to do with America's travel advisory for China, so not vice versa. The People's Republic of China, PRC government arbitrarily enforces local laws, including issuing exit bans on U.S. citizens and citizens of other countries without fair and transparent process under the law. The Department of State has determined the risk of wrongful detention of U.S. nationals by the PRC government exists in the PRC. U.S. citizens traveling or residing in the PRC may be detained without access to U.S. This word sucks, consular services or information about their alleged crime. So that's interesting. So that gives more. So then that's
getting arrested and you can't speak to nobody.
You can't speak to the representatives for the United States. U.S.
They're
citizens
going to tell you what you did wrong.
U.S. citizens in the PRC may be subjected to interrogations and detention without fair and transparent treatment under the law. Foreigners in the PRC, including but not limited to business people, former foreign government personnel, academics, relatives of PRC citizens involved in legal disputes, and journalists have been interrogated and detained by PRC officials for alleged violations of PRC national security laws. The PRC has also interrogated and detained and expelled U.S. citizens living and working in the PRC. PRC authorities appear to have broad discretion to deem a wide range of documents, data, statistics, or materials as state secrets, and to detain and prosecute foreign nationals for alleged espionage. There's increased official scrutiny of U.S. and third country firms, such as professional service and due diligence companies operating in the PRC. Security personnel could detain U.S. citizens and subject them to prosecution for conducting research or accessing publicly available material inside the PRC. Security personnel could detain U.S. citizen for sending private electronic messages critical of the PRC, Hong Kong, or Macau. In addition, the PRC government has used restrictions on travel and departure from PRC, or so-called bans, to compel individuals to participate in the PRC government investigations, pressure family members of the restricted individual to return to the PRC from abroad, resolve civil disputes in favor of PRC citizens, and gain bargaining leverage over foreign governments. Might only become aware of an exit ban. U.S. citizens might only become aware of an exit ban when they attempt to depart from PRC. There may be no available legal process to contest an exit ban in a court of law. Relatives, including minor children of those under investigation, the PRC may become subject to an exit ban. PRC government does not recognize dual nationality. Dual U.S. PRC citizens and U.S. citizens.
So do not fucking go there.
Of Chinese descent may be subject to additional scrutiny and harassment. If you are a U.S. citizen and choose to enter mainland China on travel documents other than a U.S. passport and are detained or arrested, the PRC may not notify the U.S. Embassy or the U.S. Consulates General or allow consular access.
So how many Americans do you think are jailed right now in China without like anyone knowing?
Yeah.
Bro, because like what's crazy is so you want to go to China, you go to China, right?
Mm-hmm.
Boom. We don't hear from you.
Yeah.
Yo, like where's James? Right.
So I'm dead.
So then we have to contact someone at the US Embassy here, right? Like we have to contact somebody, but like, hey, internationally, like we lost someone in China. And then they're going to contact like, hey, do you know anything of this? And then it's
China's embassy.
And then it's, hey, we don't have to tell you shit.
And I guess that is how it could go. This will be the last thing I'll read here. So Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region. This is I've skipped a part. So this is has to do with demonstrations. So people going over there participating in demonstrations or any other activities that authorities interpret as consulting an act of secession, subversion, terrorism, or collusion with a foreign country could result in criminal charges. Be aware of your surroundings and avoid demonstrations.
Don't protest.
So Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region, Tibet Autonomous Region, and Tibetan Autonomous Prefectures.
So if you're pro Taiwan, done.
Well, Tibet and also the Uyghur genocide that's happening over there with the Uyghur Muslims.
The shit. See, that's something that I'm not too privy to.
Genocide as well. Yeah, genocide's been happening over there for a while. There's a bunch of Muslims.
China says there's a lot you just don't know.
You know, it's crazy. There's actually a ton of Buddhists that are fucking Muslims up, like killing them. Yeah.
What? That's
not bullshit. That's crazy.
I guess they do teach defense, but not attack, right?
I think it's probably just like radicalists, people that took and perverted whatever teachings is always the case.
Are they speaking? Because I don't know. Silent fucking
killer.
Silent attack.
Here, let me see if I can find this one. And then
because if you go, is that not breaking the vow?
Yeah, I mean, you can't even.
I don't know these rules. I'm an ignorant American here. Yeah, I don't know shit. I'm just asking questions.
I wonder. See, I might not be able because I'm reading that. That's interesting. So I was thinking I would automatically be able to see like a similar version of this, but I guess I wouldn't. I was just reading that off one of our government websites.
Wild. Like again, like and you know this happens in Russia.
Oh yeah.
Again, like Brittany Griner's thing. Like I don't know, was she really carrying the fucking shit? Like again, like we know that police plant shit here.
Well, I mean, and even like so with them saying that you may not even know until
not
you try
all cops, obviously.
Them saying that you may not even know that there's a ban until you try to leave is pretty telling. So yeah, we definitely wouldn't know, but it seems like even their citizens won't even be aware that this is stuff that they're doing.
You just go to leave and go back home, and they're like, "Oh, by the way,"
and you're like, "What the fuck?" And they're like, "All right, put it back over his head. Put it in the back room."
You're not going. It's like, what?
Yeah.
What I do? Well, that coffee shop you walked by Tuesday and you bought a coffee from? Well, they're pro-Taiwanese.
You were using their Wi-Fi.
You know what?
When you liked that picture on fucking Twitter.
Yeah. You did this.
The free Taiwan picture. So you're going to fucking the gulag.
So we checked your Twitter history and you have liked 18 posts against us.
So this right here says US due to okay, so I was ready for the beginning, so I'll fuck it up. China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs on March 29th warned citizens of challenging travel conditions to the US due to a spike in cases where Chinese students and company employees were subjected to unwarranted interrogations and harassment by US airport law enforcement officers. Much different.
So US officers are saying you're a fucking Chinese spy because you work at the university.
Supposedly, it seems like that might have been the case.
That checks out for Americans.
Yeah, it seems like something we would do. China's travel advisory for citizens entering the U.S. urges safety precautions in preparation for various unexpected situations, quote unquote. Detailed a South China Morning Post news report. The ministry and the Chinese embassy and the consulates in the U.S. have lodged a solemn representation to the U.S. Since November 2023, at least 8 Chinese students with valid documents have been searched, interrogated, or sent back from Washington Dulles International Airport alone, according to a tally by Chinese media. A biological sciences PhD candidate has also claimed to have been subjected to a body search, 8 hours in an interrogation room, and 12 hours in solitary confinement before being deported by officials at Dulles Airport in December last year. She was due to return to the U.S. to continue her studies. These incidents appear to be a setback in the pledge by both countries to facilitate educational and other exchanges in recent months. In November, while on a visit to the U.S., Chinese President Xi Jinping said China would invite 50,000 young Americans to study in the next 5 years.
Yeah, get out. Yeah, right. Dude, go there.
Yeah, interesting.
Go there right now.
Yeah, good luck, guys.
Like honestly, again, there's not really, you could fly here, be a someone that's foreign visiting, and then stumble upon the wrong neighborhood somewhere and get in trouble just organically. Yeah. Right. Outside of outside of police shit. Right.
Yeah.
This is the type of shit where it's like, my wife's family being from Serbia, like I make my jokes about them being Russia's cousins, but I have flat out been told by her family and the part of her family that actually owns a trucking company over there, which is kind of sketchy, and that goes back and forth. That if you go to I forget. God, so I'm so sorry that I'm forgetting
the country or a city or something.
Yeah, but I'm forgetting the capital of Serbia. But that's bad. Again, I've been forgetting a lot. To be honest. Well, obviously I have to now. Okay, Belgrade. Belgrade. I got it before you pulled it. I don't know if I did.
Falling out of the corner of his eye.
No, but yeah, Belgrade. So, if you go there, like cool. If there's certain places, you're not going to be good. Like you're just going to. But again, I don't know if that's government or just like Serbian people being like, "Yo, who the fuck are you?"
Yeah, but like you said, it's almost anywhere.
Yeah, it's anywhere. They're right. That's what I'm saying.
Maybe a little less in America, only because we're so multicultural.
Exactly.
So people kind of
which is why. Yeah. Right. Yeah. But that's where it's like it's different there. Where it's like, I go here for school. I'm gonna try to go home after my semester, and you're just going to tell me that I fucking can't leave. And oh, by the way, I'm now in prison.
Or you can't come back. That's what happened in this case. The China
can't come back.
She tried to come back, and then they said go back.
Yeah, which is fucking
it's crazy. Yeah.
Again, what'd you like on Twitter? That's your fault.
And this is though, like when we were talking about the human thing, and like sometimes you can't get too caught up on it. This is an instance where obviously I think it does apply. Like, these are just normal citizens. It's not that we shouldn't take some vigilance. Obviously, we always should and try to protect ourselves. We have agencies in place for that. But yeah, like the profiling and shit like that to a certain extent. Like, I mean, we're talking about a fucking college student.
Well, let me ask you this, just to kind of play the other side here.
Yeah,
okay.
Sure.
As we talk about gentrification here and imperialism and all this, if over there they have their, and again, like this is where we struggle all the time, where we talk about like our ideal, like utopia, like one world, kind of everyone living kumbaya, right? And we have all these different cultures that obviously we're so far like outside of any type of traditional culture. Sure. We piss on it essentially. Yeah. We piss on tradition in a lot of ways, but there's a lot of ways where they stick to a culture, to their tradition, and being too introduced to American or Western civilization could be a threat, right? Just like as we take certain things as threats to us.
Yeah.
So is there a way to look at this as them being in the right in their way, to where like there's certain things that they don't want to indoctrinate? Again, like that's something that we've talked about here on one side.
Indoctrinate. I'm trying to figure out. So because the person that's being sent here to quote unquote be indoctrinated, they're being like the indoctrination is what they're not getting, because right. It's the U.S. is saying, no, we don't believe that you're here to learn. You need to go back to China. So I don't think it's the same thing.
No, I'm saying like China is saying that they don't want like certain American. Again, I'm trying to understand like what's going. Like I'm trying to understand what exactly the issue is. Why they're imprisoning people or saying that you can't leave our country.
China.
Yeah, China, and then we do it back.
China does that with their own citizens.
But over what though? Going against culture?
Speaking against government, not allowed.
But what would be against the government, and like what would be the government's fear? And change of culture, change like an advancement in their society as far as like a colonization issue, and then them trying to teach like keep culture again. Like this is just where it's like I think I'm obviously on the side of evolution. Like we evolve as people, we grow, and society changes, and we need to always adapt with society. But there's obviously the other side of the world that thinks that we in America are fucking idiots for doing that.
They might. So I think they do feel like they want to evolve, but it's just like we don't agree on how to do that. Right. So like there's like these social things that we hold in a really high esteem, and like individual liberties that we might hold in really high esteem. In like a Chinese culture, maybe those kind of tenets are not that important in their culture. So exactly, you being your own individual and being able to express yourself and express how you feel about the government, they may not value that the same way that we do in America. And they may be like, that's not helpful. Fuck you. You're getting put in. I don't know if you're familiar with this, but you're familiar with the guy that created Alibaba. I think his name's like Jack Ma or something like that. Jack Ma. Either way, he's a Chinese guy. And he's a billionaire. So he's kind of like one of the richest guys in fucking China. He's a billionaire. And he spoke out against the Chinese government, was critical of them, and he disappeared. Completely disappeared.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can pull this guy.
It's wild because, like, I don't really have a good understanding of what Chinese culture is in 2024. You know about like the big city, right? You know about Hong Kong. You know how that is, and that's obvious. But again, I'm still through the understanding and lens that a lot of it is poverty, right? Like impoverished. A lot of it is people in little villages. Do they still eat on the floor? Like, is it still all that? And again, like you said, like there's certain things that they want to keep to them. So where we bring in that individualism, that would be a threat to a government like that.
Well, and they also, we may have talked about it before because this is a pretty popular thing, but they censor their Google, so like Google searches, which I mean we may even
kind of do that too.
But you literally can't find things. So like for example, Tiananmen Square. I don't know how much you're familiar with that, but that's it was like a protest in China.
Yeah, no, I'm honestly very ignorant on a lot of like the shit that happens in China.
So it's just an iconic. You probably even have seen the picture. There's a really popular I don't know how to spell Tiananmen.
I just know that we have about 40% of our country here that disagrees with individualism as well. and I always kind of try to say the guys that you guys hate and want to protect us from all the time, you guys kind of resemble when you talk about certain policies.
So it's right here. So
we'll keep it on China. Not Republicans.
For now. So look right here. This picture right here. This is a famous picture. This is rolling in their own country. These tanks are rolling up into Tiananmen Square.
And this is supposedly modern.
Well, no, this is like from
90s. Yeah, this looks like 90s. Yeah.
And there's a massacre that happened that day. So in China, this is one of the kind of like famous stories. This guy, Tank Man. Wow. They're not able to see this picture in China. Yeah, they're not able to see this picture. And Google actually refused to be in China initially because they wanted to censor it. And I know I think we talked about. I think this is why I thought we
There's
had
too many oligarchs in today's world to even like follow that anymore.
Well, so Google, they didn't want to go in China because of that, and their old catchphrase or whatever was "Don't be evil." I don't know if you remember
yes,
this.
yeah, I remember I was talking about that, and there's nothing more evil than that.
Yeah, they're fucking horrible. But so they ended up agreeing to it, and they were just like, hey, and they have actually addressed the criticism. They're like, if we don't do it, then they'll create a Google. But then it's like, okay, you just don't get to make the money.
exactly. You're just not able to capitalize.
They're like, we're not able to get in on that.
Sorry, we're asking you to put morals, which again, that's a very big, that's a very big hypocritical statement, though, by a certain party that would want them not to take that money because they're saying, hey, don't follow your capitalistic values and choose, feelings and morals and empathy aside from money, which obviously some of us want, some of us don't. Yeah. But anyways, outside of that, what a piece of shit I am. That's wild. But again, like we feel like that our government does that, which that's where I'm always on the argument of is on the opposite is like, I don't think our government goes that far.
I don't know, man.
It's fair to think about. It's fair to say yes.
Yeah, I think.
But again, have we ever seen tanks in the middle of our streets? I guess Alabama did a long time ago in the civil rights movement. But
good call.
But I don't know like how often like we've really had that. So it's like, and again, it's hard because like today's society, and that's the thing with like TikTok and shit. Why like and again, the left is kind of the ones on the side of banning it, and I don't understand it because sure, there's some propaganda that gets through. There's gonna be propaganda with this shit today. Come get the fuck out, okay?
Yeah, I mean propaganda for sure. Yeah.
But the amount of knowledge and the amount of that shit like with the buildings blowing up in China that we were seeing like fucking right away. Hey, like this is on TikTok, and look, and it's like that shit that. Now everyone knows really happened. Where without TikTok, without that accessibility, we would never know,
or maybe not at all.
You may never know that it happened.
Yeah, so, I have a decent amount of faith in Twitter for that. So I imagine.
Well, yeah.
But I mean, I feel you are right.
Which again, Twitter's owned by somebody who's clearly right now, pushing certain narratives and wanting to control certain things.
You do see some, but you get some good. I mean, sometimes too much. It's almost too unfiltered. Some of the shit that I've seen.
Dude, there's wild
the
shit.
Israel-Palestine shit. I've just seen some of the worst fucking videos I've ever seen in my life.
Which do you think again? Like, okay, I'm going to say this.
Yeah,
we were watching something. Me, Parker, Lauren. We were watching something, and forget how the conversation came up. But anyways, me passing away came up.
Nice.
And then Parker
dad died.
Parker mentioned his thing was like I'd be sad. Like he's like I'd be depressed for a year. I was like
I would learn to live.
Whoa. Like and then like the part like half of me it was literally like a half where I was like should I be like offended or should I want him to be able to move on with his life? It's like no, selfishly. Your life should be over. Okay, you should be.
He's speaking from a place of ignorance. I mean,
he is.
I don't know how many people he may have lost somebody at this point.
No, not really. But outside of like crazy. Lauren's grandfather, which again he passed almost 5 years ago. Parker wouldn't really.
Yeah.
So it's like, but I think that kids today are so insensitized to some of, or desensitized. I guess it's just some of this stuff. And again, like you gotta remember, man, his kindergarten year is COVID. Right after that was Ukraine. And like he still talks about one of his favorite qualities of Fortnite, in fact, is that when Ukraine got invaded, spent 24 hours giving all proceeds to Ukraine. So he's like, hey,
get my dad now.
He's like, hey, listen, this is
dad. It's for Ukraine.
He's like, yeah, he's like, dad, listen, we got to support the good, It was like, yes, we do. You're right. That's his household.
V-Bucks for Palestine.
Yeah. Why? No, Fortnite. Why haven't you stuck up Palestine?
Jews got their hands at fucking Fortnite now. But it's like we wonder why we got fucking shadow banned on YouTube.
Yeah, sorry, I bring up so many weird things. But no, but it's just weird because it's like why at 6, 7 are these kids like that invested in it? And it's like like YouTube, social media, which he's not on social media.
Yeah.
But YouTube Shorts, obviously there's a lot. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I don't know again, us at that age frame was 9/11. So how desensitized were we? But we didn't have social media till teenagers. And again, how more can you stomach seeing somebody shot on camera than you could 5 years ago?
I actually remember having a conversation with my mom about 9/11. It's interesting that we're talking about desensitization. I mean, don't take this the wrong guy, because obviously remember the troops forever. But I remember at that time I was pretty young. I don't know how old we were, but we were pretty young.
I was 3rd grade. Yeah.
Okay. So probably would have been like 6 or 7ish. So I remember that happening. And then I asked my mom why. I felt guilty because I didn't feel that bad. And I saw how everybody else felt. And I saw how serious of a thing was. And I didn't really comprehend at the time. And I felt like there was an expectation as a kid, like, oh, I should be like super sad like these other people.
But you don't even.
I'm not even really like
that's not there. Yeah.
Yeah. So I remember asking her at the time, like, like basically, am I okay? Is anything wrong with me or whatever?
Your innocence, probably, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I think that I'm a pretty thoughtful person as far as that goes. So I think at that time I was just being thoughtful in my own way and like taking notice of how the coverage on the radio is, of it, the coverage on TV, how people are responding to it, rightfully so, because of how insanely just traumatic it was. But at that time, I remember that being a situation where I'm observing this wild global, really, catastrophe, but American catastrophe more than anything, seeing how football comes back the next week, and they're like, fucking, oh my God, this is fucking it.
So everyone crying, bro. My dad worked for, I want to say Bugs R Us at the time. And I remember he got his new work shirt, had the American patch, the American flag patch, everything. Dude, you're talking about I was playing Pop Warner in 3rd grade. I'm playing Pop Warner football. The back of our helmets, we got a little flag sticker. Yeah. And it's like that was that time. But I remember 3rd grade, Miss Marco's class, it being on the TV corner right of the room there. And it was, I remember just seeing the news played over and over and over and not really getting it, but getting it. And just knowing a lot of people that being sad and like what's going on.
Yeah.
And then just the way that everyone kind of, it's wild because now the American flag is kind of, you see where it's like the Republicans are kind of taking that as like, oh, that's ours. And then now Democrats kind of like, oh no, we need to take it back. And it's like this big thing where it's like at that time, it was just like, yo, all of us are under this flag.
Yeah.
Right. And it's kind of like, I don't know, those tragedies had this weird way of bringing people together to where there's like this, again, saying it out loud is horrible, like this silver lining.
Yeah.
But it's like that moment, all of us can remember that. So yeah, that's where it's like that desensitization does it start there.
Yeah.
Is that when you start to realize, hey, listen, like our military, like deaths are deaths.
These things can happen.
Yeah, and these things can happen. And this is like there's a necessity for this. And life's, yes, they're tragic, but there's a reason for it in war and stuff like that. Like you start asking yourself questions like that at 11, 12 years old when things like that go on.
Yeah, when you get exposed to it.
But but at that time, what we saw on the news, that was it. We went back to class, right? We had we went back to school, everything we got home. There wasn't an internet to run to. We had Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, Disney, whatever on.
Yeah.
Now kids get home, they don't fucking watch cable television. They go straight on YouTube Shorts, and Parker just he'll scroll through, and then if something like pops up that like says something bad, he'll skip it real quick. At least when I'm around.
Yeah.
Whoa! Because I hear like
never heard that before.
Yeah. I hear like what an asshole. He'll be like, oh my God, why is that?
My God.
Like, whoa, Parker.
Meanwhile, subscribe.
Yeah.
Patreon member.
Whoa. But
you thought you were buying V-Bucks.
but it's like kind of just, I don't know, like these kids, they come home now and they have it all in their face.
Yeah.
Now, is that bad, or does that help them understand the world a little more? Does it help them grow a little more?
Yeah.
Is all this information necessarily bad or good, or bad? Is it bad and good, and we can accept that?
Yeah, I think it definitely has good and bad, and a mixed bag like most things. There's definitely some positives to it. There's like a little bit more of a global awareness. Oh, one thing I want to say, and this is something that I actually push back on liberals with, is I feel like they've really given up that ownership in a lot of ways of the American flag. And there's a lot of like weird guilt, I feel like, associated with America and how it was created, which I get. But I mean, definitely, I feel like more and more, and it's tough because you don't like the people like when I talk to you, I don't get that vibe. So like, and I always take that very seriously because I know a real person when we're having conversations. You're not putting on some bullshit because we're just having a real conversation. So I do question it because of that. But when I see like people who are liberal online, a lot of times it's like, or like if you ask them, for example, I've seen shit like this where it's like, are you proud to be an American? It's like they'll say no. Say no. Like, how do you feel about the American flag? How do you feel about the American flag? No pride in it. And I think a lot of, especially young liberals, and also because they are politically motivated, I think. So they are exposed to the underbelly of it, not the, patriotism spiel that our parents got and we got for a lot of our life.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So it wasn't until really the internet that breaks that down where it's no longer, you just can't lie because it's all out there. I mean, you can lie, but I mean,
I'll respond personally.
Yeah.
But I'll push back a little bit first.
Okay.
So we have Deuce.
Yeah.
Who, again, shout out, love you, buddy. But we have had our big disagreements, and we have gotten to the point to where I don't know if the Republican Party or the extremists, let's say, are necessarily. You won't say he's Republican, but he's registered Democrat. But
vote blue no matter who.
Yeah, but
that's what Deuce says.
But we've had the argument where it's like, I remember I got mad at him over his like and again, it's not that he was meaning to be like anti-American.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of speech that comes off where it's like, yo, what the fuck you saying about us? And it's like, there's a way to be truthful and then there's a way to be malicious, right?
Sure.
So, but it's the same on the left. And I'm saying that to say personally, now here's my personal feelings. I feel as if it's bullshit that the right took the American flag away from the left. And it happened so by the We the People tattoos. I mean, there's an insurance company in Venice called We the People. It's not insurance, my bad. It's a fucking pediatric doctor called We the People. And it's like, We the People, but y'all don't even pay attention to that First Amendment at all. Outside of freedom of speech, like you skip so much of it. You skip the welfare part. You skip all the amendments that we've added, and you want to take. And then we have a presidential nominee on that side who wants to talk about rewriting the Constitution, changing the Constitution to benefit who. So there's a lot of that where it's like you're not as patriotic as you stand for, as you say. And us on the left kind of feel as if like the freedom part, the open the doors part, what we've always felt. Again, this is me personally. What I've always loved about America is when I said the Pledge of Allegiance growing up, and it was justice and liberty for all. When you read the poem on the Statue of Liberty, she's talking about giving us your sick and your hurt and your needy and all that. And I've always taken pride in that we're the place in the world where, yes, we're accepting, we're loving. And although we have our differences, we understand the differences are part of being humans, and we can get past that. And the flag was taken as like this side by side with a Trump flag. And that, if you're not, yeah.
When did you, because I want to ask, when do you think that they appropriated the American flag? You said they took it away from the Democrats. So I'm trying to think of a time where like patriotism was even like really a big thing for
before
Democrats.
Obama got elected. Once Obama got elected, it pissed enough of the radicals off.
Yeah.
And that was it. And again, that's where you get the Obama started racism. And it's like, no, Obama didn't start putting dolls of himself hanging in trees.
Yeah.
He's not the one that called himself a Muslim terrorist.
I mean, plus racism existed before.
Way
it's
before.
Insane to say.
So it's just like, no, I think that it got loud. And then once Trump came in, and it was, remember, all the American flags are his thing, and look how American I am. And then none of his things were really built America. Where were the factories? Where was his money going? All that. But anyway, outside that, it's just that became like the symbol. Yeah. So then I think it became kind of an anti-Trump. It kind of been like, well, we're not for that America. Remember the Make America Great Again. Well, what do you mean? When was it great? Before black people had rights? Yeah. So then it became a defensive, remember, America wasn't always great. And it's like, that's wrong. And both sides have been doing that. And but like me, my uncle, my dad, my pappy, we have all talked about, no, fuck it, we're gonna start flying American flags for the left. And say, no, we have this love for what the Constitution is, for what this country represents, for what everything that we have been through, all the bullshit, all the wrong that this country has done, and then we the people have made it better, made it this melting pot, this form of utopia for people, right? To come and have these opportunities. And we want it to be a better place. We want it to continue to grow. So again, I think that everybody kind of loves the country. Now there needs to be are you loving the country because you're born inside the border? Or are you loving the country because what we really stand for? Remember, we're a country that left religious prosecution. And then we want to kind of
push back on this so we can have a little bit more of a push back and forth before we get off here. This is something that kind of comes to my mind. So when you think of, and this goes to your point, I think, but I want to push back with how I think that the left has kind of given up that fight. When you have these radical groups on the right, or you have these extremist groups on the right, so let's say Proud Boys, I don't know, Electric Boogaloo Boys, all these people. There's one an American first mentality, I think is how they'd push back on you. What you're saying, nationalist, sure. Where you're saying like, oh, they are not for America. Well, they would probably push back and say like, I'm for America first. And where we're having a disagreement is I don't fuck with some of the things that America does because I don't think it's in America's best interest. So that's one thing I want to say on their behalf. But and then this is something I take issue with a lot of these like liberal movements, because a lot of them are based around kind of anti-American a little bit beliefs. So if like you think of like Black Lives Matter, a lot of that, and like I said, if you watched any like documentations or documentaries about like some of the more rowdy demonstrations, I guess I would say, there's a heavy anti-America like there's a shame in America. And then also and I'm gonna give it back to you, but like so LGBTQ, I think less so, but that's a little bit present there.
Colin Kaepernick, you can go Colin Kaepernick and the kneeling.
Okay, that's good.
I think that was kind of like a big, I forgot to say that big discourse kind of like tear.
Sure. Damn, I had another one too that I was thinking, oh no, you're good. What the fuck is it called from the left? The fucking anti-fascist. Antifa. So Antifa, I get a lot of that with them too. Like,
real quick, sure. No, you finish. I just don't want to forget everything. I want to
have the conversation.
Yeah. So Antifa, I don't understand where that's like, oh, Antifa's bad. It's like it's anti-fascism, which is literally what we are here.
I mean, but
that's what our entire Bill of Rights and stuff is.
I'm talking about the sentiment of the people that follow it. And I'm just and off my experience, which is mostly like seeing people that are doing an interview on the internet.
I'll ask this question: who's the leader of Antifa? We've never. There's a leader of Proud Boys. We know who that is.
Yeah.
Right. There's a leader. There's always been a chapter leader or leaders of the Ku Klux Klan. We always know that. Who is this organization's leader?
What are you saying?
I don't even think that there's a real organization. I think that there's. Yeah. I think that's more of like I hate to say propaganda, but more of like a narrative, like it's an ideology. Point.
So I mean, I think that, but that an ideology isn't going to remove itself from being.
No,
it doesn't mean that it can't be anti-America, because it really means that that's the perfect opportunity for it.
I feel that. Now, I will say again, was the civil rights movement, were those people against America because they wanted better? So I think that we have a Bill of Rights. I think that we have a Constitution, and again, that perception is one's reality.
Sure.
Okay. So like with the Colin Kaepernick thing, there was a major perception separation there, and I think a lot of that's pushed obviously through your media.
Sure.
So Colin Kaepernick, who originally what he do, he didn't kneel first. I think he didn't attend, right? Didn't like he walked out the national anthem or something like that. Sat down.
Yeah.
And then he talked to an army vet, a Marine vet or a military veteran who's like well respected, and he said, "Hey, I'd rather you kneel. We kneel when it comes to like a fallen soldier. We kneel for this. Like, go ahead and kneel to show like you're respecting it, but you want to send a message." So he does that. That then ruffles all the feathers because it's being told to you via your media that this is him being this way. Instead of you listening to him, and again, I do this with Trump.
Sure.
Right. I see the cut up and he said this. Why am I going to listen to his explanation after? That's just him trying to save face. Right. But with this, it was everyone trying to tell you that police brutality is a real thing. And what killed me was that I grew up with all these people and I've been in this town my entire life. And always, right or left, the feeling towards cops have always been kind of the same, where it's like, We don't know if we can trust them, especially in these small towns. We don't know how they go. We know that they break the law. We know that there's a lot of corrupt cops. There's a lot of good cops. We know all this.
Yeah.
So where through all this did not, I won't say half, but a portion of America say, no, you're wrong. And it seemed as if it was only the race part. So then you go, okay, well, it's the police officers fucked up when he arrested your uncle for drunk driving.
Yeah.
Right. When he arrests Uncle Tommy for fucking driving drunk and having a little weed on him. But he's not wrong for shooting the guy who tells him, hey, I have a gun on me. Here's my card for it. You told me to reach for my wallet. Let me reach for it. And then he gets 6 shots in his chest because they're scared. So that conversation kind of, I don't know where all that becomes political. So then, yeah, Colin Kaepernick does this thing, all this. And then that's kind of where it's like they're against America and the flag, which kind of, once that happened, I think liberals and a lot of people kind of took that and said, yeah, kind of, because you can't agree that was where it was looking, like how it came off. So I think that's kind of where a lot of it started to go.
Yeah.
But again, there's a nationalist view that us inside this border, if you're born here inside this square, then you are better than the rest. That we deserve more. Then there's the, hey, listen.
Well, we deserve more
than
support from our country that we're a part of than other people outside of the country deserves from this country.
Right.
That's not supporting a huge portion of its citizens already.
Which again, I would like to see where we don't get the support, but that's
homelessness.
I get
right there.
Okay, so we could talk homelessness, but then you have to talk about policy,
healthcare.
and then again we'd have to.
By the way, one of our biggest foreign aid recipients, Israel, free healthcare.
Which again, we have to talk about.
We
policy.
give them money, free healthcare.
We have to talk about policy here.
Yeah.
Who has pushed for free healthcare?
No, but I think that okay, but hold on.
So, but I want to answer because that's where I'm leading to as far as like, there's this thought of, hey, we're going to do for us. But then there's a thought of like, what are we supposed to? We are the big brother. We are all this. We're all that. But then when we look at when we have tried, when Democrats, when Barack Obama tried to give universal health care, and we talked about it, and it was, well, there's going to be increased wait lines. Well, you know what? In America, with our current system, try to get your ACL repaired. It's going to take you 3 months.
Yeah.
Right. Try to get that back surgery. You might catch staph from the hospital and die before you fucking get surgery.
Yeah.
It almost happened to my grandmother. Thank you.
Jeez.
So we have that fucked up system already. It comes with population.
We have a fucked up.
We have a fucked up system.
Yeah.
So who was it that said no to universal health care? Who is it that says no to homelessness reform? Who is it that says no to all these social issues that we want to talk about and say, take care of Americans first? Education, the prison system.
Yeah.
You have a party who constantly puts up, not only talks about it in front of the camera, but then introduces policy and paperwork bills. And then it gets voted down by who? So when we talk about who's really for the Americans first, I don't know. I think that the people, the social justice warriors, are for the people in this country, and that the people for capitalism, who are for pro corporations making as much, no matter where they go and what workers, who it affects. I think they're the kind of the people who would be against the everyday individual because they're not helping. There's nothing that they're putting forward, no policy that's actually helping you. Right? Like right now, we're in a policy thing here, like in the state, where it's. We want to talk about, hey, the Republican Party is so anti taking away freedom. We are pro liberty. If you disagree with something, that's one thing. But then to tell someone that I disagree with this, so you can't do it, that would be taking away liberty. That would be anti-liberty, and that's what we have on that party. Again, name the. I challenge people,
but there's laws,
right?
So we already restrict things based off.
We restrict you wearing your seatbelt, which again is not enforced. Texting and driving is enforced, but I get there's a lot of things that are more severe than my bullshit. But it's just name the policy. And I challenge people, name the policy put up from the left that has restricted your freedoms, liberties, or rights.
Well, so I mean, right off the top,
mask mandate.
Well,
I guess I'll give that.
I don't even think you have to go there. There's they've peeled back even more protections on our privacy, and they've continued to do that regardless. That's a bipartisan issue. They want to get in your fucking emails. They want to know who the fuck you're talking to. So as far as the police state that we slowly been moving towards, that's why I disagree with you on, because it does kind of, and you're probably not meaning to even paint it like this, but from my perspective, just listening to you, it kind of sounds like you're painting a little bit of like a binary image, where it's like there's Republicans. And this is probably just to have an easy conversation while you're doing this, but Republicans, they're good, and Democrats, they support good stuff. There's plenty of Democrats that support shitty things that hurt the individuals. As far as like, if you want to talk about policies, there's a lot of things in like crime policies with Gavin Newsom, for example, he's been in hot water about, that has affected poor people in poor communities that have to live, businesses getting shut down where these people work based off of like no fucking bail for nonviolent offenders and things like that, which on its face I like. But then that ends up being extended to people who are violent offenders, even in California.
Yeah.
So it's like, I do agree with, I mean, me and you, we lean the same direction. I think I'm just not as far to the left as you are in a lot of ways. And I definitely have way less faith in them. Definitely have way less. I think that's probably, I might even be more left, but have less faith even. We're probably around.
That's fair. I do have more faith, I guess. I just,
I'm very skeptical.
Like, as far as like the privacy, again, and in that privacy conversation, again, this is where you can talk it or you can walk it. Okay. So where did this come from? This was post 9/11. Okay. So yes, before 9/11, you could bring a fucking switchblade. I don't know, really. Let me take that back. I was a kid. But there was a time where you could bring certain things on the planes. There were things that you could bring that, yes, throughout the time of them finding out that a bomb's in a laptop, they're then going to say, "Oh, okay, we may need to test this."
Well, no, I'm talking about, I'm talking about people being put on no-fly list. So private conversations.
Yeah, well, I'm going to go into that. So, like when the report came out, was that when the what's his name, the whistleblower came out with the NSA report?
Edward Snowden.
Yeah, was that the NSA where they were listening to phone calls? That was that, right?
Yep.
I'll be honest, I didn't even have a problem with that. I don't. I think that when you live in a world where there's so many bad things that you're trying to prevent. So that's the thing. Do we want to prevent it, or do we want to stop it after it happened and then try to play, cat and mouse? Yeah. So if you're trying to prevent something from happening, you have to kind of hear the conversation. So if you're not, I don't think that the NSA at all was listening to you talk about you cheating on your wife, they have the right to weed.
Do that, though. They could do that.
Yeah. Again, which
with by the way, no fucking reason, like there has to be no cause. So when you were talking about Constitution, and we believe in the Constitution and things like that, things like right to due process and things like that, there should be some kind of like, you shouldn't be able to just, in my opinion, I disagree with you. I think you shouldn't be able to listen in on your conversation without having a reason to look into Paul's conversation.
But what reason would I give you that would say, okay, now this is, because again, this has to, when you say this, it has to be written, right? As black and white. So what level? After I've committed something?
Well, innocent until proven guilty. So to a certain extent,
we're trying to stop terrorism. At that time, we're trying to stop people from having terror attacks.
And I hear that. So you're bending your ethics to fit your new goal. Because now terrorism's a thing. So now we have to
so society has So
we're bending those ethics, which are constitutionally protected ethics.
Yes, but again, we amend those constitutions. And again, I think staying within the framework of the Constitution. Sure. So I think that yes, as new threats arise, things have to change. It's just like, listen, it's just like how we've changed the Second Amendment twice. Okay, twice in just the past 2024, just the past 30 years, we have changed the Second Amendment twice to fit narrative, right? To fit home defense and then carry. So we understand that this can happen, and that's the thing. So I think that when you're trying to prevent something, again, I don't think that they're trying to catch you selling a pound of weed. I don't think they're trying to catch you from doing anything bad. They weren't even trying to catch people from fucking preying on children, as you can tell. Well, I think it was just that there isn't a way. So obviously, I think now with AI, there's certain hot points that probably hit. And I get where it is an invasion of privacy. But that's just where it's like, as much as I say I want my privacy, I have to understand that there is this larger threat out there that has to be protected, that we have to be protected somehow. So how do we do so? So that's my argument, I guess. What's the counter to it? You wait till something happens, or you wait for a red flag to pop up on. So like if you go on Reddit, Like I have a feeling that they follow me on Reddit or on any website, see what the fuck's going on. So like if someone's going on certain things, shouldn't they be hit? Don't we want the person who's talking about selling children to be caught immediately? And if that's them hearing the conversation, now being able to alert some type of law enforcement who can then put that person on a watch list secretly to then start to build a case. Sure. Is that unfair to that person? Sure. Mm-hmm. But what are they doing to everybody else? Not to everybody, but to people.
I think a lot more innocent people are impacted by this because there's more innocent people than people who are guilty of fucking terrorism.
True that.
So I think there's more. And also we've talked about before, we should be able to, well, we don't, but we would like to be able to trust our government. When there's shit like that, it makes it harder to trust that we are working together and you're not working against me. You're already treating me and my fellow citizens as if we're kind of like to be suspected of something. Sure, there should be terrorists. Sure, there are terrorists here. There's other ways, and I think that we should investigate that. But there's other ways to go about that, I think, without just carte blanche. Whatever the fuck you want to look into, you can now because we're trying to protect people. There's actually a great Benjamin Franklin quote that I wanted to read to you. I don't know if you've heard this before, but I think you might find it interesting. He said, "Those who would give up essential liberty to purchase a temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety."
That's interesting.
Yeah, and I mean, literally, what you're
Benjamin
talking
Franklin
about
was 17.
It's true, it's true, but some things can map out. Some things.
I think cyber changed the rules.
No, but I don't think it's. But this quote, I feel you, and I feel your point. I'm not saying, but this isn't talking about anything. This isn't talking about cyber. This isn't talking about guns. This is just general.
Yeah.
If you would sacrifice any liberty for a temporary like safety blanket, which is kind of what we're doing. We're like, hey, to protect us from terrorists, you got to look into everybody's shit. You need to be able to just do that. You need to be able to see all of our data, every fucking website we've been on, and all this kind of weird shit. Yes, it's been porn.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. A guy named David Scholes at the TSA probably is laughing at you jerking off right now. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. But again, no, I think if in that time you're talking like, hey, listen, if you're gonna give up allowing redcoats to sleep in your fucking town that way you feel safe for the night.
Here, for example, let's use it because it wouldn't be redcoats. This would be like us union. So it would be more like, I don't know, like search and seizures without a warrant. Be able to come in your house and check your house because you may not be hiding a British soldier. But guess what? Somebody in your community may. So you should let us come into your house so we can protect you from your neighbor.
I believe in warrants. Again.
Well, no, I'm saying this is just an example from like back.
I get
I'm not even meaning that.
I get what you're saying.
But even there, by the way, you have shit like no-knock warrants and things like that.
Yeah, which is like again bullshit.
It gets
like I think that there are rules that yes they have to play by, but again with cyber threats and things like that, I think that things have changed. Now again, I want to just say real quick, I think that both sides, as far as like voters and people, like just the citizens, all want what's best for us, right? Like everyone in their opinion, in their perspective. I do think that the majority of people are good-hearted and just,
I agree.
And there are fears that are preyed on you and by the people that I have the problem with, and that's your media people, that's your politicians who are clearly in for their own personal gain. It doesn't matter what happens to everybody else because as long as they're making their money, they don't care. You're nothing. You don't affect them. Us, we don't affect their daily life. They'll never see us, right? So it's like I get that. I just like I said, I think that let's put it to kids again. And I do think that it's somewhat of a fair comparison because I think the government has to treat us like their children in a way of protection. You'll do anything to protect your kid.
Did you hear what Kamala Harris said about kids?
No,
she said like basically she said I don't really read into this too much, but some people did obviously.
Of course,
she said something about like America's basically referred to the children of America as like our kids. So they're talking about her and Joe Biden. Like these are our kids. Probably government in general.
But again, I know
you're agreeing to that a little bit. But this is what I wanted to ask you because this was an interesting, intellectual conversation I heard around this. Do you think that your kids, this is a harsh word, but just kind of work with me, belong to you? So do they belong to you or do they really kind of belong to the government and you're just tasked with raising them?
No, again, I think they don't belong. same buddy.
Don't
But
get too caught up on the terminology.
yes.
We're talking.
Yes,
so.
the kid is my kid. Like,
you have rights
kid.
to the kid over the government, in your opinion.
Of course. But again, I think that
interesting.
I mean, it's the government's not going to be the one from any bill. The government's not the one has to take care of them. But again, I do think that the government has an obligation. Yeah. So that's where I'm getting into, like, with my kid, he has a cell phone. Okay. I paid for his cell phone. Okay. And I did that on purpose for his mother because there is no rules that she can put aside that I can't veto. Yeah. So, and yes, it's a selfish and controlling thing, but oh well. Mm-hmm. So, I don't necessarily just check his phone because I let him have his freedoms, his privacy. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, he's 10 and I check his fucking phone. His YouTube is not his email, it's my YouTube. Mm-hmm. So his history is on my history. I get to check all of it. I go through his text, go through my PlayStation stuff. He doesn't have his own PlayStation account. He has my PlayStation account. He's not allowed to have his own because of obvious reasons. So my question is, you have a daughter. Mm-hmm. She's going to have a cell phone. Yeah. How much privacy are you going to give her?
I'll answer your question. Yeah. Although I take issue with the comparison because I don't agree that this is a fair comparison. But I mean, I'll engage with it.
I feel like the obligation to keep people safe is the same. I like, if I were president, I would take every life so serious because it does matter.
Our government is supposed to be for us, though. It's supposed to be for the people. Yes, the government is supposed to work for us. So this, they're not supposed. I mean, they're supposed to be protecting us from foreign threats, but we're supposed to be making these decisions,
domestic and foreign.
Oh, that's fine. Okay, fine. I'll allow that. That's fine. That's why we have police forces and things like that to defend from that. I don't think you need to get into and assume some level of guilt of your citizenry, because I mean, you're checking into domestic citizens, which some of them may in fact be terrorists or whatever. We're probably definitely going to get banned for using that word too much. God damn it.
Dude, why can't we use words? Speaking of the First Amendment.
That's what I'm saying. This is bullshit.
This is a word, bro.
But yeah, so I honestly take issue with the comparison because I don't think it's analogous, but I will engage with it. So yeah, I mean, which is going to kind of be boring because I mean, I'll agree with you. I'm not going to give my daughter a phone and just say, hey, you just get to do whatever you want with it. Even though, she probably is going to cause less damage than what somebody that has like ill intentions against the country may, you know what I mean? So it's like, she hopefully is only potentially going to hurt herself, if anybody, doing something stupid on the internet. Yeah. So, I would try to protect her from that. I just don't agree that we're children to the government. I don't know, but I mean, I get your point. They're here to protect us and stuff like that.
Yeah, again, it's not like we're literally like, oh, they're we don't know babies, but yeah, like it's just the obligation of like, again, like I said with COVID, I understand where like we have an obligation to get this handled, not allow X amount of like more people to die. X amount of people died with precautions. Imagine without. So it's kind of, and then yes,
and that was divisive. Though,
but then you get into the whole, well, do I trust the source? And if I don't, if you're not on my side and you're telling me different, so
I know your opinion.
Both sides did.
I know your opinion on this, so I'm kind of curious. So
I go ahead. Ask your question.
What about vax? Like for you, I know you
I'm not vaccinated, but again,
what if it's just obviously in this? They did say it's for public safety,
right? So I think that it all came down to taking what facts you have and applying it. Did anybody get arrested for not getting the vaccine? No, I don't have a vaccine.
Well, I'm saying theoretically, with your theory, then why wouldn't they be able to force that? If it's for the better good, if it's to protect people, that's their job.
Because there are freedoms. Again, they're not stopping anyone from using the internet. They are checking in.
So you think we have no right to privacy?
No, okay.
Well, I'm not sure.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I guess my answer would be no. Okay. In a way, again, I think that I think like, oh, look at what John's doing. Let me post this. Like, yeah, that's fucked up. Like, that's not allowed. Yeah. But to say, hey, we got to make sure this person's not a fucking terrorist.
Yeah.
Why? Okay, this person has made 15 threats online against the president. We need to go ahead and make sure that this person isn't a legitimate threat. Yeah. Is this person just someone who's just bullshitting with their friends, saying stupid shit, blowing off steam? Or is this person actually scheming something that we need to look into?
So something like that, I think, maybe open up, and that's a great example, open up an investigation against this person. That's a completely different set of circumstances.
But when you open up investigations and you do it publicly, right, then you give people the opportunity to then change everything that they're doing. You need to catch them. They have to be comfortable enough to continue to do what they're doing.
But see, I don't think that you have to tell them. Once you start, the government, when they start investigating you, they don't have to
they don't have to tell you. Yeah,
so it's like,
I just see what you're saying.
Yeah, and then maybe now you follow them or whatever, I guess. And then once you're able to put enough to get a warrant to then tap somebody's phone or tap somebody's phone.
But how do you get that information? But how do you get that information without following them? Without already spying?
Like you said, public threats. Like that's a great example. If somebody's putting on Twitter like "Death to America" or something, well then if they decide to investigate that person, that's
well. Let me ask you this question: How many tweets? You've been on X today. How many posts have you seen? Say like "Death to Joe Biden" today.
I honestly don't get a lot of that. So
how many posts do you think have been made to social media accounts today that have suggested something?
Well, probably a lot. I don't know. I can't say from my own experience because I honestly don't see. I mostly see people calling him a fucking idiot.
Right. So, but we know that just mathematical probability there has to be.
Oh yeah.
So that's where it's like without spying.
Well, but hold on. But in that case, then we're in agreement. If somebody did say something like that about Joe Biden, then I think because of like just Homeland Security to investigate that person's fine. Now, to completely infringe upon their privacy, I still think if they're an American citizen, they have some rights there.
Yeah, I said TSA earlier. I meant Homeland Security.
But TSA is important too.
Yeah, but that's airports. I make CIA and HHS.
I think you were right. Well, so Edward Snowden, though, he was a part of
the TSA, right?
Yes, he was a part of that, I think.
But yeah, but I don't I just think we're agreeing there. I just think that the way to get to that is by having to spy. Now, again, I am also uncomfortable in ways, but that's just where it's just like, okay, I understand it.
This is where I disagree. I think the most convenient way to do that is that. I think that's the answer to your question. That's the easiest way to build a case would be to be able to infringe on people's privacy, but I don't think that's the only way.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, and I think that the other way is probably harder, but that's what
and less effective to be.
But the thing is, if we really want
freedoms, I get what you're saying.
Like, okay, it is less effective.
It's an oxymoron and a contradiction to the whole liberty. Yeah, I get that,
and that's a friction point.
Right,
that we don't love.
I get that. Know what I mean? But at the same time, that's where you can't agree with everything, and some things you have to understand. Right?
It's like guilty. By the way, what we were talking about with California, it's like the whole bail process and things like that. You know.
Yeah, I need to be educated on the bail reform because we've talked about this a couple times where you've hit me with bail reform. Yeah, and I'm like, I'm in the middle of something. So I'm like, what the? Are we talking about like Joe Biden's like arrest, like his crime reform and crime bill of 1998?
No, this is
94
more recent.
Or whatever.
This is more recent. There's a few states that have had this issue, like Chicago had this issue as well, where they weren't
prosecuting certain criminals.
Chicago literally wasn't prosecuting. Like there was one wild story about like people literally were in a shootout in the middle of downtown Chicago. Nobody got charged for it because nobody got hurt.
All right,
and everybody was in. I've talked
about enabling behavior.
I know Washington has this mutual combatant law, and I think it was under that Illinois was like everybody involved were mutual combatants, so we're gonna let it fly.
Well, see, and that's the type of shit that's the response to the other side. That's bullshit.
No, I agree.
Where it's like, okay, we're against brutality and overreach, so let's do nothing. And it's like, that's not okay. You're going for a vote there. Yeah. Let's not do that. Well, and that's disingenuous, and that's where people get pissed off. And again, that's where my issue with the left and COVID came, because like that in that one I sent you with Dr. Mike and that Dr. Ott or whatever about COVID and the vaccine, and like how like man like even he said where like everyone really pissed him off, and like he pissed off the science community was with the
Dr. Mike.
No, the other doctor, the vaccine doctor.
Yeah,
he was talking about the
efficiency of the vaccine.
Yeah, and he was talking about the awkward. What was the second thing that came out?
What do you mean?
There were the variants, and there was the acronym. What's the word? See again, I'm going to forget the word. But there was the like they came out with like the vaccine booster, and then they came out with another vaccine to fight that stronger variant, right? And it came out, and Biden said that
you're talking about the variant.
Yeah, that it was more and this vaccine was going to be more effective. Excuse me. Sorry. But and that was a lie. And it was like, okay, we're pushing it, and it was just as effective. And the way that they said it was like, listen, the vaccine this was the most tested vaccine that we ever had. The issue was when Trump came out and was like pushing things that aren't proven by the science community as like a cure, and there are serious side effects that where it's like, okay, well, we got to get out in front of that and then put this out. And it's like, but now in response to him saying, which again, him mentioning whether it was joking or not, drinking bleach or injecting bleach. I don't think he said drink. He said inject bleach.
Yeah.
Was so dangerous and just fucking it just unbelievable.
Irresponsible. Yeah.
Thank you. That's where I was trying to thank you.
Yeah.
Irresponsible that it's like, you can't do that. But then the response can't be, oh my God, you can't believe anything they says. And he's just wrong and stupid. And then listen to us, because you're automatically going to alienate. So it's like, yes, the response was horrible. The misleading, the everything is a COVID death, which yes, I understand in layman terms, it's the simplest way to say, hey, this person was otherwise healthy. They just had their one health issue. They got COVID. They then came in and got severely worse and died from XYZ. We're going to say COVID caused it. The ventilators, where us and Gates have gone back and forth on ventilators. Were the ventilators killing people, or were the people who needed the ventilators dying because they were that sick? So it's like
some people were saying that because their lungs started to rely on the ventilator,
right?
Their lungs weak where they couldn't fight it off.
Or
if I'm remembering that story right.
Or the virus which attacked the respiratory system caused that. So like that's where like again perception, and where you wish media would just be more fucking honest on both sides. But again,
and also not be sensationalist.
Right, yes,
for me, that's
yes, really and it's absolute. Everything is such an absolute matter of fact. And we're going to say this, we're going to say this, and then the other side has to be wrong and stupid. And we have to be completely opposite, and that again created such a distrust and divide.
Yeah,
and like so again, all of this, I think all of it, back to the original conversation, is kind of like this thing where I think now we're going to this next election where there are some big issues, but I think now like with everything, the loud era is over, the loud wave is over, where everyone's trying and it's more of like we're all understanding each other, kind of feeling each other back out to kind of get back on the same page here. Which again, I think that there was just too much of again, like being in Florida, we understood, like you have to understand that we're not on top of each other. Miami got it, and Tampa, other places got it worse than us because we're spread out. You understood that New York, them being fucking not 8 million people in one little spot is going to be worse for COVID than here. But then we look at numbers, go, oh well, New York had this, so obviously they're worse. And it's like, well, come on. So again, all of it, I think that's where DeSantis opening the state got killed by people on the left. But at the same time, that's where it's like the left has to open up their eyes and say, hey, maybe there was some right to that.
It's true, but I mean, I think they also look at it like you're risking people's lives.
100%, but people especially are risking their own lives,
especially when the criticism because a lot of this criticism was coming in the moment as it was happening.
Yes.
So I mean, I think we have to have a little bit more grace with each other and understand that we really didn't know what was going on.
Everybody wanted what was right.
Yeah,
and that's the thing.
In their own opinion.
And it's like, I don't know, like you just felt like that, like with that, it was just like, oh well, if we did this, then and again, the people here were not going to get the vaccine regardless. So open up the state. Like at the end of the day, like not who cares.
Yeah.
But it's like people are making their own decision. That's where like I believe. Like I didn't get it because me and my grandfather went to war over this. I'm an idiot because I didn't get vaccinated. And I told him, I said at that time, I'm 26 years old. I don't have health issues. I quit smoking cigarettes before this. Like I'm fine. Like I when I get sick, I'm not knocked on my ass. I get over it within a couple hours. Like I think I'm going to be okay. I got COVID and it knocked me fucking on my ass for 2 weeks in total. I gave it to him, and because I didn't know I had it. I didn't know. Funny, but I didn't know I had it when we went to the Alabama Hurricane game in Atlanta.
Bitch, I told
dude, I was fucking. I got sick on the way up there. I was feeling it. I'm like, oh.
And they were just looking at you.
And then everyone got on the way back. The only two people not vaccinated were me and my uncle because we were just working. And then my dad and Pappy had it for 2 days. Me and my uncle were on our ass for 2 weeks. So it was like, like you understood it, but at the same time, my theory worked out. I just drank a lot of orange juice. I ate fruits. I went ahead and just kept myself health, as.
But I mean, a lot of what liberals would have said at that time is you did exactly what you pass it to your grandfather. That's exactly, because when people made this argument you're making, including myself, this was the pushback. Like, it's not about you, it's a public health concern, and it's about who are you transmitting that disease to, and then now you literally did to your grandfather. Thankfully he beat it easily.
Yeah, he beat it easily. Now again, that's where it's like, yes, that's also going to get spread itself. Also, do you need to, again, that's where like the herd immunity is wrong in the moment to say.
We're going to a fucking football game.
Yeah, it was like wrong in the moment to be. Once again, I wore my mask when I felt like I was real. I put my mask, but it's like herd immunity in the moment. Like, all right, well, fuck a vaccine. Fuck, how did we get rid of measles in this country? Vaccines, which are coming back now because of all the fucking non-vaxxers. Polio, right? The flu, it killed how many people we got vaccinated. Then, yes, we became immune throughout herd immunity over time. And that's where it's like, that was, again, irresponsible. So where it's like, yes, the best message is to get vaccinated, take care of yourself, take care of everyone around you. This is a contagious thing, which is why you didn't go in public, which that's what I thought. If you got sick, just don't go in public.
Randy, big dog, I appreciate you, man. I didn't see the comment. I had to scroll down. That's my fault. I definitely appreciate you for hopping in here and showing some love.
But it's like, I mean, like, I don't know. Like, I just feel like in situations like that, like, yeah, it's tough. I think that the right thing to do is just, if you get sick, stay inside, stay home. If you need to go out because you absolutely have to, wear your mask. I did find it interesting that why did it take COVID for us to start wiping down grocery carts at Walmart? Like, when you look at the people that go to Walmart, like we should.
Yeah, some good stuff came out of it.
But I don't know. Like again, I just feel like that was another, like, where the government's trying to take care of people, save people, make sure people are okay, and then we obviously are going to pick apart everything they fucking do.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, unfortunately, in that time, and you already touched on it, there were times where we were misled. It feels like lied to. I mean, that's a big accusation to throw. So, I mean, I'm hesitant to do that, but that it was malicious, the misinformation.
And I think that's where our arguments always came, was like with like the heart issues. How much of that was the vaccine gave it to them, or just that illness, it's that virus itself, which through the vaccination process, you have to get a type of like a strain of it. So it's like, how much of it is that the issue in itself?
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not that the scientists who spend their entire lives trying to save the world go, we're going to create this to end it. And you know what I mean? Like, that's just where
I think like one of the things that people point out for vaccine injuries is like myocarditis, which I think is more common actually with people that naturally caught COVID.
100%.
Right. So
yes.
So yeah, I mean, definitely there's some interesting things. So I think Florida, I mean, me and you both have agreed on this. I did like the and this was another liberty thing where it's like, I like that people had the individual right to make the decision. And companies had the right to risk lawsuit and tell people that they couldn't come to work anymore because of that. So because of them not getting vaccinated and stuff. So Florida did put those companies in a tough spot where they really had to accept responsibility because the state wasn't going to make it easy on them by saying, like, by making this a mandate across the state. Individual companies had to make this decision to, let people go because they weren't vaccinated. I actually worked at a company that was trying to do that. And then because Florida didn't change it, eventually it became like a lawsuit liability. So they're like, let's back off. They were even asking for people to send in their vax cards and shit to prove it, which that was the first time I had experience with that. Like, where my job is like, hey, show us your
it's different. Again, I didn't have to experience
it's a different experience.
Yeah, I didn't have to experience that in my field. My field is just basically like, again, it's all fucking blue collar, just tradesmen. So it's just like,
if you lose a couple, you just
this don't matter. So, but again, like it's just, we agree. Like, it just, the government has to do what they got to do.
This was a good conversation.
It all got blown out, but I don't know. It just, like, right now with the abortion ban, which again, all this is on the ballot, which great. I think it's going to bring out record votes for marijuana being on the ballot, which I saw a poll, I think it said 9 out of 10 Americans think that it should be recreationally legal. Abortion is going to be on there, which if that gets passed, is the IVF thing get moved to Florida, then we have to be out of the state.
Oh, not nice. Okay. Or the banned, you said.
Yeah, banned. All this stuff is like going to be on. And then
are you waiting on that? Is that like a big thing that you're waiting on? Start to figure out your
if they ban bat, and then someone made an interesting joke, but then is a period going to become like murder because the eggs
all the women in jail. I like that.
But the IVF thing, that's unfortunately the only way we're going to be able to expand our family. So
would you have to leave Parker down here? like do like a summer type thing?
I don't think he would be not with me for like school years.
We might be talking about a kidnapping situation. So let's get off here. Let's have this conversation. I don't think there's any way that he's not with me.
There's just a lot that again, but
it'd be tough. But I understand that's a decision you have to make. You have to figure it out at the time. That's the position. That's the real life position that these decisions that get made by people that a lot of times are not affected by these very specific decisions like that. It's people like you and other people that have to live with the consequences. But this was a great conversation. I want to let you get out of here because we have been going for almost 4 hours. It's been 5 minutes. It's a good conversation. We can just keep going. Paul, I appreciate you, brother. I love the conversations always, man. By the way, Balcom B. Paul, go follow him on Twitter. Go do that. It's a great follow, hilarious. And really a lot of engagement, a lot of interest. You get to see.
I will talk to you.
He will talk to you.
I will respond.
He will argue with you and all that.
Whatever you want to do.
He's gonna go until you stop.
And then I might say one more just to test the waters.
But no, definitely go check out Balcom B. Paul, Paul B. Balcom on Instagram, I believe. Go throw his name in the search bar, find him.
BALCOMB.
Great dude. He's gonna continue to be on the pod. We're gonna keep on chopping it up. Sit in Politic everywhere is where you can find me. That's Sit in Politic on all platforms, all streaming platforms. Go follow us on there and support because YouTube's been full of shit. So Spotify, Apple, we're on all of those.
And you want to talk about a follow on Twitter, on X.
Oh man,
Sit in Politic, baby.
It's
always a lot of my. I'm saying, and then I realized like, I just said this to the baby.
I'm in the fucking. I don't get on Twitter every day, but when I do, I'm always high as fuck.
It's about 40 posts in a row.
I know it is literally
like
I'm working
18 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago, 22 minutes ago,
and then I'll be gone for 4 days.
But it's worth it.
No, I love it. Twitter is a great device. I'll just say entertainment device, if nothing else. You see a lot of just bizarre shit. And my algorithms are fucking nuts, to be honest. Definitely some crazy shit going on. But yeah, I get to show that to you guys. There's a lot of videos I didn't get to show you guys today that I'm excited to show you guys whenever we get back on the live. I'm guaranteeing another live this week before Tuesday because these feel good whenever we do them. So I just don't know why we don't do them.
And unlike a lot, like, listen, we can be friends with conservatives. Unlike the one liberal. Yeah. She's like, I moved to Florida and I can't. I met this girl. She took me to a Buffalo Wings Rings to watch a UFC fight. Like, she goes, I should have known. And then she just like, and then Trump came on the screen. She
got up and cheered.
No, Trump came on the screen and the whole bar chants into USA. USA, which again goes to the whole like what. I don't know where she moved from, but the whole thing was like like liberal trying to find friends in Florida. And I'm
That's
like,
hilarious.
I think I said it to you, and I was like, this is something that you would open this with, where I have to like now be like, oh my god,
dude, I'm pretty sure I had a liberal screaming. I just didn't get to it. I'm sure I had a lady screaming.
You guys suck. You make me look bad.
We got to stand behind them. They're mostly nice people. But this was some great conversation about that. So if you missed any of the conversation, there's a lot of conversation about liberal, just kind of like ideology and how that shows itself today. And we just a lot of good stuff. The whole back half was sports. So if you're towards the end, go check out the beginning if you want to see sports. And then we got into some good politics conversation. I should say, Gates Open Media was here. Gates Open Media is not here now, but Kent, he was here. He's in the building. If you guys have watched the content, you know and love Kent. I know you do. How could you not? He was here today, kicked it with us for about 2 hours. We're going to have him back for sure. It was just a breath of fresh air to have him on here. And I should be clear, Gates Open Media, go follow his YouTube, show some love. I'm sure he's going to get some lives on there shortly, but he's just coming back from a personal kind of medical issue. So he's getting back to the swing of things, and it was an honor to have him here today. He did my podcast before he did his own, man.
Hey.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So Gates Open Media, go follow him. Sit in Politic, Paul B. Balcom. We're all in here. Much love. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next week. And you're definitely going to see me a day before.